Do you love novels, but don't have time to read thousands of chapters? Imagine listening to your favorite stories anytime, anywhere, while driving, working, or relaxing. Here, you'll find premium audiobooks from Pocket FM, Audible, Webnovel, Wixia, and more, all in one place. Every novel is a one-time payment, no subscriptions, no monthly fees, lifetime access. The full novel list and prices are in the description below. Once you choose a novel, just DM me on Telegram, WhatsApp, or Discord. After payment via PayPal, Ko-fi, or Patreon, you get permanent access to the audiobook on Telegram. And if the novel is ongoing, all future updates are included. Check the description, pick your story, and start listening today. Before we start the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. Enjoy, and let's go.
Chapter 1. Chapter 1. Chapter 1. The career transition ceremony begins. In the Divine Summer Empire, Jiangning Province, West Sea City. On the playground of West Sea First High School, several career professionals were setting up a magic array. Today, over 100 third-year high school students at West Sea First High School were undergoing their unified career transition. The students sat upright, listening attentively to Principal Lu Yun's speech. Students, after 3 years of study, you have all learned and mastered the theoretical knowledge about career professionals, Principal Lu Yun began. Today is the day of your career transition, a day that will determine your future lives. I won't say much more, but I hope that each of you can reach the heights of student Su Qianxing and become pillars of our human race. The Su Qianxing mentioned by Lu Yun was once a student at First High School who transitioned into a holy mage and is currently a powerful figure at level 80. Lu Yun often used his story to inspire students. Lin Moya gazed at the nearly completed transition magic array on the playground, his eyes slightly lowered with anticipation. Having been in this world for several years, he already knew what kind of world it was. This world was integrated with game elements, where people would undergo career transitions in their third year of high school. They could gain experience by clearing dungeons, exploring secret realms, joining battlefields, or killing monsters in the wild. Gaining experience allowed them to level up, master skills, and enhance their strength. They fought against various demons and monsters to carve out a space for human survival. Countless human ancestors had shed their blood and sacrificed their lives to create the life they now enjoyed. The success rate of career transitions had long since reached 100%, with the only question being the quality of the career obtained. The most sought after were naturally the main combat careers, followed by support careers, and lastly, the lifestyle careers. However, this was just a general classification. While combat careers were indeed popular, it didn't mean that support and lifestyle careers were inferior. Powerful support careers were equally in demand, whether for dungeon runs, secret realm explorations, or on the frontline battlefields. Support careers were indispensable. In some places, they would rather have one less damage dealer than lack a support. The same was true for lifestyle careers. There had been instances of god-tier lifestyle career professionals who were equally formidable. In Lin Moya's understanding, whether a career was powerful or not mainly depended on the individual. There were trash combat professionals and god-tier support professionals. As a beam of light shot into the sky, the transition magic array was fully set up. Lu Yun waved his hand. "Follow me, let's go." He led the more than 100 third-year students towards the playground. Lin Moya followed the group, pondering what career he might transition into. No one could predict what career they would get. Some people who performed averagely in daily life ended up transitioning into powerful combat careers. Others who excelled in their studies only became lifestyle professionals. Although he and Xia Shui were known as the two geniuses of First High, what career he would actually transition into would only be known once he entered the array. A hand patted his shoulder, and Gao Yang approached with a smile. "What career do you want to transition into the most?" Lin Moya looked at him and shook his head without answering. Gao Yang continued smiling. "Come on, tell me. It doesn't hurt to say. Let me tell you, I want to become a knight the most. Look at my tall and strong build, I definitely look imposing as a knight, and I could protect girls too." His physique was indeed suitable for the knight career, but transitioning into a combat career was difficult. Lin Moyo had calculated that the probability was only around 10%. Among these 100+ people, no more than 15 would become combat professionals. Gao Yang kept talking, but Lin Moyo only smiled faintly without responding. Lin Moyo rarely spoke. Although his grades were good, he didn't have many friends. Many people thought Lin Moyo was strange. After saying a few more words, Gao Yang went to talk to others. Someone pulled Gao Yang aside. "What were you talking to the mute about? He won't answer you anyway." "Yeah, just because his grades are a bit better. What's so great about that? We don't even know what career he'll transition into today. It might just be a lifestyle career." The group chatted among themselves. Lin Moya wasn't very popular among his classmates, with many thinking he was too cold and arrogant. They thought he looked down on others because of his good grades. Gao Yang smiled and said, "Actually, Moya just doesn't like talking much." Unfortunately, no one believed him. Lin Moya wouldn't bother to explain. There was no need. The group arrived in front of the magic array. Lu Yun stepped forward and respectfully addressed an elderly man. "Master Zhang, thank you for your trouble today." Master Zhang shook his head. "It's what I should do." Master Zhang didn't hide his personal information, which was visible to everyone. Zhang Qian, level 52, Array Master. Lin Moya was slightly surprised. An array master, and at such a high level of 52. Array masters were considered rare support careers and weren't common. Array masters were highly sought after on the battlefield. Once they set up an array, anyone who entered that area would die. After exchanging a few words with Zhang Qian, Lu Yun walked back. He took out a list and looked at the students. Next, I'll call out names, and those students will enter the transition magic array. We've taught you everything you need to know, and you all understand it. Don't be nervous, just relax. First, Su De. Su De responded and walked into the transition magic array with some trepidation. The array rumbled into operation, accompanied by a burst of brilliant light, and Su Da's transition was complete. Lifestyle career, farmer. Su Da's face paled slightly, not expecting to become a farmer. Su De became a farmer. Being a farmer is fine too. If he can upgrade to become a great farming artisan or even a saint farming artisan in the future, it's still a good career. Yes, among lifestyle careers, farmer isn't bad at all. Chapter 2. Chapter 2, 2. Chapter 2, Transition Anomaly, I won't lose to you. After Su De stepped down from the array, his close friends gathered to console him. Zhang Li. Zhang Li, whose name was called, jogged into the array. Again, there was a burst of brilliant light. Lifestyle career, chef. Zhang Li was satisfied with his career. My dad is a chef. I didn't expect to become one too. I guess this is following in my father's footsteps. Hang Wen. Niu De. One by one, people went up for their career transitions. Most became lifestyle professionals. Occasionally, there were a few support careers, while main combat careers were even rarer. As more and more people underwent their transitions, Lu Yun's expression became less pleasant. Zhang Qian stood beside Lu Yun. As the one who set up the transition array, he was very clear about the transition situations. This year's students are average, he commented. Hearing Zhang Qian's words, Lu Yun also sighed. Indeed, we haven't had a single rare career yet. Zhang Qian scoffed. Rare careers? How many years has it been since your first high produced a rare career? It would be good enough to get a high-level combat career. Lu Yun smiled wryly. True. Each year, only 1 or 2 rare careers emerge in the entire West Sea city. I was hoping for too much. Xia Shui. Lu Yun called another name. Xia Shui responded. Before departing, Xia Shui glanced at Lin Moyo, her eyes flashing with a hint of challenge. She and Lin Moyo were known as the 2 geniuses of first high. However, in terms of grades, Lin Moyo always surpassed Xia Shui, with Xia Shui consistently ranking second. Xia Shui had always harbored resentment, refusing to admit defeat. Lin Moyo ignored Xia Shui's challenge, as if he hadn't seen it, maintaining his calm demeanor. Humph, I'll show you who the real genius is, Xia Shui thought. Xia Shui, like a proud swan, strode confidently into the transition array. Zhang Qian, who had kept his eyes closed, suddenly opened them to look at Xia Shui. This girl is not bad. Lu Yun was slightly startled. Why do you say that, Master Zhang? Her spiritual power is more than twice that of an ordinary person. She might transition into a mage. A mage. Lu Yun immediately perked up. Mages were high-level combat careers. So far this year, there hadn't been any high-level combat careers. If it turned out to be a special type of mage, it would definitely be a rare career. The array activated, emitting a dazzling light. Suddenly, 2 giant fireballs rose from the light, exploding like fireworks. Lu Yun trembled with excitement. An anomaly. A rare career. The appearance of an anomaly signified a rare career. Main combat rare career, elemental mage. Lu Yun's mood was incredibly excited. They had just been talking about how rare careers were just a dream. Who would have thought that their wish would be granted so soon after making it? Wow, Xia Shui is amazing. It's actually a main combat rare career. An elemental mage, that's so powerful. I heard that as they level up, their attack power becomes terrifying. That's right. A god-tier elemental mage could wipe out a city like our West Sea city with just one forbidden spell. As expected of a genius, living up to the name. Xia Shui, equally excited, stepped down from the array. Zhang Qian specifically said, young lady, you're quite impressive. Lu Yun's face was now beaming like a blooming chrysanthemum, overjoyed. Xia Shui bowed respectfully to Zhang Qian. Thank you for your praise, senior. After Xia Shui returned, a group of classmates surrounded her, asking questions nonstop. A main combat rare career was truly as rare as phoenix feathers and unicorn horns. Careers were not only classified but also graded. Except for lifestyle careers which weren't graded. Combat and support careers could be divided into 5 grades: low, medium, high, rare, and legendary. Legendary careers were almost never seen. The entire Divine Summer Empire might not produce one in 10 years. Rare careers were relatively more common. West Sea City would produce one each year, sometimes even 2. Now Xia Shui, like Su Qianxing whom Lu Yun often mentioned, both had main combat rare careers. Lin Moyo. Lin Moyo heard his name and walked towards the array. Xia Shui watched Lin Moyo, her eyes full of challenge. Lu Yun asked, Master Zhang, what do you think of this child? Zhang Qian looked at Lin Moyo. Apart from being exceptionally calm, I don't see anything special. Lu Yun said, our school has 2 geniuses. Xia Shui, who just went, is second. He is first. Zhang Qian said flatly, academic performance and career transition have no necessary connection. You should understand this principle. Lu Yun certainly understood, but he still held hope. If they could get another rare career, that would be incredible. The array activated, bursting with brilliant light. Suddenly, the originally bright sky darkened, and in the blink of an eye, dark clouds pressed down. Cold winds blew from all directions, and the temperature dropped sharply. Day turned to night, as if doomsday had arrived. Why is it suddenly windy? Look at all those dark clouds. There was no forecast for rain. This wind is so cold. Lu Yun asked in surprise, what's happening? Zhang Qian stared at the array and said calmly, an anomaly. A transition anomaly. Lu Yun almost cried out. Such a grand transition anomaly was unheard of. He then became excited. With such a big anomaly, it would be unthinkable if it didn't result in a rare career. He just didn't know if it would be a support class or a combat class. Impossible, I won't lose to you. Xia Shui clenched her fists. This anomaly was much grander than hers. Though unwilling to admit defeat, judging solely by the anomaly, she had to concede. Chapter 3. Chapter 3. Chapter 3. A skeleton warrior from the garbage heap. Suddenly, a classmate shouted, look, there's movement in the dark clouds. Everyone looked up. Points of firelight rose from the dark clouds. The firelights floated in the air, rising and falling. Besides the firelights, there seemed to be something else. Moreover, a grating sound of friction came from the dark clouds, making one's teeth ache. Finally, a sharp-eyed classmate clearly saw what was in the clouds and fell to the ground in fright. They're skeletons. The clouds are full of skeletons. As he spoke, the scene in the clouds was fully revealed. Thousands upon thousands of skeletons packed tightly together, the firelights clearly being the soul fires in their skulls. Each skeleton emitted a pale white light, grotesque and terrifying. Although they knew it was just a manifestation, many classmates still retreated in fear. One of the soul fires descended from the sky, landing on Lin Moyo. Then all the manifestations instantly disappeared, everything returning to normal. Unique hidden career, Necromancer. Not a rare career, but a hidden career. And a unique hidden career at that. This meant that this career existed only once in the entire world. Unless Lin Moya died, there wouldn't be a second person with the same career. Hidden careers were even rarer than rare careers, even rarer than legendary careers. Whether it was powerful or not was unclear, but it was certainly rare. Lin Moya's Necromancer career was the only one in the whole world. Lin Moya was amazing, he actually got a hidden career, and a unique one at that. How could the mute be so lucky? Could there be an error in the array? Hidden careers aren't necessarily powerful. In history, there have been many people with hidden careers that weren't that great. Right, hidden careers are just rare, not necessarily powerful. But the manifestation just now was so scary, and his career is called Necromancer. Does that mean he'll always be dealing with dead people? He doesn't talk much anyway, so dealing with dead people is perfect for him. He won't need to talk at all. Lin Moya came down from the array after fully awakening his career. A unique hidden career, he was also somewhat excited, but nothing could be seen on his face. He didn't show emotions on his face. The shock and excitement were best kept in his heart. Why put them on display? Wait a moment, Zhang Qian suddenly called out as Lin Moya passed by. Lin Moya turned and bowed to Zhang Qian. What can I do for you, senior? He wasn't unable to speak, he just spoke very little. He wouldn't neglect necessary etiquette. Zhang Qian asked, your career is a hidden one, which I've never seen before. Could you demonstrate a skill? Faced with Zhang Qian's request, Lin Moya didn't refuse. Please wait a moment, senior. Having just completed the transition, he wasn't fully familiar with himself yet. He checked his attributes. Name, Lin Moyo. Career, Necromancer, unique. Level, 1, 0%. Strength, 10. Agility, 10. Spirit, 20. Constitution, 10. Equipment, none. Summoning space, 0/10. Skills, Soul Fire, Level 1, Summon Skeleton Warrior, Level 1. Soul Fire, Level 1 burns the target's soul, causing scorching damage. Power depends on one's spirit and skill level. Summon Skeleton Warrior, Level 1 summons one Iron rank Skeleton Warrior. Skeletons are ranked as Iron, Bronze, Silver, Gold, Diamond, Legendary, God tier. In terms of attributes, Spirit was superior to the other two. This also indicated the positioning of the Necromancer, belonging to the mage class of careers. The Soul Fire skill also demonstrated this point. However, the Summon Skeleton Warrior skill was somewhat similar to the Summoner career. Soul Fire was certainly not suitable for demonstration, so Lin Moya chose to summon a Skeleton Warrior. As the skill activated, a black vortex appeared beside Lin Moyo. Then, a Skeleton Warrior burning with Soul Fire walked out of the vortex. His spirit instantly dropped from 20 points to 10, consuming a full half. The Iron rank Skeleton Warrior's bones were all gray in color. There were many cracks all over its body, and even the blade in its hand was old and broken, seemingly picked up from some junk pile. Not just the blade, the entire Skeleton Warrior looked like it came from a garbage heap. Such an Iron rank Skeleton Warrior didn't look powerful at all, seeming like it might fall apart at any moment. Lin Moyo also took the opportunity to check the Skeleton Warrior's attributes. Iron rank Skeleton Warrior. Strength, 15. Agility, 15. Spirit, 15. Constitution, 15. Skills, none. The four main attributes were quite balanced. No strengths, no weaknesses. Currently no skills, only capable of normal attacks. It wasn't particularly impressive. When the Skeleton Warrior appeared, the classmates let out a collective gasp, unconsciously stepping back again. People tend to fear terrifying things. Only a few brave ones showed no reaction, like Gaoyang, who on the contrary showed a hint of curiosity. Zhang Qian's fingertip glowed, like a gentle breeze falling on the Skeleton Warrior. The Skeleton Warrior's eyes immediately flashed red, looking towards Zhang Qian, its soul fire also flickering violently. Skeleton Warrior has been attacked. Counter-attack? will automatically counterattack if no choice is made within 10 seconds. A message suddenly appeared in Lin Moya's mind, and he quickly ordered the skeleton warrior not to move. Zhang Qian smiled, it has quite high alertness. Chapter 4. Chapter 4, 4. Chapter 4, do you like our Moyo? Zhang Qian was a level 52 professional, with a high-level detection skill. Lin Moyo was only level 1, yet his summon showed hostility towards Zhang Qian. Through his detection skill, Zhang Qian saw the skeleton warrior's attributes. The attributes were ordinary, nothing special. After all, Lin Moyo was only level 1, so these attributes couldn't reveal much about the career's strength. Perhaps when he reaches a higher level, the skeleton warrior might become formidable. Zhang Qian waved his hand, thank you. Work hard, you might have potential in the future. Lin Moyo bowed to Zhang Qian again. The skeleton warrior followed behind Lin Moyo, making creaking sounds and accompanied by gusts of cold wind, adding to its terrifying aura. As he returned, many classmates unconsciously distanced themselves from him. The skeleton was too frightening. Gao Yang approached. Can I touch it? He asked. Lin Moyo nodded, indicating it was okay. Gao Yang bravely reached out to touch the skeleton warrior. It felt like steel, but cold. The flame on its skull had no heat. In fact, it felt colder the closer one got to the flame. Gao Yang asked, is this skeleton powerful? Lin Moyo shook his head, it should be stronger than you. Really? I don't quite believe it. It looks a bit shabby. At this moment, Lu Yun called Gao Yang's name. Gao Yang responded, I'll go for my transition now. We'll talk later. Lin Moyo looked at the skeleton warrior and silently thought, recall. A vortex appeared in front of him, and the skeleton warrior disappeared into it. His summoning space attribute also changed accordingly. Originally it was summoning space 0/10. Now it became summoning space 1/10, skeleton warrior, quantity 1. Lin Moyo carefully examined the description of the summoning space. The summoning space was a place to store summons, and used summons could be kept there and summoned at any time when needed. Summoning from the space didn't require spirit power consumption. This meant he could summon the skeleton warrior and keep it in the summoning space, ready to be called out anytime when needed. Currently, the summoning space had a capacity of 10 slots, able to hold 10 skeleton warriors. If a summon was injured, it could quickly recover in the summoning space. As his level increased, the capacity of the summoning space would also increase. Lin Moyo recalled the scene he saw during his transition. What he saw during the transition was completely different from what others saw. He saw a dragon, a giant dragon. The dragon soared in the sky, occasionally letting out painful cries. In an instant, it fell back to the ground, rolling frantically. Lin Moyo saw skeleton warriors crawling all over the dragon's body, at least 1,000 of them. The skeleton warriors swung their blades, constantly striking the dragon. Each hit caused a terrible wound. No matter how the dragon struggled, it was futile. Apart from wailing, the dragon had no recourse. In less than a minute, the dragon fell with a mournful cry. The light in its eyes completely faded. This scene showed Lin Moyo just how strong the skeleton warriors could be. Once they reached a certain number, they could slaughter even a dragon like a pig. Lin Moyo believed that one day he too could reach that level, slaughtering dragons as easily as dogs. The transition array burst with brilliant light. Gao Yang's transition was complete. High-level combat career, sword and shield knight. It really turned out as Gao Yang wished. He became a knight. And not just an ordinary knight, but a high-level career, a sword and shield knight. Although both were knights, there was a fundamental difference. Otherwise, it wouldn't qualify for the title of high-level. Gao Yang ran back excitedly, see? I told you I could become a knight. Lin Moyo rarely showed a smile, and even gave Gao Yang a thumbs up. Gao Yang laughed heartily, patting Lin Moyo's shoulder. From now on, we'll run dungeons together. I'll stand in front of you. How does that saying go? Let me think. He slapped his forehead. If you want to kill me, you'll have to step over your own corpse. Lin Moyo was speechless, unable to bear this guy's antics, and finally spoke. You said it backwards. Gao Yang exclaimed in surprise. You finally decided to speak. I said it backwards on purpose, didn't you notice? Notice my ass. What do you mean on purpose? You just said it wrong and won't admit it. What a joker. Lin Moyo gave Gao Yang a disdainful look. Finally, everyone's transitions were complete. Lu Yun led them back to the main classroom. This time, 106 students from first high school underwent transitions, with Lin Moyo getting a hidden career. 12 transitioned into combat careers, 18 into support careers, and the rest into lifestyle careers. This ratio was considered quite good, and Lu Yun was very satisfied. Students, the transitions are now complete. Regardless of what career you've transitioned into, you all need to work hard to level up and improve your skill proficiency. Starting tomorrow, West Sea City's novice leveling dungeon will be open to all of you. You can enter the dungeon for practical combat and leveling. For those with lifestyle careers, don't worry. The school has arranged a life skills hall where teachers will guide you in mastering various life skills. I hope that in the big exam a week from now, all of you can achieve good results and enter the higher education institutions of your choice. Everyone was familiar with the information about the novice leveling dungeon. The monsters inside ranged from level 1 to 8, and there weren't many of them, with low difficulty. It was much safer compared to the wilderness outside West Sea City. Of course, you could choose not to go to the novice leveling dungeon and head straight to the wilderness. As for life and death, well, that's your own business. As school ended, Xia Shui blocked Lin Moyo's path. Gao Yang grinned. Miss Xia, what's this? Do you like our Moyo? Xia Shui frowned. Get lost. As you command. Gao Yang left very promptly. Chapter 5. Chapter 5, 5. Chapter 5, God-tier talent, God-tier passive, the unkillable cockroach. Xiaoxue stood at 1.7 meters tall, with a graceful figure and a delicate face. Many considered her the school beauty and goddess. Unfortunately, Lin Moyo was even taller at 1.85 meters, forcing even Xiaoxue to look up at him. Lin Moyo, I want to challenge you, Xiaoxue declared. Lin Moyo looked at her with a puzzled expression. Knowing Lin Moyo didn't like to talk, Xiaoxue continued, I want to compete with you on who gets better results in the big exam. Do you dare? Oh, Lin Moyo responded, moving past Xiaoxue. Xiaoxue stomped her foot, it's settled then. I won't always lose to you. Xiaoxue had thought her rare career would surely outshine Lin Moyo today. She hadn't expected Lin Moyo to get a hidden career. Regardless of the necromancer's strength, it was clear she had lost again. But Xiaoxue refused to admit defeat. Lin Moyo returned home. The house was empty. He prepared a simple meal for himself. The room was sparsely furnished, with almost no furniture. A single photograph stood out prominently. In the photo were Lin Moyo, a young beautiful woman, and an elderly lady with white hair. The Lin Moyo in the photo was smiling in the sunlight, completely different from how he looked now. Besides him, the young woman and the elderly lady were also smiling. The photo was taken 3 years ago. Having transmigrated here, he inherited the original owner's memories and emotions, feeling deep affection for the two in the photo. In his previous life on Earth, he was an orphan with no family. Here, he had relatives who loved and cared for him. He cherished this doubly. But good times didn't last long. 2 years ago, his grandmother passed away from illness. A year ago, his sister also left for the summer capital university. Now only he remained at home. Lin Moyo spoke less and less, becoming increasingly cold. I will also go to summer capital university, Lin Moyo firmly told himself. Not for any other reason, but because Lin Mohan was there. However, summer capital university was extremely difficult to get into. Last year, only Lin Mohan from the entire West Sea city had been admitted. There was a knock at the door. Principal Lu. Lu Yun stood at the door holding a package. Moyo, here's some food for you to eat. I'll bring you some fresh food in a few days. Lin Moyo accepted the food, thank you. Lu Yun nodded, you'll be entering the dungeon tomorrow. Rest well. For the past year, Lu Yun had been bringing food every few days. This was a promise he made to Lin Mohan. Last year, Lin Mohan was admitted to Summer Capital University as the top student from West Sea City. But Lin Mohan didn't want to go, because she wanted to stay and take care of her brother, Lin Moyo. Once at Summer Capital University, she wouldn't be able to return for at least 3 years. Lu Yun repeatedly persuaded Lin Mohan, promising to take good care of Lin Moyo. Only then did Lin Mohan agree to go to Summer Capital University. It was a great honor for a city like West Sea to have a student admitted to Summer Capital University. It was especially significant for First High School and for Lu Yun. Lu Yun kept his word, consistently taking care of Lin Moyo over the past year. That night, Lin Moyo studied his skills. His spirit power had recovered, allowing him to summon another skeleton warrior anytime. In his left palm, he held a bright red gemstone. This was the only item he brought when he transmigrated. As he raised his hand, about to summon, a voice suddenly rang in his mind. Detected host has awakened the necromancer career. Career meets requirements, ultimate talent system is now binding. Beginning to extract world origin, optimizing skills. Skill optimization complete. Congratulations, host has awakened the unique god tier talent, full enhancement, level 1. Congratulations, host has gained the passive skill, damage transfer. Lin Moyo's spirit jolted, and he immediately checked his attributes. Name, Lin Moyo. Career, Necromancer, unique. Level, 1, 0%. Strength, 10. Agility, 10. Spirit, 20. Equipment, none. Summoning space, 1/10. Skeleton warrior, quantity, 1. Talent, full enhancement, level 1, unique. Passive skill, damage transfer. Active skills, soul fire, level 1, summon skeleton warrior, level 1. Full enhancement, level 1 all skill effects increased by 10 times. Damage transfer, all damage received by the necromancer is transferred to summoned creatures. Soul fire, level 1 burns the target's soul, causing scorching damage. Power depends on one's spirit and skill level. Summon skeleton warrior, level 1 summons 1 iron rank skeleton warrior. The basic attributes hadn't changed, only a talent and a passive skill were added. But these two could be called divine skills. The talent was undoubtedly extraordinary, a unique god tier talent that increased all skill effects by 10 times even at level 1. Lin Moyo couldn't accurately describe in words how powerful this talent was. Even his usually calm face showed a hint of shock. The effect of the passive skill was equally astounding, truly worthy of being called god tier. All damage transferred to summoned creatures. In other words, as long as his summons didn't all die, he wouldn't die. To kill him, one would have to first kill all his summons. The power of this passive skill was self-evident. If he had thousands or tens of thousands of summons, Lin Moyo would be practically immortal. Such a passive skill was unheard of. After a long while, Lin Moyo finally recovered from his shock. He noticed the red gemstone in his left hand had disappeared. So it was you. Lin Moyo activated his skill to summon an iron rank skeleton. A vortex appeared in front of him. Accompanied by a grating sound, an iron rank skeleton walked out of the vortex. Chapter 6. Chapter 6, 6. Chapter 6, Solo or Team Up. At first glance, the iron rank skeleton in front of him looked no different from the one summoned in the afternoon. Its appearance hadn't changed, still looking like it came from a garbage heap. But appearances can be deceiving. Iron Rank Skeleton Warrior. Strength, 150. Agility, 150. Spirit, 150. Constitution, 150. Skills, none. While the exterior remained the same, the attributes had undergone a dramatic change. All attributes increased tenfold. Strength, agility, and spirit aside, the tenfold increase in constitution essentially meant the skeleton warrior's vitality and defense had also increased tenfold. Combined with the damage transfer skill, killing Lin Moya would be extremely difficult. Lin Moya also summoned the skeleton warrior from his summoning space and found its attributes had also increased tenfold. Full enhancement had taken effect on it as well. With 10 spirit points left, Lin Moya summoned another Iron Rank skeleton. Then he began to meditate. Meditation was the best way to recover spirit power and could substitute for sleep. Many students at school could do this. The next morning, Lin Moya woke up on time. His spirit power had fully recovered. 3 Iron Rank skeletons stood faithfully before him, motionless like guards. As the soul fires flickered in their skulls, cold winds swept through the room, dropping the temperature by several degrees. This would be nice in summer, no need to worry about the heat, Lin Moya thought, the corner of his mouth twitching slightly. He summoned a 4th skeleton warrior. Then he stored all 4 skeletons in his summoning space. Keeping 10 spirit points and 4 Iron Rank skeletons with tenfold enhancement, Lin Moya felt it was sufficient. With 150 points of strength, even level 7 or 8 night warriors wouldn't be much stronger. A bus was waiting at the school gate to take them to the dungeon location. When they arrived at the dungeon, it was already crowded. Not only first high school students came to the novice dungeon, but almost all students from West Sea City who had completed their transitions. West Sea City had 6 high schools, with over 800 students transitioning yesterday. Most became lifestyle professionals. Less than 200 people could come here, not even a third of the total. The students gathered while the teachers went to handle the dungeon entry procedures. Old Lu, you've struck gold this time. Not just one rare combat career, but also a unique hidden career. You've really hit the jackpot. Your first high has been impressive these 2 years. Last year you had Lin Mohan enter Summer Capital University. Are you planning to knock on their doors again this year? Several principals gathered, chatting enthusiastically. Lu Yun's face was beaming. Xia Shui and Lin Moya are indeed exceptional. If possible, I really hope they can enter Summer Capital University. Xia Shui? Is that the young miss from the Xia family? And Lin Moya, why does that name sound so similar to Lin Mohan? Lu Yun explained, Xia Shui is indeed the young miss of the Xia family. Lin Moya was Lin Mohan's younger brother. No wonder. The Xia family's bloodline inheritance is quite good. As for Lin Moya, the sibling pair is truly remarkable. Gao Yang nudged Lin Moya, want to team up. Lin Moya shook his head at Gao Yang's invitation. Gao Yang feigned anger, you brat, are you looking down on me? I'm sincerely inviting you. If you don't give me a good reason, I won't let this go. He looked angry, but the hint of a smile in his eyes betrayed him. Lin Moya ignored him, and sure enough, Gao Yang changed his tune in seconds. Boss, why won't you team up with me? Lin Moya said flatly, teaming up slows leveling. Solo is faster for leveling up. Gao Yang asked curiously, how do you know? Read more, Lin Moya replied, another rare response. Gao Yang scratched his head, clearly not quite believing it. At this moment, Xia Shui suddenly spoke up, Lin Moya was correct. In a 2-person team, although monster killing is faster, the experience is split between 2 people. A 2-person team can at most increase killing speed by 50% to 60%, but the time to find monsters is fixed, so overall efficiency decreases. According to the experience summarized by seniors, dungeons below level 10 are suitable for solo play. Only dungeons above level 10 are suitable for teams. Xia Shui explained clearly, and Gao Yang, not being stupid, understood after thinking about it. At this time, Lu Yun walked over. Except for Xia Shui and Lin Moya, all combat professionals should team up with some support professionals to enter the dungeon. Don't think about solo leveling. Remember, in future high difficulty dungeons, you can't do without support. If you don't bring support now, don't expect to find support when you need it. It doesn't work that way. To be frank, it's better to team up with your classmates than with strangers. At least there's a bond between classmates, they won't abandon you in danger. Lu Yun's words were clear, and indeed true. This calmed down those who had been considering solo play. If combat professionals didn't bring support, the support professionals' leveling speed would be very slow. Someone asked, why don't Xia Shui and Lin Moya need to bring support? Lu Yun cleared his throat, they're different. Xia Shui is aiming for Summer Capital University, she needs to level up quickly. Moreover, Xia Shui wouldn't stay in the novice dungeon for long, 2 days at most before she leaves. As for Lin Moya, I don't understand his career or know his combat power. You can ask the support professionals if they're willing to team up with him. Chapter 7. Chapter 7, 7. Chapter 7, let's compare who levels up faster. Several support players shook their heads. Most of those who became support healers were girls. These young girls were terrified of Lin Moya's skeleton warriors, there was no way they'd team up with him. Lin Moya said calmly, Teacher Lu, I also want to apply for Summer Capital University. His meaning was clear, he didn't want to team up, he wanted to solo. Lu Yun looked slightly surprised, do you know how difficult it is to get into Summer Capital University? Lin Moya nodded, I'm confident. Lu Yun understood Lin Moya's determination, I hope you succeed. To get into Summer Capital University, the first requirement was level. At least level 12, preferably level 15 to be safe. Last year, Lin Xiaohan was accepted at level 16. Reaching level 12 in just 1 week wouldn't be easy. Level 15 would be even more difficult. The highest level monsters in the novice dungeon were only level 8, making it impossible to reach level 12 there. The wilderness outside was far more dangerous than the novice dungeon. For new career professionals like them, venturing out recklessly would be suicidal. Besides the level requirement, there were other conditions. The specifics would only be known during the big exam. At Lu Yun's request, several combat professionals chose their support partners. They formed teams of 2 or 3. Gao Yan chose a prophet support. Prophets could provide some enhancement buffs and moderate healing, making them decent healers. With the procedures completed, the school distributed weapons and equipment to everyone. Warriors received different weapons based on their careers. Don't I look cool? Gao Yan boasted, having received an iron sword and a shield, acting as if he was second only to the heavens. Lin Moyo also received a staff. Staff. Spirit power +1. It was a weapon with barely any bonus, not even classified by grade. It was practically useless, just for show. Xia Shui had her own weapon and didn't take one from the school. Her weapon was a spell book. Lin Moya could sense strong energy flowing through it, likely a good weapon. Before entering the dungeon, Xia Shui said to Lin Moya, "Let's compete to see who levels up faster." Lin Moya neither agreed nor refused. Xia Shui huffed, tilting her head back to reveal her long, white neck. "If you don't answer, I'll take it as agreement." She then turned and entered the dungeon. Lin Moya's mouth twitched slightly, such a strong competitive spirit. He muttered to himself before following her into the dungeon. The novice dungeon environment was a vast grassland, with lush grass over half a meter tall. Many smaller monsters hid in the grass, making them difficult to spot. The monster density here was low, making it quite safe, but this also led to a problem. The time spent finding monsters was longer than the time spent killing them. The purpose of the novice dungeon was to help newcomers get used to and adapt to combat. Lin Moya summoned his 4 skeleton warriors. "Go find and kill monsters." With a thought, the 4 skeleton warriors ran off in 4 directions. Crack, crack. As they ran, they brought gusts of cold wind. "They're so fast." With 150 points in agility, the skeleton warriors' running speed was incredibly fast. In the blink of an eye, they had run dozens of meters. At this moment, one skeleton warrior swung its broken sword, successfully killed Big-Eared Rabbit, experience +10. The level 1 Big-Eared Rabbit was instantly killed by the skeleton warrior. Lin Moya checked his experience. It had increased by 1%. Each level 1 monster provided 1% experience, meaning he'd need to kill 100 to level up. Successfully killed Big-Eared Rabbit, experience +10. Successfully killed Big-Eared Rabbit, experience +10. Notifications kept appearing as the 4 skeleton warriors continuously found and killed Big-Eared Rabbits. In just a few minutes, Lin Moya's experience had increased by 10%. This efficiency was incredible. Lin Moyo had originally planned to stay in the novice dungeon for 2 days, leaving after reaching level 8. Now it seemed he might not need that long. Lin Moya used his skill to summon another iron rank skeleton warrior. This skeleton warrior then joined the others in searching for monsters. Lin Moya sat down and began to meditate. Half an hour later, Lin Moyo achieved his first level up. Name, Lin Moyo. Career, Necromancer, Unique. Level, 2, 1%. Strength, 20. Agility, 20. Spirit, 40. Equipment, none. Summoning space, 5/20. Skeleton Warrior, quantity, 5. Talent, full enhancement, level 1, unique. Passive skill, damage transfer. Active skills, Soul Fire, level 2, Summon Skeleton Warrior, level 2. Full enhancement, level 1 all skill effects increased by 10 times. Damage transfer, all damage received by the Necromancer is transferred to summoned creatures. Soul Fire, level 2 burns the target's soul, causing scorching damage. Power depends on one's spirit and skill level. Summon Skeleton Warrior, level 2 summons 1 Iron Rank Skeleton Warrior. With the level increase, his attributes improved. The summoning space expanded from 10 to 20, able to hold 20 summons. Skill levels also increased. I wonder if the level 2 Skeleton Warrior's attributes have changed. Based on Lin Moya's knowledge, as skill levels increased, the summon's attributes should also improve. Due to leveling up, his spirit power was fully restored. Lin Moya activated his skill and summoned another Iron Rank Skeleton Warrior. This time, Lin Moya noticed a difference. The level 2 skill consumed more spirit power, increasing from 10 to 15 points to summon 1 Skeleton Warrior. Although still Iron Rank, the level 2 Skeleton Warrior was noticeably brighter. The gray color had receded significantly. There were also fewer cracks on its body. Iron Rank Skeleton Warrior. Strength, 250. Agility, 250. Spirit, 250. Constitution, 250. Skills, none. Chapter 8. Chapter 8. Chapter 8, Rapid Progress. The level 2 Skeleton Warrior's attributes had all increased by 100 points compared to level 1. They jumped directly from 150 to 250. Lin Moya knew the enhancement wasn't actually that dramatic, it was mainly due to his overpowered talent. Without it, a level 2 skeleton would only have 25 in each attribute, increasing by 10 points after leveling up. Balanced across all 4 attributes, a total increase of 40 points would be normal. While not weak, it shouldn't be this strong. The key was his talent, the unique God tier talent. This talent was a perfect match for the Necromancer career. Lin Moya continued using his skill to summon skeleton warriors, increasing their number to 7. These 7 skeleton warriors were like 7 elite fighters, spread across the novice dungeon, constantly killing monsters. Whether level 1, 2, or even 3, all monsters fell in one hit to their shabby swords, without exception. Their attributes were too strong. Even without using any skills, the skeleton warriors possessed extreme attacking power. 250 points in strength attribute, that should be close to a level 10 warrior, right? Mere level 2 skeleton warriors with attack power comparable to level 10, they could dominate the novice dungeon. Most crucially, there were 7 of them. No, 7 was just the beginning. Lin Moya would continue summoning as his spirit power recovered. Killed level 2 Grey Cat, experience plus 20. Killed level 3 Brown Dog, experience plus 30. Killed level 4 Blue-Eyed Rat King, experience plus 40. One hit kills all the way, without any suspense. Faced with attack power equivalent to at least level 10, these mere level 3 or 4 monsters died instantly, without suffering. Lin Moya followed the skeleton's path, slowly walking forward. As the skeleton warriors ran further, a map of the secret realm gradually formed in Lin Moya's mind. Oh, it even has this function? Areas the skeleton warriors had traversed automatically formed a map. Besides killing monsters, the skeleton warriors also became automatic map creators. In just an hour, his experience was nearly full again, about to level up once more. He even gave up meditation with such rapid leveling. Who needed it? He could just wait for spirit power to automatically recover fully upon leveling up. The skeleton warriors struck mercilessly, one hit one kill, showing no mercy. At this moment, Lin Moya spotted a monster that hadn't been killed by the skeleton warriors. A level 2 Grey Cat. Crouching in the grass, it had been missed by the skeleton warriors. What a lucky one. Lin Moya thought to himself as green flames ignited in his palm. Soul Fire. This was currently his only offensive skill. The green flames appeared instantly on the level 2 Grey Cat, as if teleported. The Grey Cat let out a miserable cry, convulsed twice, and fell dead. Faced with an attack skill amplified tenfold, the Grey Cat could only be instantly killed. Killed level 2 Grey Cat, experience plus 20. The Grey Cat died, but on the surface, it showed no signs of being burned. Lin Moya understood, just as the skill description said, Soul Fire attacked the target's soul. This skill was a mental attack. He was shocked again. Mental attacks had a common special trait, they ignored defense. No matter how strong your physical defense or how high your elemental resistance, you couldn't resist mental attacks. Hidden careers are indeed powerful. Both of my skills are extremely strong. Even without the talent bonus, the Necromancer wouldn't be weaker than any legendary career. Lin Moya had his own judgment. It might not be comprehensive or objective, but he believed it was 8 or 9/10 correct. A pillar of light burst from his body. He had leveled up. All attributes increased by another 10 points, with spirit power increasing by 20 points. The skeleton warrior skill also reached level 3. The 4 main attributes increased by another 10 points, which became 100 points after amplification. They reached an astonishing 350 points. Lin Moya continued using the Summon Skeleton Warrior skill, summoning 3 more in succession, bringing the total in the dungeon to 10. These 10 skeleton warriors rampaged through the dungeon like a sweeping force. Killed level 4 Blue-Eyed Rat King, experience plus 40. Killed level 5 Green Wolf, experience plus 50. Even level 5 monsters fell to the skeleton warriors in one hit. Lin Moya didn't even need to act himself, he just had to wait for the experience gains. At this rate, he could level up again in at most 2 hours. For others, reaching level 3 on the first day would be good, and it would only get slower from there. After all, Lu Yun's requirement for them was to reach level 8 in a week. Level 8 was enough to enter a higher education institution, unless you wanted to apply for those top 50 prestigious schools nationwide, which required level 9 or even 10. Outside the dungeon, the school principals started chatting and comparing notes again. They gathered around a table, made tea, and shamelessly gossiped. I wonder what level these kids will reach on the first day this year. Does anyone remember what the highest record was before? I think it was level 5, right? Both Su Qianqing before and Lin Mohan last year reached level 5. Su Qianqing and Lin Mohan were both rare careers, and this year's Xia Shui is also a rare career. They should be about the same. From their first day's leveling speed, we can basically judge their leveling speed for the next few days. If little Xia Shui can't reach level 5 on the first day, it'll be difficult for her to get into Summer Capital University. Listening to their conversation, Lu Yun thought to himself, I wonder what level Lin Moya can reach. A hidden career shouldn't be weak. After level 5, the leveling speed would slow down significantly. The first day they mentioned was actually 12 hours. A countdown began for each person upon entering the dungeon, and they would automatically exit after 12 hours. It all depended on how many levels they could gain in these 12 hours. Suddenly, a powerful aura swept over them. Chapter 9. Chapter 9. Chapter 9, Increasingly Rapid Leveling Speed. Lu Yun waved to the newcomer, Master Xia, come and sit. Xia Dongyang, the head of the Xia family in West Sea City and Xia Shui's father. There was still space at the table, and Xia Dongyang sat down without hesitation. Greetings, principals, he said after sitting down. Xia Dongyang had a stern appearance, commanding respect without anger. Lu Yun poured tea for Xia Dongyang. Master Xia is here to check on little Xia Shui, right? Xia Dongyang smiled. These past few years, little Shui has been under Principal Lu's care. Lu Yun waved his hand. I haven't done much. Xia Shui is very smart, and her career transition was very successful. Xia Dongyang said, I heard from the family. I just returned to West Sea City today, unfortunately missing Xiaoshui's transition. Luyan knew Xia Dongyang was very busy and rarely at home. We were just discussing whether Xiaoshui could reach level 5 by the end of today's 12-hour dungeon run. It's quite challenging for her to aim for Summer Capital University. Xia Dongyang said, it should be fine. Even if she falls a bit short, I can pull some strings. Luyan shook his head, I advise against that. I know Xiaoshui's personality. If you do that, she'll resent you. Xia Dongyang sighed, knowing this all too well. Changing the subject, Xia Dongyang asked, I heard your school produced a hidden career during yesterday's transition. Congratulations. What career is it? Luyan's face lit up. The career is called Necromancer, a career we've never seen before. It can summon skeletons, but we don't know how powerful it is. Not all hidden careers are powerful. There have been cases of useless hidden careers. Can summon skeletons? It sounds somewhat eerie and evil. Moreover, the title Necromancer doesn't sound very pleasant. Dealing with the dead and spirits inevitably leads to wild imaginations. Luyan noticed Xia Dongyang's thoughts. Don't worry, Moya was a good kid, even if he doesn't talk much. His sister even got into Summer Capital University last year. If little Xiaoshui goes to Summer Capital University, you might be able to ask Lin Mohan to look after her. Reassured by Luyan's words, Xia Dongyang relaxed. Having known each other for years, Xia Dongyang knew Luyan's character very well. In the novice dungeon, Lin Moya received information from his skeleton warriors. Reached maximum distance, unable to move further away. The farthest skeleton warrior was now 500 meters away from Lin Moya. That skeleton warrior stood at the 500-meter mark, no longer advancing. Lin Moya realized that the skeleton warriors currently had to stay within 500 meters of him. Seeing that the other skeleton warriors were also about to reach this distance, Lin Moya had no choice but to order them back. He couldn't be an absentee boss anymore, so Lin Moya chose a direction and headed deeper into the dungeon. 10 skeleton warriors formed a fan shape in front, maintaining about 100 meters distance from Lin Moya. Any monsters on the path were instantly killed by the skeleton warriors. In the 4th hour after entering the dungeon, Lin Moya reached his 3rd level up. Name, Lin Moya. Career, Necromancer, unique. Level, 4, 0%. Strength, 40. Agility, 40. Spirit, 80. Equipment, none. Summoning space, 10/40ths. Skeleton warrior, quantity, 10. Talent, full enhancement, level 1, unique. Passive skill, damage transfer. Active skills, soul fire, level 4, summon skeleton warrior, level 4. After leveling up, Lin Moya continued summoning skeleton warriors. Now, summoning one skeleton warrior consumed 25 spirit points. He had leveled up 3 times in 4 hours. As the number of skeleton warriors increased, the leveling speed didn't decrease much, but rather showed signs of accelerating. Lin Moya, leading his skeleton army, officially entered the latter half of the novice dungeon. Large numbers of level 5 and 6 monsters began to appear, but facing skeleton warriors with 450 strength, they all fell in one hit. Killed level 5 Green Wolf, experience plus 50. Killed level 6 Black Panther, experience plus 60. For Lin Moya, killing level 1 monsters was just as efficient as killing level 6 ones. So, the higher the level and the denser the monster population, the better. After summoning 3 more skeleton warriors, a total of 13 skeleton warriors ravaged the novice dungeon. Experience points increased rapidly. With more skeleton warriors, the leveling speed increased rather than decreased. At this rate, I can level up again in less than an hour. In the 12 hours of the first day in the novice dungeon, can I directly reach level 8? It's twice as fast as I expected. After reaching level 8, I can go to the outskirts of West Sea City, where there are higher level monsters. Lin Moya had already planned his leveling route. Going to the outskirts of West Sea City required school approval, otherwise the city guards wouldn't let him out. Level 8 was the minimum standard, it couldn't be any lower. Killed level 7 Brown Bear, experience plus 70. As Lin Moya went deeper, level 7 monsters began to appear, still one-hit kills. The novice dungeon was created for beginners. The monsters were weak, the overall environment simple, and it was much safer than the wilderness. So even though Lin Moya was leveling and killing monsters easily, he still remained vigilant. In his memory, Lin Mohan once returned from the outskirts of West Sea City covered in blood, injured. She very seriously told Lin Moya that even a lion uses all its strength to catch a rabbit, and one should never let their guard down in any situation. Lin Moya kept these words firmly in his heart, and now, he was doing just that. Chapter 10. Chapter 10, 10. Chapter 10, no one can level up faster than me. Level 4, 99%. Lin Moya looked at his stats, about to level up again. 13 skeleton warriors were slaughtering monsters all around, steadily increasing his experience. Compared to the previous level, this one came faster, taking only 50 minutes. With more skeleton warriors and denser monster populations, the killing speed hasn't changed. This is why the leveling speed is increasing rather than decreasing. Lin Moya analyzed his current situation. He had now reached the depths of the novice dungeon, surrounded by level 6 and 7 monsters. Only the highest level 8 monsters hadn't appeared yet. The increased monster density here led to faster experience gain. The skeleton warriors, like tireless elite fighters, continued to harvest monster lives one by one. The only pity was that monsters in the novice dungeon didn't drop any items. After all, this was a novice dungeon, designed for new career professionals to adapt to combat, very different from the wilderness. In the novice dungeon, almost all monsters were weakened overall. Only the level 8 monsters here weren't weakened, maintaining strength comparable to wilderness monsters. By reaching level 8 and facing level 8 monsters, one should have gained considerable combat experience. After level 8, they would leave the novice dungeon. So level 8 monsters served as a bridge, giving new career professionals a taste of wilderness monster strength. This way, when they actually fought in the wilderness, they wouldn't be caught off guard. As the leveling light pillar appeared again, Lin Moya finally reached level 5. Attributes increased, skills improved. The skeleton warrior's strength also increased, with all attributes rising by another 100 points. Killed level 7 brown bear, experience plus 70. Killed level 7 brown bear, experience plus 70. The skeleton warriors didn't stop for Lin Moya's level up, tirelessly seeking and instantly killing monsters. Since Lin Moya entered the dungeon, the skeleton warriors hadn't stopped once. Oh, leveling has slowed down. Lin Moya noticed that after reaching level 5, the leveling speed greatly decreased. At level 4, killing a level 7 brown bear gave about 0.2% experience. It only took killing 500 to level up. But at level 5, killing a level 7 brown bear only provided 0.1% experience increase. Now it would take 1000 kills to level up. The leveling speed had halved. At this rate, ordinary career professionals would struggle to reach level 12 in just 1 week. Even leaving the dungeon for the outskirts of West Sea City, there's not enough time. Summer Capital University is indeed hard to get into. I wonder how Sister reached level 16 last year. Lin Moya calculated that to apply for Summer Capital University, he needed at least level 12. To reach level 12 in a week, he'd need to reach level 8 in the novice dungeon within 3 days. After level 8, he'd head to the outskirts of West Sea City to hunt higher level monsters. Only then might it be possible to reach level 12 in a week. Thinking about it, Lin Mohan reaching level 16 last year was truly an incredibly fast speed. Lin Moya used his skills again, depleting his spirit power to summon 3 more skeleton warriors. A total of 16 skeleton warriors now continuously sought and killed monsters. For Lin Moyo, the time spent finding monsters far exceeded the time spent killing them. Killing over 1000 monsters wasn't much when divided among 16 skeleton warriors. In just over an hour, he could reach level 6. That's the advantage of having many fighters. Lin Moya kept advancing, with skeleton warriors clearing the path ahead, finding and instantly killing all monsters hidden in the grass. After walking a while longer, the dungeon's terrain finally changed. The grassland ended, and a forest appeared ahead. Lin Moya knew this was the end of the novice dungeon. The level 8 monsters of the dungeon were hidden in this forest. It's been 6 hours and 42 minutes since entering the dungeon, not even 7 hours. I must be the only one to reach the dungeon's end. Now, just over 7 hours since the dungeon opened, most people probably only reached level 3. Even Xia Shui would be at most level 4, maybe not even that. Lin Moyo believed his leveling speed was faster than anyone else's. He walked towards the forest without stopping, wanting to see how strong the unweakened level 8 monsters were, whether his skeleton warriors could handle them. It would also prepare him for going to the wilderness tomorrow. The skeleton warriors, clearing the path ahead, ran into the forest before Lin Moyo. Cracking sounds echoed in the forest as the skeleton warriors ran quickly, searching for monsters. No monsters. The skeleton warriors hadn't found any monsters. Lin Moya found it strange and followed them in. The moment he entered the forest, a tree branch suddenly lashed out. The branch, like a long whip, struck Lin Moya with lightning speed. It was so fast that Lin Moyo had no time to react. The seemingly powerful branch didn't cause any damage to Lin Moyo. Lin Moya didn't even feel anything, as if an invisible shield protected him. Passive skill, damage transfer. Any damage he received would automatically transfer to his summons. Before all his summons died, he wouldn't take any damage. It was truly a godly skill, not much inferior to his god tier talent. Chapter 11. Chapter 11, 11. Chapter 11, killed them all, so I came out. Lin Moya saw the owner of the branch, a tree about 3 meters tall. He used detection, a skill everyone had, to get some basic information. Whip tree, level 8. Description, usually dormant, attacks passing life forms. The skeleton warriors weren't attacked earlier because they weren't living beings and had no life aura. But when Lin Moyo entered, the whip tree attacked him. The whip tree continued attacking Lin Moyo. Though it caused no damage, Lin Moyo wasn't foolish enough to just stand there. He quickly retreated tens of meters, out of the tree's attack range. The whip tree, unable to move, stopped attacking once Lin Moya retreated. They really put thought into this, Lin Moya realized, understanding the dungeon designer's intentions. From weakened low-level monsters to level 8 monsters with wilderness equivalent strength, they chose a stationary plant monster capable of ambush. The whip tree's ambush ability let new career professionals experience wilderness dangers early on. Its immobility prevented it from chasing players, allowing them to retreat safely if in danger. The whip tree's attack range matched that of several ranged careers, preventing them from exploiting advantages. This design allowed newcomers to safely battle true level 8 monsters, fostering growth while minimizing casualties. Lin Moya sent a skeleton warrior to attack the whip tree. The tree only reacted when attacked, its branches lashing out rapidly. Despite the fast attacks, the skeleton warrior's high attributes, 550 constitution, made it incredibly durable. Oh, it wasn't one-shot killed. Lin Moya was slightly surprised. It took 4 hits to kill the whip tree. Killed level 8 whip tree, experience plus 160. Lin Moya calculated that killing level 7 monsters was more efficient, 70 EXP per hit versus 40 EXP per hit for level 8. However, considering the time spent finding monsters, the dense forest of level 8 whip trees was ideal for leveling. Excited, Lin Moya sent his skeleton warriors to attack the trees. His experience began skyrocketing again. While others slowed down after level 5, Lin Moya's leveling speed increased. He reached level 6 in just 50 minutes, faster than expected. Outside the dungeon, as evening fell, Lu Yun, the other principals, and Xia Dongyang remained, having spent the entire day there. Suddenly, the dungeon entrance glowed brightly. Someone's coming out, they noticed, worried something had gone wrong. Lin Moya emerged from the light. Lu Yun hurried over. Moya, why are you out? Lin Moya softly replied, killed them all, so I came out. Lu Yun was momentarily confused by this calm statement. Then he saw Lin Moya's level. Lin Moya, Necromancer, level 7. Chapter 12. Chapter 12, 12. Chapter 12, breaking the historical record. Lu Yun was stunned, his expression filled with disbelief. You're, level 7. His tone reflected his shock. Lu Yun even doubted what he was seeing. Astonishment occupied his mind, leaving him momentarily unable to react. This had never happened before. The previous highest record was only level 5, but Lin Moya had emerged from the dungeon at level 7. In just 10 hours. There weren't enough monsters inside. Otherwise, I should have reached level 8. Teacher Lu, I'd like to apply to go to the outskirts of West Sea City. Lin Moya spoke matter-of-factly while requesting permission to leave the city. No one had ever imagined that the monsters in the dungeon could be completely cleared out. Each time someone re-entered the dungeon, the monsters would reset. No one had ever cleared the entire dungeon in 12 hours. After all, this was a novice dungeon, meant for beginners. New career professionals with few skills, weak combat power, and no experience. Especially the level 8 monsters at the deepest part, which were as strong as those in the wild. Yet Lin Moya had done it, in less than 10 hours. He had completely broken the norm and shattered the record. Lu Yun's mind raced, unable to comprehend what had happened. He was utterly shocked. Teacher Lu. Seeing no response from Lu Yun, Lin Moya called out again, waving his hand in front of Lu Yun's eyes. After a while, Lu Yun finally came to his senses, quickly agreeing, all right, I agree. I'll issue you a permit to leave the city right away. Rest for now. We'll send you all back after your classmates come out. Lin Moya had proven his strength through actions and obtained permission to leave the city. His plan could now proceed smoothly. Lu Yun returned to the table, where the other principals looked at him curiously. Old Lu, what happened just now? Why did that student come out early? Is there a problem? Yeah, is he injured? Why did he come out alone? Where are his teammates? Lu Yun drank 3 cups of tea and took 2 deep breaths before speaking. That was Lin Moya. He cleared the novice dungeon, killing all the level 8 monsters. The principals all drew in sharp breaths. Even Xia Dongyang, who had seen it all, showed shock on his face. They noticed that Lin Moya himself was already at level 7. Going from level 1 to 7 in 10 hours was already an incredible leveling speed. Moreover, being able to kill all the level 8 monsters in the dungeon showed how strong Lin Moya's combat power was. Hidden careers are indeed powerful, Xia Dongyang sighed. That was the only explanation. Lin Moya's career was extremely strong. At this rate, the Necromancer career seems to surpass known rare careers and might be comparable to legendary careers. We don't know how strong legendary careers are, as we've never seen one, but we've seen rare careers, and they're not this efficient. We just don't know if it will remain this dominant as levels increase. True. For example, Xiaoshue's elemental mage isn't much different from other mage classes initially, but if she gets the elemental enhancement passive skill, it would be comparable to a legendary career. The experienced principals discussed various career trajectories, noting that some careers start strong but weaken later, while others start weak but grow stronger. Skills and talents also play a crucial role, creating significant differences even within the same career. With hundreds of careers, all sorts of situations exist, making it hard to draw definitive conclusions. Lu Yun looked at Lin Moya meditating nearby, feeling a sense of anticipation. At least for now, Lin Moya's necromancer career seems very powerful. What happens in the future isn't really our concern anymore. True. If he can get into Summer Capital University, it'll be their responsibility then. Xia Dongyang said, Xiaoshue has always been competitive. This might be a blow to her. Lu Yun couldn't help but laugh, not just this time. You're often away from home, but actually, Lin Moya's grades have been consistently above Xiaoshue's for the past 3 years. Xiaoshue has been second for 3 years now. Is that so? Xia Dongyang smiled bitterly, realizing Xiaoshue had never mentioned this to him. He understood his daughter's temperament. The more she didn't speak about it, the more pressure she was holding inside. As 9 p.m. arrived, the 12-hour dungeon time finally ended, and students began teleporting out. After 12 hours of intense battle, many students looked tired but excited. The feeling of real combat was completely different from studying in books. Many were covered in blood, emanating a strong smell of blood. A teacher used a skill to dispel the bloody smell with a fresh breeze. The teachers quickly gathered their students, checking for injuries and need for healing. After the busy check, the results were good. Everyone was intact. Most had reached level 3, with a few impressive ones at level 4. Xiaoshue was also excited. After a day of fighting, she had reached level 5, matching the highest record for the novice dungeon. This time I surely won't lose. The highest record is just level 5, and I've matched it. Where's that guy? Not seeing Lin Moya upon exiting, she searched around before spotting him meditating in the distance. When did he come out? Then her eyes widened, as if electrified, frozen in place. How is this possible? How is he already level 7? Chapter 13. Chapter 13, 13. Chapter 13, The Divine Summer Empire Exchange. Xiao Shui. Xia Dongjiang's voice brought Xia Shui back to reality. Dad, why are you here? Xia Shui approached Xia Dongyang, calling him obediently. At this moment, Xia Shui showed no trace of arrogance. Xia Dongjiang's eyes were full of affection. Let's go home. Xia Dongyang had driven here, so they didn't need to take the school bus back. Xia Shui got into the car with her father, but her eyes kept drifting towards Lin Moyo. She really wanted to see through Lin Moyo, to know how he had reached level 7. Xia Dongyang noticed his daughter's gaze. Are you competing with Lin Moyo? Xia Shui deflated like a balloon. Yes, I lost again. That guy is too annoying. Xia Dongyang laughed. Do you want dad to step in and? No. Before Xia Dongyang could finish, Xia Shui firmly refused. I'll handle my own affairs. I won't always lose to that dummy. Xia Shui snorted, her eyes burning with fighting spirit. Xia Dongyang smiled even more happily. Good, then dad won't interfere. But I should tell you, Lin Moyo came out after just 10 hours, and he cleared all the level 8 monsters in the novice dungeon. Xia Shui was stunned again. Cleared all the level 8 monsters. She realized she had only just reached the area with level 7 monsters and hadn't even seen what level 8 monsters looked like. She thought she was amazing for being able to solo level 7 monsters at level 5. But Lin Moyo had cleared all the level 8 monsters and come out 2 hours early. This meant that if there were more level 8 monsters, he might have directly reached level 8. Is the gap between us really that big? Even though Xia Shui was unwilling to admit defeat, she felt a bit discouraged now. Xia Dongyang said, every career has its own specialties. Some are strong at low levels, while others shine later. Temporary victory or defeat doesn't mean much. Compared to him, you have advantages. Xia Shui understood what her father meant. Her advantage was her family background, with plenty of money and resources. She didn't lack for items, equipment, skills, or tools. While someone like Lin Moyo, without money or influence, would lack money, equipment, skills, and items later on. Anyway, I won't admit defeat. Even if you're ahead now, I'll surpass you in the future. Xia Shui was only dejected for 2 minutes before reigniting her fighting spirit. Xia Dongyang was satisfied this was how his daughter should be. On the school bus, Gaoyan sat next to Lin Moyo. I'm already level 4, impressive, right? Grinding monsters with girls is so much fun, way more interesting than your solo play. Lin Moyo looked at this fool, wondering where he wouldn't find joy. Wait, I didn't notice earlier, you're already level 7. How did you train? Did you clear all the monsters in the dungeon? I fought tooth and nail to reach level 4, how did you get to level 7? Are you some kind of god? Gao Yang's voice was so loud that the entire bus could hear. That's when everyone noticed that Lin Moyo was really at level 7. When most were around level 3, with level 4 considered impressive, Lin Moyo had already reached level 7. The bus suddenly became lively. Although many were still afraid of Lin Moyo and his summoned skeleton warriors, being close to a strong person was also a normal psychological desire for many. Some wanted to talk to Lin Moyo, to build some classmate rapport. But Lin Moyo's silent demeanor, coupled with the terrifying skeleton warriors, made them hesitate. Quiet. Lu Yun's low shout immediately silenced the noisy bus. Gao Yang scratched his head. I got too excited earlier. Boss, can you take me leveling? Lin Moyo said, if there's a chance, we can. Gao Yang was overjoyed. Then it's settled. The next morning, Gao Yang couldn't find Lin Moyo at the school gate. Teacher Lu, where's Lin Moyo? Lu Yun said, he went to the outskirts of West Sea City. What? Gao Yang realized he had been tricked by Lin Moyo. No wonder he agreed so readily yesterday. He couldn't help but cry out, Lin Moyo, you tricked me. I offered my heart to the bright moon, but the moon only shines on the gutter. This isn't over, I challenge you to a duel. Lin Moyo had already taken a car to the southern part of West Sea City. A tall city wall stood here, separating the human living area from the monster area. Leaving the city wall meant entering the wild monster area, where the weakest monsters were level 10. Compared to the monsters in the novice dungeon, the ones here were much stronger. Similarly, fighting monsters here provided more experience in various materials. With good luck, some monsters might even drop weapons and equipment. These items could be used personally or sold for money. The streets near the city wall's exit were lined with various shops. There were blacksmiths, weapon shops, jewelry stores, armor shops, and more. The most important among them was the Divine Summer Empire Exchange. The exchange was officially established by the Divine Summer Empire, spread across large, medium, and small cities nationwide. In the exchange, one could freely buy and sell equipment, materials, and all kinds of items. One could sell items directly to the exchange or consign them for sale. Besides buying and selling equipment, various tasks could be accepted at the exchange. This was Lin Moyo's first time at the exchange. He had only seen it in books before. Inside the Divine Summer Empire Exchange stood hundreds of waist-high stone pillars. Each pillar was topped with a magic crystal, through which all the exchange's functions could be accessed. The exchange was also known as the highest manifestation of God-tier alchemy. Lin Moyo found an empty spot and placed his hand on the magic crystal. Beginning identity verification. Verification successful. Divine Summer Empire citizen, Lin Moyo. Access to Divine Summer Empire Exchange granted. Contribution points, 0. Authority level, 1. Chapter 14. Chapter 14, 14. Chapter 14, Two Worlds Inside and Outside the City. The Divine Summer Empire exchange was only open to citizens of the Divine Summer Empire. Lin Moyo had access to the exchange, but his authority level was very low, only at level 1. To gain higher authority, he would need to increase his contribution points. However, that was a concern for the future and not relevant to him at the moment. He briefly looked at the items for sale in the exchange. Weapons, armor, jewelry, materials, everything was available. But every item was expensive. Lin Moyo only had about 100 gold coins in total, not enough to buy even the cheapest iron rank weapon. As for the more expensive bronze rank and silver rank items, he could only look, they were completely out of his reach. After noting down the prices of some low-level materials, he began to check the available quests. The monsters in the outskirts of West Sea City ranged from level 10 to 20, considered a low-level area. There weren't many related quests, mostly material collection tasks. Unlimited collection of green sprout grass, 50 gold coins per set. Unlimited collection of black wolf pelts, 20 gold coins per set. Unlimited collection of beast bones, 30 gold coins per set. Alchemists, pharmacists, blacksmiths, and other lifestyle career professionals needed large quantities of materials for skill training. They would process these materials into useful items and sell them, earning income in the process. Lifestyle career professionals could also level up while training their skills. This formed a good cycle, providing decent development opportunities even for lifestyle career professionals. This quest is interesting. Clear the level 14 West Sea Mine dungeon and obtain the dungeon boss, Goblin King's Crystal Core. Note, requires nightmare difficulty or above for the boss to drop the item. The quest reward was 100,000 gold coins. Such a high price indicated that this quest was challenging. The West Sea Mine was about 50 kilometers south of West Sea City. Lin Moyo didn't plan to go there yet. The level 14 dungeon required a minimum level of 10 to enter, and his current level wasn't high enough. Dungeon difficulties were divided into normal, nightmare, and hell. Lin Moyo wasn't sure how hard nightmare difficulty was. According to books, nightmare difficulty was at least several times harder than normal. Without a strong team, it was nearly impossible to clear. As for hell difficulty, it wasn't for ordinary career professionals at all. After looking around for a while, Lin Moyo left the exchange and went to the city gate. Lin Moyo, level 7, Necromancer. The city guard checked Lin Moyo's exit permit, confirming his information. Although puzzled about how the school allowed someone at only level 7 to leave the city, knowing that monsters outside were at least level 10, the guard verified the permit was genuine and quickly approved it. Your exit permit is now active. Unless there are special circumstances, you can freely enter and exit the major cities of our Divine Summer Empire from now on. There are many monsters outside. Be careful and stay safe. If things go wrong, run back quickly. Don't worry about losing face, your life is more important. Especially at night, some monsters specifically choose to ambush at night. The city guard kindly advised Lin Moyo. Lin Moyo bowed slightly to him. Thank you, I'll be careful. As he walked out of the city gate, a cold wind blew in his face. The sky suddenly darkened, and the air was filled with an oppressive atmosphere. The inside and outside of the city were like two different worlds. This city wall is extraordinary. A single wall divided two worlds. Lin Moyo stepped forward, quickly disappearing into the wilderness. The air became increasingly oppressive, seemingly filled with the scent of bloodlust. Occasional beast roars could be heard from afar. Sometimes he could see people fighting monsters. Most were career professionals above level 10. The city wall was long out of sight, and a thin mist covered the view. With a thought, a skeleton warrior emerged from his summoning space. Currently, there were 28 skeleton warriors in his summoning space. After recovering spirit power through meditation last night, Lin Moyo had summoned 4 more skeleton warriors. Lin Moyo looked at a monster about 20 meters away. Go, take down that monster in front. The skeleton warrior immediately ran over with a crackling sound. At the same time, Lin Moyo cast detection on it. Goblin Patrol. Level 10. Strength 120. Agility 50. Spirit 50. Constitution 120. Skills none. The level 10 Goblin Patrol had a fierce face and wielded a spiked club. This monster was strength-focused, with pitifully low agility and spirit. Its constitution was decent, indicating tough skin and flesh. But compared to the skeleton warrior with all attributes at 750, it was no match at all. Here, the main monsters were from the Goblin clan. They occupied a vast area, all the way to the West Sea Mine 50 kilometers away, all part of the Goblin clan's territory. The skeleton warrior reached the goblin in the blink of an eye. The goblin noticed the skeleton warrior and attacked first, swinging its spiked club with a whooshing sound. The skeleton warrior didn't dodge and was hit directly by the club, making a loud bang. The Goblin Patrol's strength was great, even making the skeleton warrior sway slightly. But that was all. The skeleton warrior had already raised its shabby greatsword and swung back. Chapter 15. Chapter 15, 15. Chapter 15, Charging Through, Unstoppable. The Goblin Patrol was wounded and screamed loudly, swinging its spiked club more vigorously in retaliation. So it became a back and forth of club strikes and sword slashes. They exchanged blows, fighting with great intensity. The spiked club hitting the skeleton warrior only made it sway a bit, causing no substantial damage. But the skeleton warrior's sword strikes on the Goblin Patrol inflicted real damage. After 5 slashes, the Goblin Patrol let out a miserable cry and fell into a pool of blood. Killed level 10 Goblin Patrol, experience plus 300. Obtained Goblin Bone. A bone material appeared in Lin Moya's storage space. Everyone who transitioned careers received a storage space that expanded with level increases. It could store various items, materials, equipment, and food, very convenient. Lin Moyo had tried to put skeleton warriors in it but found it impossible. After killing one goblin patrol, Lin Moyo understood the strength of level 10 monsters. Generally, monsters of the same level didn't differ much. With a thought, he released all 28 skeleton warriors. Just like in the novice dungeon, these skeleton warriors quickly spread out, each seeking enemies. The monster density in the wild far exceeded that of the novice dungeon, and Lin Moya's experience began to rise rapidly, faster than in the novice dungeon. Killed level 10 goblin patrol, experience plus 300. Obtained goblin bone. Killed level 10 terrifying grey wolf, experience plus 280. Obtained wolf pelt. Notifications began to flood like a bullet screen, almost too fast for Lin Moya to follow. At this rate, reaching level 8 would take less than an hour. This was the right choice, Lin Moya thought, clenching his fist in excitement. At this speed, reaching level 15 before the big exam shouldn't be a problem. Going higher would depend on how experience changed after level 10. The spread-out skeleton warriors caught the attention of some career professionals. At first glance, they thought the skeleton warriors were some kind of monster. After using detection, they realized these were summons. But these summons were too strong, killing level 10 monsters as easily as cutting vegetables. Some people tried to find the summoner through the skeleton warriors. Fortunately, the skeleton warriors were far away, and Lin Moya recalled the one being tracked remotely, leaving no trace. Lin Moya changed direction, leaving the wilderness and entering a forest. The forest terrain was complex with poor visibility, often leading to monster ambushes, making it more dangerous. Most people disliked entering forests for this reason. The skeleton warriors spread out through the forest, unaffected by the complex terrain. A detailed map of the area gradually formed in Lin Moya's mind, every blade of grass and tree clear. An hour later, the light of leveling up appeared on Lin Moyo. He had reached level 8. The skeleton warriors continued non-stop, killing monster after monster. They brought Lin Moyo a constant stream of experience and materials. No one had ever leveled up as easily as him. Mages would run out of spirit power. Knights would become exhausted after long battles. Every career needed rest and recovery. Skeleton warriors didn't. As long as they were alive and not dispersed, they could keep going forever. No more monsters. Lin Moyo looked at the empty grove. In just over an hour, he had cleared out all the monsters inside. Lin Moyo had to leave the small forest and move towards deeper areas. Unknowingly, he had gotten farther and farther from West Sea City. He killed monsters as he went, no longer limited to level 10 monsters. Level 11, 12, and even 13 monsters were easily killed. At most, the skeleton warriors needed a few more slashes. With their high constitution, the skeleton warriors couldn't be hurt, but they could kill the monsters. It was that simple. An 8th level character leading a group of high attribute skeleton warriors, Lin Moya left no monster alive in his wake. By afternoon, Lin Moya's experience had reached level 9, 99%, just a step away from level 10. By now, he had 40 skeleton warriors, like a tireless and terrifying army, charging through the area unstoppably. At level 10, I can learn new skills, but I don't have any skill scrolls. I'll have to rely on my talent skills for now. Fortunately, they're strong enough. Even without new skills, it doesn't affect leveling up. Career professionals could learn new skills every 10 levels. There were 3 ways to learn skills: from a mentor, through skill books, or using skill scrolls. For hidden careers like Lin Moyo's, there were generally no mentors. And being a unique career, skill books didn't exist for him to learn from. The only way was through skill scrolls. Skill scrolls could be bought at the exchange, with junior skill scrolls for below level 20 costing 100,000 gold coins each. Very expensive. Using a skill scroll would randomly grant a skill for his career, but there was a problem. The skills learned from scrolls were random, and it was possible to learn a skill he already knew. If that happened, 100,000 gold coins would be wasted. Moreover, there were higher-level intermediate and advanced skill scrolls later, with astronomical prices. Yet for Lin Moya to learn new skills for his career, this was the only way. As Lin Moya pondered this, the light of leveling up shone again. He had finally reached level 10. Chapter 16. Chapter 16, 16. Chapter 16, Skill Upgrade, Bronze Skeletons, Dramatic Improvement. Name, Lin Moyo. Career, Necromancer, Unique. Level, 10, 0%. Strength, 100. Agility, 100. Spirit, 300. Constitution, 100. Equipment, none. Summoning space, 40/100. Skeleton Warrior, quantity, 40. Talent, Full Enhancement, Level 2, Unique. Passive skill, Damage Transfer. Active skills, Soul Fire, Level 10. Summon Skeleton Warrior, Level 10. Full Enhancement, Level 2. All skill effects increased by 20 times. Damage Transfer, all damage received by the Necromancer is transferred to summoned creatures. Soul Fire, Level 10 burns the target's soul, causing scorching damage. Power depends on one's spirit and skill level. Summon Skeleton Warrior, Level 10 summons one bronze rank Skeleton Warrior. Lin Moyo examined his post-level up attributes. Strength and agility changed little, increasing by 10 points per level steadily. However, his spirit power reached 300 points, a massive 120-point increase. They say there's a big attribute boost after level 10. As a mage class, my spirit power changed the most. Then he noticed his skill changes and became excited. His talent grew stronger, increasing from 10x to 20x amplification. Even if nothing else changed, the skeleton warrior's combat power would increase several times. Moreover, the skeleton warriors had evolved from iron rank to bronze rank. Lin Moyo eagerly summoned a skeleton warrior. The bronze rank skeleton warrior's gray color was gone, replaced by a greenish-white hue. The cracks on its body had almost completely disappeared, and even its sword looked brighter. At least it no longer looked like it was picked from a garbage heap. Bronze rank skeleton warrior. Strength, 3000. Agility, 3000. Spirit, 3000. Constitution, 3000. Skill, Berserk Strike, Level 1. Berserk Strike, Level 1 deals 200% of own strength as damage to the target, 10-minute cooldown. The attributes remained balanced, with base attributes reaching 150 points. After the 20x full enhancement boost, all attributes reached an astonishing 3000 points. Lin Moyo couldn't judge what level of career professional this was equivalent to based on his current knowledge, but with these attributes, he could dominate this area. Additionally, the new skill gave the skeleton warriors burst damage capability. Is this like One Trick Pony, master of all? Lin Moyo thought of a saying from his previous life. He didn't need complex, flashy skills, just one or two practical and powerful skills were enough to dominate. That was his current situation. He lacked the dazzling spells of mages or the eye-catching combat techniques of warriors. With just these skills, he dared say no one below level 20 could be his match. Defeating a level 20 at level 10 was impossible for others, but not for him. With the skeleton warrior's attributes and his passive skill, even if he stood still letting a level 20 attack, it would take a long time to kill him. As Lin Moyo was about to summon more bronze-rank skeleton warriors, he heard a whooshing sound as an arrow flew past his face. Several more arrows followed. One hit him, but an invisible membrane appeared, blocking it. His passive skill activated automatically, transferring all damage to the skeleton warriors. Lin Moyo remained unharmed. Under attack. Lin Moyo received the alert as his skeleton warrior's eyes glowed red, entering alert status. A black-clad figure ran from the forest, moving quickly with high agility. Lin Moyo guessed it was an assassin-type career. The figure saw Lin Moyo and quickly changed direction, disappearing in an instant. 2 seconds later, 2 more people appeared in pursuit. From their attire, Lin Moyo judged their careers: an archer and a mage. The archer had fired the arrows earlier. Without the damage transfer passive skill, Lin Moyo would have been injured. The two ignored Lin Moyo and continued their pursuit. Lin Moyo's eyes flickered. They were going the wrong way. The black-clad figure had changed direction here. Their pursuit was futile. Sure enough, the two returned seconds later. The mage used a skill, and Lin Moyo felt wind blowing around. After a few seconds, the mage sighed, "That rascal is cunning. They've escaped." The archer said, "It's okay. They can't escape forever. We'll catch them eventually." Then he turned to Lin Moyo. "Little one, did a black-clad person pass by earlier?" Lin Moyo didn't answer, instead saying softly, "Your arrow hit me. Apologize." The archer saw the arrow on the ground and understood. "I'm sorry." Lin Moyo waved his hand. "Don't let it happen again." The archer had a strange feeling, as if Lin Moyo was looking down on him from above. The mage looked gloomy, clearly unhappy about the escape. He turned to look at the skeleton warrior beside Lin Moyo. An undead summon. His eyes showed a hint of disgust as he slowly raised his staff. The skeleton warrior's eyes glowed red, entering combat stance. The archer suddenly pulled the mage back, whispering, "Don't cause trouble." The mage's eyes rolled, but he lowered his staff. "Fine." Watching the two retreat, Lin Moyo said calmly, "You're lucky." Though he hadn't used detection, judging from the arrow's power earlier, their attack wasn't strong. These two weren't high level, probably around level 20 at most. If they had attacked, Lin Moyo felt he might have had to kill them. He wasn't a saint. If bullied, he would retaliate 100-fold. When the mage raised his staff, Lin Moyo had already recalled all his skeleton warriors to the summoning space. He could have surrounded them instantly. If a fight broke out, they would have been hacked to pieces. Chapter 17. Chapter 17. Chapter 17, Blocking Badge. Killed level 10 Goblin Patrol, experience plus 300. Killed level 11 Goblin Soldier, experience plus 350. Obtained Goblin Bone. Notifications flooded in like a bullet screen, and experience rapidly increased. 44 bronze-rank skeleton warriors were killing monsters in the forest. With the skill upgrade, Lin Moyo once again enjoyed the feeling of one-shot kills. These bronze-rank skeleton warriors could kill level 10 and 11 goblin monsters in one hit. Efficiency increased again, but from level 10 onwards, the experience required for leveling up increased by nearly 3 times. Leveling became slower and slower. At this rate, Lin Moyo needed to kill at least 5,000 goblins to level up once. The tireless skeleton warriors kept killing, but it still wasn't quite enough. By nightfall, Lin Moyo was still 30% short of reaching level 11. Lin Moyo lit a campfire in the forest and ate food he had brought from home. He didn't plan to go back, as time was limited and couldn't be wasted on travel. At this leveling speed, I should reach level 13 tomorrow. It's unclear if I can reach level 15 the day after. After level 15, the leveling speed will slow down further, and I need to leave a day to return, so I can probably reach level 16 at most. How did Sister level up back then? Her leveling speed couldn't have been faster than mine. Sister was a rare career elf summoner. Her leveling speed should be similar to Xia Xue's. I must be overlooking something. Lin Moyo pondered, thinking about the knowledge he learned in school and combining it with Lin Mohan's actions at the time. Suddenly, he realized something. The West Sea Mine Dungeon. Did Sister team up with others to clear the dungeon? And it must have been at least nightmare difficulty. Nightmare dungeons are full of enhanced elite monsters, which surely give a lot of experience. That's why sister came back injured and had been healed by someone. Yes, it must be like this. Lin Moya clenched his fist, feeling confident in his guess. I'll check it out tomorrow. He made up his mind. As the night deepened, monsters within a 500-meter radius around him had been cleared. The skeleton warriors hid in the darkness while he began to meditate. With 44 skeleton warriors protecting him and his passive skill, he didn't need to worry about safety. The forest at night wasn't completely quiet. Occasional wolf howls could be heard from afar. The rustling of leaves in the wind added an eerie, scary atmosphere. The temperature where Lin Moya was located was lower than other places, as the presence of skeleton warriors turned the night wind into a chilly breeze. At midnight, a skeleton warrior suddenly sent an alert, waking Lin Moya from his meditation. The skeleton warriors had detected someone approaching his position. Is it a career professional coming to level up? There aren't many people who come to the forest to level up at midnight. Could they be lost? Lin Moya didn't move but became alert. Outside, one should never let their guard down. The campfire served as the best guiding light in the night. Soon, the person appeared in Lin Moya's sight. It's her. Lin Moya had seen her in the afternoon, the fleeing black-clad person. Excuse me, do you have any food? The black-clad person's voice was pleasant. Her large eyes were bright and clear in the firelight. Lin Moya took out a sweet potato and handed it over. The only food he had prepared was sweet potatoes and some water. The black-clad person didn't complain. She removed her mask and began eating large bites, clearly very hungry. Behind the mask was a delicate, pretty face. She looked only about 18 or 19 years old, exuding youthful energy. Lin Moya didn't use detection, as using it on strangers was impolite and could even provoke hostility. Then, before she could finish the word, she started coughing violently. She had been trying to eat and talk at the same time and choked. Lin Moya handed her a bottle of water. The black-clad person drank a few sips and finally caught her breath. Thank you. She finally managed to speak clearly. Lin Moya just nodded slightly to indicate it was nothing. The black-clad person ate the sweet potato bite by bite. Lin Moya didn't ask anything, and the atmosphere fell into an awkward silence. She didn't eat quickly, her movements were graceful. While eating, her beautiful eyes occasionally glanced at Lin Moya, flickering with a faint light, her thoughts unknown. After finishing, she finally spoke. What's your name? Seeing Lin Moya didn't answer, she continued, don't like talking? How about this, let's use detection on each other. Lin Moya thought for a moment, then nodded in agreement. Their fingertips glowed simultaneously as they used detection on each other. Lin Moya was stunned. The detection failed, and he didn't get any information. The black-clad person suddenly giggled, looking triumphant. Hee, you didn't get anything, did you? So your name is Lin Moya, level 10, and your career is Necromancer? I've never heard of this career, how strange. This afternoon, I saw something like a skeleton beside you. Is that your summon? Undead summons are rare. She suddenly became talkative, one sentence after another. Why aren't you talking? Don't tell me you're mute, you don't look like it. Lin Moya looked at her and asked calmly, why? She looked as if she had discovered a new continent, her face full of surprise. So you really can talk? Why? Lin Moya looked at her and asked again. She kept smiling. You mean why the detection failed? Because of this. She took out an item that looked like a badge. This is called a blocking badge. As long as you wear it, anyone whose level isn't 10 levels higher than yours will fail when using detection on you. She put away the blocking badge. Now try using detection on me again. Lin Moya nodded and cast detection. This time it worked. Ningyi, level 19, Shadow Assassin. A cool breeze blew by, and Ningyi's smile instantly disappeared. Lin Moya also looked to the side. Chapter 18. Chapter 18. Chapter 18, Skeleton Warriors can also be tanks. Lin Moya had already detected the newcomers through his skeleton warriors. Besides the archer and mage he met earlier today, there was now a knight carrying a sword and shield. The three surrounded them from different directions. Ningyi frowned, her delicate face scrunching up. This is endless. It's just a mid-level skill scroll. They've been chasing me for days and still haven't given up. Ningyi stomped her foot and said to Lin Moya, I'm leaving. We'll play again if we have the chance. Whoosh! An arrow shot out from the darkness. Ningyi reacted quickly, dodging to the side instantly. The arrow exploded with a bang, transforming into two streams of light that fell on Lin Moya and Ningyi. Huge markers appeared above their heads, glowing brightly in the night, looking like they were wearing bright lamps. Oh no, marker arrows. Ningyi's face suddenly paled, knowing things had become troublesome. Lin Moya recalled the description of marker arrows. It was an archer skill that could mark targets, making them conspicuous and unable to enter stealth. Marker arrows were very effective against assassin-type careers, limiting their stealth abilities. They were also useful in dungeons against stealth-type monsters. Once marked by an archer, stealth skills were restricted, making escape much more difficult. You can't escape this time. A cold laugh rang out as the mage from earlier emerged from the forest. On another side, the archer stood in a tree. From the third direction, the knight had also arrived. The mage gripped his staff, his cold gaze sweeping over Lin Moya and Ningyi. I knew you two were together. A dirty rat of an assassin paired with an evil, dark undead summoner. What a fine couple. A faint light flashed in Ningyi's hand, and a green glowing dagger appeared. He has nothing to do with this. I'll give you the skill scroll, and we'll go our separate ways. The archer in the tree laughed. That would have been fine a day ago, but now we think it's safer to kill you. The mage added, dead people are the safest. This way, no one will know we have a mid-level skill scroll, saving us a lot of trouble. Ningyi whispered, I'll hold them off. You run. Lin Moya looked at her, what about you? I'm a shadow assassin, the night is my domain. I have ways to escape. Lin Moya knew Ningyi was just saying this. If she could really beat them, she wouldn't have been running today. Clearly, the opponents were stronger. As a shadow assassin, she might have been able to escape before, but now hit by the archer's marker arrow, her stealth skills were ineffective, making escape much harder. The archer said gravely, the night is long. Let's not waste time. Attack! The mage raised his staff. Today, not only will you die, but this little one will die too. Brilliant light burst from the staff, and a huge light orb rose into the sky, illuminating the surroundings like daylight. Illumination spell. The mage's illumination spell not only lit up the area but also dispelled darkness and increased the mage's spell hit rate. Most crucially, it could also counter assassin's stealth skills. This made Ningyi even more uncomfortable. Time to fight for our lives. Light flashed in Ningyi's hand again, and a green dagger appeared. Her whole body tensed up. Her large eyes narrowed slightly, her gaze becoming sharp as she looked for opportunities. The archer in the tree had his bow fully drawn, ready to shoot at any moment. The knight had taken out his sword and shield, poised in a charging stance. The mage's staff was glowing brightly. The three surrounded them, leaving Ningyi no chance to escape. At this moment, Lin Moya slightly raised his finger, and a skeleton warrior appeared in front of him. Ha, wasted effort. The mage showed a hint of disdain and strong disgust. Fireball. The mage shouted, and a huge fireball a meter in diameter appeared out of thin air, shooting towards the two with roaring flames. Fireball was a powerful spell that mages could only master at level 20. A direct hit would be fatal or at least severely injurious. Quick, dodge. Ningyi's face changed as she immediately pulled Lin Moya back. As the mage launched the fireball, he also instantly cast a spirit entanglement spell. As Ningyi was pulling Lin Moya back, she suddenly felt her body become heavy, her speed slowing down significantly. An invisible thread of spirit power extended from the staff, entangling their feet. As Ningyi was entangled by the spirit power, the archer also made his move. The bowstring vibrated with a twang, and an arrow shot out. Midway, the arrow split into three. Triple shot. One of the archer's techniques, turning one arrow into three, tripling the attack. At this time, the knight also charged forward at an alarming speed. It's over. Ningyi's face turned pale. She suddenly pushed Lin Moya away hard, pushing him out of the attack range. At this moment, two skeleton warriors appeared on Ningyi's left and right. The three skeleton warriors acted like three shields, firmly protecting Ningyi. The mage's fireball hit a skeleton warrior, exploding with a boom and bursting into flames. The archer's triple shot hit the skeleton warriors, making metallic impact sounds. The knight also collided with a skeleton warrior, but while the skeleton didn't move an inch, the knight was sent flying back. From the flames, the skeleton warriors slowly walked out, emitting a greenish-white light, showing no signs of injury. How is this possible? The mage couldn't believe what he saw. He had used detection earlier and knew Lin Moya was only a level 10 necromancer. Summons couldn't exceed their summoner's level, so they should only be level 10 as well. How could his level 21 power fail to instantly kill them? The archer and knight were also stunned. What kind of summons were these, to be so strong? Crack, crack. Accompanied by grating friction sounds, skeleton warriors appeared all around. A total of 44 skeleton warriors completely surrounded the three of them. Chapter 19. Chapter 19. Chapter 19, First Kill, done decisively. Not only were the three stunned, but Ningyi was also shocked. She stared with wide eyes and an open mouth, unable to believe what she saw. Her expression was quite adorable. Earlier today, she had seen Lin Moya's skeleton warriors. Those level 10 skeleton warriors had many cracks on their bodies, and their weapons were worn out. They looked like they could be easily defeated. How could they be so strong now? The mage's level 20 skill couldn't harm them. The archer's triple shot and the knight's charge couldn't damage them either. Were these really level 10 summons? They seemed excessively powerful. And the number. Flames lit up in the night as skeleton warriors silently appeared, surrounding them. Lin Moya, a man of few words, walked back to Ningyi's side, his eyes filled with killing intent. Kill! With a thought, the skeleton warriors sprang into action. The mage's face changed dramatically. He shook his staff, and an energy shield appeared around him. Energy shield, a mage's signature skill. The higher the mage's level, the stronger the skill, and the more solid the energy shield. It was said that god-tier mages could withstand forbidden spells with their shields. Mages had low agility and couldn't move as quickly as archers. Now surrounded by skeleton warriors, he had no room to dodge. A skeleton warrior's blade fell, causing the energy shield to distort violently. The mage's face paled. With just one strike, his energy shield was nearly broken. What were these skeletons' attributes? Their attack power was terrifying. He had no time to think further as a second skeleton warrior's blade fell. The energy shield shattered, dispersing into countless points of light. Fire repulsion ring. The mage cast another skill, and a huge ring of fire exploded, pushing several nearby skeletons over 10 meters away. Before he could rejoice, darkness fell over him as two skeletons leaped above his head. He had no more chances to use skills. A flash of blade, and the mage's head flew off. In just 2 seconds, the mage was dead. The archer was now being chased by skeleton warriors, in a very sorry state. Having witnessed the mage's death, his eyes were filled with fear. He was more agile than the mage, but still far inferior to the skeleton warriors with 3,000 agility. He kept using evasion skills, trying to escape the skeleton's encirclement. But his efforts were in vain, time and again. As the skeleton warriors closed in, his room for maneuver grew smaller and smaller. Compared to the dead mage and the soon-to-die archer, the knight was in a slightly better situation. The knight's body glowed like a light bulb as he repeatedly used his charge skill to run away. This light was even more solid than the mage's energy shield, protecting him firmly. Even when the skeleton warrior's blades fell on him, they couldn't harm him. It's ultimate defense. I didn't expect this knight to have mastered the skill, Lin Moya thought, recalling his knowledge of the skill. This was one of the knight's core skills. Once activated, it greatly increased defense for a short time. Its exact strength was unknown, but it was said that a level 20 knight using ultimate defense could withstand an attack from a level 40 mage. Though only for one hit, it showed how powerful ultimate defense was. Knights who mastered ultimate defense were like a different class compared to those who hadn't. However, ultimate defense wasn't an easy skill to learn. Without the corresponding skill book, it could only be learned through skill scrolls. The randomness was high. The knight fled frantically under ultimate defense. A scream from behind told him the archer had also died. With both the mage and archer dead, he was thoroughly frightened. How could these skeleton warriors be so terrifying? If he had known, he wouldn't have come. Losing his life for a mid-level skill scroll wasn't worth it. Use skills. Block him, don't let him escape. Lin Moyo gave orders. He couldn't let the knight escape. Since he had started killing, he would finish it cleanly. The skeleton warriors' blades simultaneously glowed red. Berserk strike, dealing 200% of their strength as damage. With 3000 strength, the skeleton warriors' damage instantly doubled when using this skill. They can even use skills. The knight was terrified. The skeleton warriors were already frightening enough, and now they could use skills too. This was beyond belief. The glowing red blades fell on the knight. The white light on the knight immediately dimmed significantly. Then came the second hit, and the third. Ultimate defense lasted for 1 minute when not under attack. The more intense the attacks received, the shorter the duration of ultimate defense. As more and more skeleton warriors rushed in to use their skills, the duration of ultimate defense was rapidly decreasing. More skeleton warriors had surrounded him, cutting off the knight's escape route. It was hopeless. After about 10 seconds, the knight was dismembered by the skeleton warriors, dying with regret. Either don't do it, or if you do, don't hold back. This was what Lin Mohan had told Lin Moyo, and it was how Lin Moyo acted. They're all dead. Ning Yi still hadn't fully processed what happened. From the start of the battle to its end, it took only about 20 seconds. All three were killed, and the one responsible hadn't even moved, just standing there. Lin Moya nodded, confirming Ning Yi's words. They were indeed all dead. The skeleton warriors returned, carrying many items. When career professionals died, the contents of their storage spaces dropped. The skeleton warriors had picked everything up. Bronze rank Carmen staff, spirit plus 20, increases mage type skill power by 5%, usable after level 18. Bronze rank Carmen bow, agility plus 20, increases archery type skill power by 5%, usable after level 18. Bronze rank Carmen sword, strength plus 10, constitution plus 10, increases offensive skill power by 5%, usable after level 18. Bronze rank Carmen shield, constitution plus 20, increases defensive skill effect by 5%, usable after level 18. Chapter 20. Chapter 20. Chapter 20, new skill, corpse explosion. The 4 weapons were neatly arranged in front of them. Bronze rank weapons, glowing with a greenish-white light, similar to the luster on the skeleton warriors. Ning Yi said, these all come from the Carmen Orc Legion dungeon. Lin Moya was puzzled he hadn't heard of this dungeon. Seeing Lin Moya's confusion, Ning Yi explained, the Carmen Orc Legion dungeon is a level 20 dungeon outside High City. Those 3 often ran that dungeon. Lin Moya nodded. These 4 bronze rank items were useless to him, but he could sell them for money. He unceremoniously collected the 4 bronze items, and Ning Yi didn't object. There were also some materials left, like wolf pelts, beast bones, and green sprout grass, though not in large quantities. Lin Moya took them all without hesitation. Every little bit helps, they could be sold for money. After collecting the weapons, equipment, and materials, only one item remained. Junior Skill Scroll. Description: can obtain a skill below level 20, may obtain an already learned skill. Unexpectedly, it was a junior skill scroll, worth 100,000 gold coins, very valuable. Lin Moyo held the scroll, considering whether to use it himself or sell it. Ning Yi asked, you probably haven't used a junior skill scroll before, right? Lin Moya nodded, confirming he hadn't. Then you should try it. Although there's a chance of getting a skill you already know, you might learn a new skill too. Wait, are you thinking of selling it? Really? Are you that short on money? It's just a junior skill scroll, not an advanced one. It's not worth much. In Ning Yi's words, 100,000 gold coins seemed like nothing. Clearly, she came from a wealthy background. Lin Moyo held the skill scroll. How do I use it? Ning Yi giggled, it's simple. Just hold the scroll and say use out loud. Lin Moya didn't doubt her and followed her instructions. Use. The scroll didn't react. Ning Yi said, oh no, that's not right. Your voice wasn't loud enough. You need to say use loudly for it to work. Lin Moya looked at her but didn't try again. He might not have used one before, but he wasn't foolish. The voice too low excuse was unbelievable. Lin Moyo had already guessed the correct method and directly activated the skill scroll with his spirit power. Ning Yi was expectantly watching Lin Moyo, waiting for him to shout use. But Lin Moya never did. Suddenly, the skill scroll burst into brilliant light, enveloping Lin Moyo. Ningyi exclaimed in disappointment. Ah, you figured it out. She had wanted to tease Lin Moyo but failed as he found the correct method. The skill scroll transformed into a ball of light surrounding Lin Moyo. Obtain skill, Corpse Explosion. Corpse Explosion, level 1, detonate a corpse, dealing 10% of the corpse's life value as damage to enemies within a 1-meter range. He gained a new skill. The scroll wasn't wasted. Corpse Explosion was currently at level 1, indicating it was a skill that could be mastered at level 10. Looking at the skill description, it didn't seem impressive at first glance. The range was only 1 meter, which seemed too small to be useful. And the power was based on the corpse's life value. Lin Moyo understood this concept of corpse life value. In a necromancer's eyes, corpses also had life. Their life came from flesh, bones, and even the soul. Even after death, a corpse's life value wasn't necessarily less than when it was alive. Like some powerful beings whose corpses remained uncorrupted for centuries, continuously emitting enormous energy. But Lin Moyo saw different potential in this skill. It was an area of effect attack skill. If he faced thousands of enemies, he couldn't rely on skeleton warriors to cut them down one by one. That would be too slow. Now, once an enemy was killed, he could detonate the corpse, damaging enemies within the skill's range. As more enemies died, more corpses would form. He could continue detonating corpses, one after another. As long as he had spirit power, the skill wouldn't stop. And with his talent, was the 1-meter range really a problem? Now it had reached 20 meters, and the damage had increased to 200%. Another godly skill. With his talent, almost all his skills became godly. As the scroll's light faded, Ningyi blinked her big eyes expectantly. How was it? Did you learn a new skill? I did. Lin Moyo didn't mind Ningyi's earlier teasing. She was just playful and mischievous. He wasn't petty enough to hold it against her. Ningyi smiled happily. Your voice sounds nice. Why don't you like talking? It's such a shame. Lin Moyo looked at her. This girl seemed different from the girls at his school. She was lively and playful. Your voice sounds nice too. Lin Moyo rarely complimented others. It wasn't that he was unwilling to talk, he just didn't like unnecessary chatter. He talked plenty with his sister Lin Mohan and his grandmother. Ningyi seemed very pleased, giggling. Thanks for the compliment. I know my voice sounds good too. Since you saved me and complimented me, I'll give you this. Saying this, Ningyi took out a box and directly placed it in Lin Moyo's hands. Intermediate Skill Scroll. Description: can obtain a skill between levels 20 and 40, may obtain an already learned skill. In the exchange, an intermediate skill scroll could cost up to 10 million gold coins, 100 times the price of a junior skill scroll. Ningyi had mentioned that her pursuers were after the scroll. How could she give it away so easily? Chapter 21. Chapter 21, 21. Chapter 21, can't you be less stingy? Why is it so cold? Ningyi sat down by the fire, warming her small hands. With her pursuers dealt with, Ningyi relaxed. Lin Moyo knew the low temperature was due to the skeleton warriors and immediately ordered them to disperse. Knowing Lin Moyo didn't like to talk, Ningyi started chatting on her own. I found a lucky treasure chest in the Carmen Orc Legion camp in Shanghai City. You know, these chests appear randomly, and I happened to find one. I opened it and got this intermediate skill scroll. Those guys saw me with it. They wanted to steal my scroll. Even though it's not worth much, I wasn't going to give up something I just found. So they chased me, and I ran. I've been running for 2 days, from Shanghai City to West Sea City. Aren't they annoying, like bed bugs? From Ningyi's words, it was clear that even a 10 million gold coin intermediate skill scroll wasn't a big deal to her. It was hard to imagine which wealthy family she came from. Lin Moyo looked at Ningyi and waited for her to finish before saying softly, you almost died earlier. Ningyi replied, don't worry, I can't die. When I receive fatal damage, I'm automatically teleported away. But still, thank you. If it weren't for you, I might not have died, but I would have been hurt. You know, getting hurt is painful, and he hates pain the most. Lin Moyo realized his concern was unnecessary. She had an item that prevented her death. Ningyi reached out. I gave you the intermediate skill scroll. Do you have any more food? I'm still hungry. Lin Moyo took out several buns, part of the loot from earlier, about 10 in total. Ningyi shook her head. No buns, I want sweet potatoes. Lin Moyo smiled wryly and exchanged the buns for sweet potatoes. That's better. I don't want to eat dead people's food, Ningyi said, happily eating the sweet potato. Are sweet potatoes really that good? Watching Ningyi eat, it seemed delicious. Lin dummy, are you here to level up? From your level, you probably haven't gone to a higher education institution yet, right? Ningyi asked while eating. Lin Moyo nodded. No, I haven't. Ningyi had gotten used to Lin Moyo's speaking habits. So which higher education institution are you aiming for? Summer Capital University, Lin Moyo said softly. Summer Capital University is quite good. Hearing this, Ningyi didn't seem surprised at all. In her view, with Lin Moyo's strength, any university would be possible. Who else could easily kill level 20 career professionals at level 10 and 3 at once? If Lin Moyo couldn't get into Summer Capital University, probably no one could. Suddenly, Ningyi thought of something, her eyes lighting up. If you go to Summer Capital University, remember to challenge their Divine Summer Tower. For your first challenge, the rewards are doubled. Try to climb as high as you can. You'll get more points that way. In Summer Capital University, points are more useful than gold coins. Also, there's a Creation God Academy in Summer Capital University. If possible, you must try to get in there. Ningyi seemed very knowledgeable about Summer Capital University and talked non-stop about it. From her words, Lin Moyo formed a general picture of Summer Capital University in his mind. Ningyi did 99% of the talking, with Lin Moyo mostly listening and occasionally responding. Eventually, Ningyi fell silent. Lin Moyo gave her a piece of clothing to use as a blanket and began meditating. The next day, as sunlight fell, Lin Moyo awoke from meditation with his spirit power fully restored. Ningyi was blinking her big eyes at him. "Do you have any more sweet potatoes?" Ningyi asked with a grin, reaching out her hand. Lin Moyo directly handed her a sweet potato. "Not enough, I want more." Lin Moyo gave her another one. "Can't you be less stingy? It's just sweet potatoes, can't you give me more?" Yes, a big man should be generous. "Give me all of them." Lin Moyo ended up giving Ningyi almost all of the 20-some sweet potatoes he had, leaving none for himself. "Really no more?" Ningyi still didn't believe him, looking like she wanted to dive into Lin Moyo's storage space. Lin Moyo nodded. "Really, no more?" Ningyi finally let it go. Okay, I believe you. This young lady has to go now. I need to level up too. Lin dummy, we'll meet again. Level up quickly, so you can help me level up in the future. Ningyi left decisively, taking the sweet potatoes and the clothing she used as a blanket. After Ningyi left, Lin Moyo muttered to himself, "Help you level up in the future." After a whole night, the goblin monsters still hadn't respawned. The monster respawn time far exceeded Lin Moyo's expectations. He thought it might be because he killed them too quickly. A faint smell of blood lingered in the forest. 3 corpses lay on the ground. Lin Moyo looked at the corpses and silently used the skill he had just learned yesterday. Corpse explosion. With a huge boom, a large area of trees was blasted to pieces. Not just knocked down, but truly shattered. A large crater appeared on the ground, 20 meters in diameter and over 10 meters deep. The power was considerable. Lin Moyo discovered that the damage range of corpse explosion was 360 degrees in all directions. Looking at this, detonating in mid-air might be even more powerful. He had just detonated the mage's corpse. He ordered a skeleton warrior to throw the archer's corpse into the air. He activated the skill on the airborne corpse. Another huge explosion occurred, with even greater power, confirming his guess. An air burst was indeed more powerful. However, corpse explosion had a drawback: it could easily harm allies. He and his skeleton warriors wouldn't be harmed, but teammates in a party might not be so lucky. Chapter 22. Chapter 22. Chapter 22, a divine skill for destroying evidence. Another huge explosion echoed through the forest as the knight's corpse was detonated. The 3 were completely erased, not even a trace remained. Undeniably, the corpse explosion skill was also a top-tier technique for destroying evidence. Lin Moyo headed towards West Sea Mine as he had planned yesterday. That was the goblin's lair. As he got closer to West Sea Mine, the goblin clan's levels gradually increased. Level 12 goblin warriors and level 13 goblin archers appeared one after another. But they were no match for the skeleton warriors with their extraordinary attributes. After a night of meditation, Lin Moyo's spirit power was fully restored, and he summoned 4 more skeleton warriors. He now had 48 skeleton warriors in total. As the summoned skeleton warrior skill reached level 10, the skeletons evolved from iron rank to bronze rank. The spirit power requirement also increased. Now, summoning 1 skeleton warrior required 70 spirit power points. Lin Moyo had a total of 300 spirit power points. Like before, he could only summon 4 at a time. However, Lin Moyo was already very satisfied. One day, his summoning space would be full. He wasn't in a hurry. As he approached the West Sea Mine dungeon, more people appeared. The monsters on the road to the dungeon were mostly cleared out. Soon, Lin Moyo saw the dungeon entrance. It was a vortex similar to the novice dungeon, but much larger. The novice dungeon's vortex was at most half a meter in diameter. This West Sea Mine dungeon entrance was a full meter in diameter. A bloodthirsty aura continuously emanated from the vortex. People with weak nerves would feel fear just smelling this aura. Normal difficulty. 3-man team, need a healer. Normal difficulty. Have mage and healer, need a knight. Elite team for Mine Dungeon, nightmare difficulty. Have knight, mage, assassin, need healer and control support. Guaranteed clear nightmare difficulty team, need knight and healer, 4 spots open. Many people were shouting at the dungeon entrance, looking for team members. Others stood in front of the entrance, seemingly discussing something. Lin Moyo approached the entrance with 1 skeleton warrior. He had recalled the other skeleton warriors. Even in the summoning space, the passive skill was still effective. Lin Moyo had no concerns about his safety. Crack, crack. The skeleton warrior made bone-grinding sounds as it walked. The sound was jarring to hear. The soul fire flickered in its skull, bringing gusts of cold wind, lowering the temperature by several degrees. The skeleton warrior's appearance was terrifying, causing widespread panic as Lin Moyo arrived. Many people retreated, automatically clearing a path for Lin Moyo. Lin Moyo reached the dungeon entrance and checked the dungeon information. It wasn't a true dungeon like the novice dungeon for new players to level up. The mine dungeon wasn't high level, only having normal and nightmare difficulties, no hell difficulty. Normal difficulty already had elite monsters, several times stronger than those outside. Nightmare difficulty had enhanced elite monsters, even more challenging. Normal difficulty usually required a 3-person team, a tank, a damage dealer, and a healer. Nightmare difficulty needed a 5-person team, requiring double support and double damage dealers. This showed the difference in difficulty. The skeleton warrior just stood beside Lin Moyo, motionless. Finally, someone gathered the courage to speak to Lin Moyu. "Young man, are you a summoner?" Lin Moya didn't answer, ignoring them. Someone cast detection on him and his skeleton warrior. The skeleton warrior's hollow eye sockets suddenly glowed red, looking at the person who cast detection. This action startled the person, who hid like a turtle retreating into its shell. The detection failed, yielding no information. Lin Moya was wearing the blocking badge Ning Yi gave him. Anyone not 10 levels higher than him couldn't get information through detection. Lin Moya didn't let the skeleton warrior attack. It was just a detection spell, not worth retaliating. "Young man, want to run the dungeon together? We need another damage dealer. You're a summoner, right? Summoners have good damage output too. Want to join us? We're an elite team, doing nightmare difficulty. If equipment drops, we'll split it evenly." Everyone seemed to realize Lin Moya was extraordinary and invited him to join their teams. But Lin Moya continued to ignore them. After checking the dungeon information, he chose nightmare difficulty. "Please confirm if you want to select nightmare difficulty." "Confirm." Lin Moya was teleported into the dungeon. He entered the dungeon. He went in alone. "No way, he's soloing? That's too arrogant. We can't say that. What if he really has the ability? It's not like no one has soloed before." "Hey, the friend who used detection earlier, tell us the information you got. What level is he? What career?" "Yeah, his summon is undead. I've never seen that before." The person who used detection looked embarrassed. "I couldn't get any information. He must be wearing a blocking badge." "I see. Well, let's wait and see if he comes out alive. Maybe he's all show and no substance. Looks scary but might be really weak." Outside the dungeon, many people had expressions of anticipation for a good show. Every year, quite a few people died in dungeons due to arrogantly trying to solo them. The mine dungeon was true to its name, with terrain just like a mine. The dungeon was filled with an oppressive atmosphere and a strong smell of blood. A huge iron door stood before Lin Moyo. Opening it would officially start the dungeon. Behind the door, a monster over 2 meters tall was roaring. It had already detected Lin Moyo. If Lin Moyo dared to open the door, it would rush out to tear him apart immediately. Chapter 23. Chapter 23. Chapter 23, Unamplified Skill, Knowledge Blind Spot. Through the iron door, Lin Moya cast detection. Goblin Mine Guard, Enhanced Elite Monster. Level, 14. Strength, 800. Agility, 400. Spirit, 200. Constitution, 1000. Skill, Stunning Attack. As expected of an enhanced elite monster, its attributes were several times higher than ordinary monsters. Extremely high strength and constitution, high attack and defense. A level 14 night class career would only have 300 to 400 constitution, far inferior to this enhanced elite monster. Without teamwork, it would be difficult to clear the nightmare difficulty dungeon. However, these attributes were still far inferior to Lin Moya's skeleton warriors. Lin Moya released the skeleton warriors from his summoning space, instantly filling the room. Then he opened the door, officially starting his dungeon journey. The Goblin Mine Guard roared excitedly and charged out from behind the iron door. It was greeted by the skeleton warriors' great swords. Though larger than the skeleton warriors, it had low agility and intelligence. The skeleton warrior's blades immediately caused horrific wounds on its body. Even one-on-one with a skeleton warrior, it would surely die. Now it faced multiple skeleton warriors attacking simultaneously. At least 5 or 6 skeleton warriors surrounded it, slashing away. In just 2 seconds, it fell with a miserable cry. Killed level 14 Goblin Mine Guard, experience plus 4200. Seeing the notification, Lin Moyo felt a flash of excitement. The experience was about 10 times higher than monsters of the same level outside. Killing one monster here was equivalent to killing 10 outside, and it only took 1 or 2 seconds, not much slower. This naturally sped up the leveling process. Lin Moyo felt he had found the right direction and immediately issued orders. The skeleton warriors charged into the dungeon passage with crackling sounds. Like an unstoppable army, they cut through everything in their path. Killed level 14 Goblin Mine Guard, experience plus 4200. Obtained Bones X5. Killed level 14 Goblin Mine Guard, experience plus 4200. Obtained Fur X6. Messages kept appearing. Experience increased rapidly, and materials accumulated. A detailed map of the dungeon quickly formed in Lin Moya's mind. The mine dungeon was true to its name, a mine with many interconnected passages. All paths eventually led to the dungeon's end. Usually, other teams would choose one path to advance. Unlike Lin Moyo, who sent skeleton warriors down every passage, he didn't spare any monsters, killing all he could. Just 5 minutes after entering the dungeon, Lin Moyo was enveloped in the light of leveling up. Finally, level 11. After leveling up, his spirit power fully recovered. Lin Moyo immediately summoned 4 more skeleton warriors to join the team. The number of skeleton warriors reached 56. Name, Lin Moyo. Career, Necromancer, Unique. Level, 11, 0%. Strength, 120. Agility, 120. Spirit, 40/400. Constitution, 120. Equipment, none. Summoning space, 56/110. Skeleton warrior, quantity, 56. Talent, full enhancement, level 2, unique. Passive skill, damage transfer. Active skills, soul fire, level 11. Summon skeleton warrior, level 11. Corpse explosion, level 1. Full enhancement, level 2. All skill effects increased by 20 times. Damage transfer, all damage received by the necromancer is transferred to summoned creatures. Soul Fire, level 11 burns the target's soul, causing scorching damage. Power depends on one's spirit and skill level. Summon Skeleton Warrior, level 11 summons one bronze rank Skeleton Warrior. Corpse Explosion, level 1 detonates a corpse, dealing 10% of the corpse's life value as damage to enemies within a 1 meter range. Checking his attributes, Lin Moya noticed. After level 10, the basic attribute increase is larger. Strength, Agility, and Constitution used to increase by 10 points per level, now it's 20 points. Spirit Power increased by 100 points. As levels increase, future attribute increases will become larger. Lin Moyo understood this principle after checking. Skills improved again, with Skeleton Warrior's 4 attributes reaching 3,400. Basic attributes increased by 20 points, amplified 20 times, resulting in a 400-point increase. All changes were mostly within expectations. Only the newly acquired Corpse Explosion skill remained at level 1, unchanged. Why is that? Lin Moyo was puzzled. Why did Soul Fire and Summon Skeleton Warrior skills improve, but Corpse Explosion didn't change? He couldn't understand. This situation was outside his knowledge range, touching on a blind spot in his understanding. If Ningyi were here, she might know. Lin Moya thought of Ningyi, the playful girl who could talk endlessly and knew much more than him. If she were here, he could ask her. Temporarily setting aside his confusion, he continued deeper into the dungeon. The mine dungeon had 8 passages, interconnected like a maze. However, all these passages eventually converged. Lin Moyo evenly distributed the skeleton warriors in each passage, not sparing a single monster. Experience increased rapidly, steadily pushing his level up. The efficiency was much higher than outside. When he emerged from the passages, all monsters inside had been completely cleared out. Level 11, 32.22%, nearly 1/3 complete. It took just over half an hour, very efficient. Chapter 24. Chapter 24. Chapter 24, Mine Wolf King, Elite Boss. After passing through the maze-like mine tunnels, Lin Moyo entered the latter half of the dungeon. A massive corridor, about 1,000 meters long, stretched before him. On both sides of the corridor were rooms resembling prison cells. Large iron doors stood outside each room, making them look like a series of jails from afar. Beast cries constantly echoed through the huge corridor. The air was filled with a bloodthirsty aura and a foul stench. A massive monster blocked the path in the center. This monster looked like a cross between a wolf and a dog. Even lying down, it was over 1 meter tall. Standing up, it would be over 3 meters high. Its body length exceeded 5 meters. Lin Moya cast detection on the monster. Mine Wolf King, Elite Boss, Level 15. Strength 2000, Agility 2000, Spirit 1000, Constitution 2500. Skill Roar. This was Lin Moya's first encounter with a boss-level monster, and an elite boss at that. Though its attributes were still inferior to the skeleton warriors, they far surpassed other minor monsters. If even a boss has attributes at this level, the final dungeon boss must be even more powerful, Lin Moya thought. But it shouldn't exceed the skeleton warriors, otherwise no one could clear this dungeon. This level of difficulty was normal for a nightmare dungeon. Generally, those capable of clearing nightmare difficulty would be higher level than the dungeon itself. An elite 5-person team might average around level 17 or 18. They would also need decent equipment and skills. Otherwise, clearing a nightmare dungeon would be impossible. Someone like Lin Moyo, soloing a nightmare dungeon at level 10, was unprecedented in history. Affected by the detection spell, the Mine Wolf King awoke from its slumber. It slowly stood up, its massive wolf body over 5 meters tall. Lin Moyo and the skeleton warriors weren't even as tall as its legs. Its blood-red wolf eyes looked at Lin Moyo, emanating a bloodthirsty aura. A terrifying pressure swept over Lin Moyo. Attack! Lin Moyo commanded. 56 skeletons charged towards the Mine Wolf King like lightning. The Wolf King suddenly let out a roar, activating its skill. A powerful shockwave burst from its mouth. Over 30 skeleton warriors at the front were all blown away. The mine walls trembled, raining down countless stone fragments. Even Lin Moyo, standing tens of meters away, felt the shockwave and looked surprised. This skill was an area of effect attack with a knockback effect. It was the first time he'd seen the skeleton warriors get blown away. The skeleton warriors were thrown back, crashing into the ground and walls, looking somewhat disheveled. Lin Moyo showed no concern. He could sense that the skeleton warriors were merely knocked back. The actual damage was minimal. Their 3,400 constitution wasn't for show. The skeleton warriors' defense was already very powerful. They quickly got up and charged at the Mine Wolf King again. The slight cracks from the earlier attack rapidly disappeared, healing instantly. Their soul fires remained strong. Use skills. Lin Moyo ordered. Berserk Strike. The skeleton warriors that weren't blown away reached the Mine Wolf King, their glowing red blades slashing down. Blood splattered, flesh tore, and wounds deep enough to see bone appeared. The Wolf King howled in pain. Many skeleton warriors leaped high, landing on the Mine Wolf King's body, their glowing red blades activating skills. This scene closely resembled what Lin Moya saw during his career transition. This was how the skeleton warriors had killed the giant dragon. The Mine Wolf King wasn't as large or powerful as a dragon. The skeleton warrior's attack power was even higher than its, each slash causing considerable damage. The Mine Wolf King rolled around frantically, its huge body repeatedly crashing into the mine walls, trying to shake off the skeleton warriors. The skeleton warrior's hands firmly gripped its flesh, hard to shake off. The skeleton warriors on the ground pursued relentlessly, their blades repeatedly striking its legs. Blades hit bone with metallic sounds, causing the Wolf King to howl in agony. Its claws swatted at the skeleton warriors, the massive impact force sending them flying. But the skeleton warriors weren't seriously injured and quickly returned. When it tried to bite them, its teeth shattered instead. The skeleton warriors' 3,400 constitution made them incredibly tough. What use is a large body? What's meant to die will die, Lin Moya thought, watching the scene. While the huge body brought a stronger sense of pressure and immense strength, it also became its weakness. If its defense wasn't strong enough to withstand the skeleton warriors' attacks, the outcome was predictable. In just a few seconds, the Wolf King was on the brink of death. Roar! Another violent howl. The Mine Wolf King activated its skill a second time. This time it used full power. The knockback effect of the roar skill was pushed to its limit. Under the shockwave, it finally shook off the skeleton warriors on its body. Even the nearby skeleton warriors were blown away. The skill's attack power is average, but the knockback effect is quite good, Lin Moya thought, watching the skeleton warriors scatter like flower petals. His face remained expressionless. The skill looked powerful, but the skeleton warriors hadn't taken much damage. Sure enough, the skeleton warriors rolled as they hit the ground, then sprang back up and charged back, full of vigor. Suddenly, the Mine Wolf King turned and limped towards the corridor. Escaping. Lin Moya thought. Chapter 25. Chapter 25. Chapter 25, Instant Kill. Currently the strongest area attack skill. Lin Moya was slightly surprised, not expecting the dungeon boss to flee. The Mine Wolf King escaped into the corridor, howling continuously. As if responding to its calls, wolf howls echoed throughout the corridor. Something seemed off. Lin Moya sensed a problem and didn't order the skeleton warriors to pursue. Instead, he had them retreat to his side. Creak, creak. The iron doors on both sides of the corridor opened at the Wolf King's howls, and bloodthirsty fierce wolves emerged. Mine Fierce Wolf. Level, 14. Strength, 600. Agility, 600. Spirit, 200. Constitution, 1000. Skill, Bite. Under detection, the wolves' information was clear. Their attributes weren't very strong, even weaker than the goblin mine guards in the tunnels. But there were too many, at least 100. The sight of so many fierce wolves charging together was enough to make one's scalp tingle. Lin Moya wasn't afraid. Though numerous, the Mine Fierce wolves weren't strong enough to threaten his skeleton warriors. But he wondered how other teams dealt with these wolves. He didn't believe a team of just 5 career professionals could contend with so many wolves. Looking at the surroundings, he saw the mine tunnel behind and understood. The tunnel exit wasn't large, allowing only one person through at a time. So if a knight could hold the tunnel while a healer supported, and a mage used area attack skills, they could eventually clear the wolves, just taking more time. Lin Moya's guess was correct, other teams did exactly that. However, he didn't know that other teams wouldn't encounter so many Mine Fierce wolves. Usually, there would only be about a dozen wolves. This was related to him clearing all the monsters in the mine tunnels. As it was Lin Moya's first time in the mine dungeon, he wasn't aware of this mechanism. The books didn't contain this knowledge either. But even if he had known, he would still have cleared all the monsters. How could Lin Moya pass up so much experience? As for difficulty, was there any difficulty for him? Since entering the dungeon, he had only given a few mental commands. He hadn't even broken a sweat. To him, these many Mine Fierce wolves were just piles of experience. The skeleton warriors formed circles around Lin Moya, protecting him firmly. The Mine Fierce wolves charged in, clashing with the skeleton warriors. They were very ferocious, constantly biting and clawing at the skeleton warriors. Their claws were like knives, striking the skeleton warriors. Unfortunately, their attack power wasn't strong enough to cause significant damage. After all the Mine Fierce wolves had arrived, Lin Moya directed 5 skeleton warriors to attack one wolf simultaneously. Blood and flesh flew. With 5 skeletons each striking once, the wolf fell with a miserable cry in just 2 seconds. Killed level 14 Mine Fierce Wolf, experience plus 2800. Obtained Wolf Pelt X3. Lin Moya's lips curved into a beautiful arc. Light glowed in his palm. Corpse explosion. With a huge boom, the Mine Fierce Wolf's corpse detonated. The damage was 10% of the wolf's life value. The explosion range was 1 meter, then amplified 20 times by his talent. Within a 20-meter radius of the corpse, all enemies suffered 200% of the corpse's life value as damage. This was equivalent to these wolves taking 200% of their own life value in damage. No wolf could withstand this. Instant kill. Undoubtedly, an instant kill. Killed level 14 Mine Fierce Wolf, experience plus 2800. Obtained Wolf Pelt X2. Killed level 14 Mine Fierce Wolf, experience plus 2800. Obtained Bones X3. Killed level 14 Mine Fierce Wolf, experience plus 2800. Obtained Wolf Pelt X4. Instantly, notifications popped up like a bullet screen. Experience skyrocketed like a launching rocket. In the blink of an eye, his experience jumped from 32% to 72%. One attack gained 40% experience. The speed was astonishing. Lin Moya was also secretly amazed. The corpse explosion skill was too strong, terrifyingly so. Whether it could compare to mage's forbidden spells or not, at least at this level, the skill was invincible. At this moment, the Mine Wolf King limped back, its eyes filled with terror. How had all its minions died in an instant? What was that explosion just now? With its intelligence, it couldn't understand. There were several Mine Fierce Wolf corpses at its feet. Equal treatment, you try it too, Lin Moya said coldly, his palm flickering with light. Corpse explosion. boom, boom, boom. 3 consecutive explosions as 3 corpses detonated simultaneously. A miserable howl rang out as the Mine Wolf King was covered in blood. Most of its body was stripped of flesh, leaving only white bones. In some places, even the bones were broken. Whimper. The Wolf King let out a final mournful cry. Its huge body swayed several times before crashing to the ground. It had already been severely injured and couldn't withstand such intense damage. Killed level 15 Mine Wolf King, experience plus 15,000. Obtained Wolf King's Fang. Obtained low-level monster crystal core. Only 15,000 experience, not very cost-effective, Lin Moya thought. For such a strong Mine Wolf King, 15,000 experience wasn't much, equivalent to just 5 Mine Fierce Wolves. However, for boss-level monsters, the focus wasn't on experience but on item drops. The Wolf King's Fang was a material for crafting weapons, fetching a high price at the exchange. Monster crystal cores could be used to craft jewelry and enhance attributes, also valuable. Crystal cores only dropped from boss-level monsters and above, and weren't guaranteed drops. This kept their prices consistently high. Chapter 26. Chapter 26, 26. Chapter 26, Goblin King, a terrifying blow. Walking through the corridor, a nauseating stench assaulted Lin Moya's senses. He couldn't help but cover his nose. The long 1,000-meter corridor was now empty, all iron doors open and rooms vacant. All the fierce wolves had been eliminated, leaving no trace. At the end of the corridor, a massive mining pit appeared. The pit's diameter exceeded 1,000 meters, its depths pitch black and unfathomable. A spiral path led downwards, with numerous goblin-type monsters patrolling. They wore armor and wielded large swords, patrolling in pairs along the path. Goblin Elite Warrior, Enhanced Elite Monster. Level, 15. Strength, 900. Agility, 800. Spirit, 400. Constitution, 900. Their attributes were far inferior to the boss, with none exceeding 1,000. Lin Moya didn't even consider them a threat. With a wave of his hand, Lin Moya's skeleton army charged into the mining pit. Faced with the flood of skeleton warriors, these enhanced elite monsters were powerless. They fell one after another. Killed level 15 Goblin Elite Warrior, experience plus 4,500. Obtained Beast Bone X6. Notifications kept popping up. Lin Moya ordered free combat, quickly clearing the monsters in the pit. Though the enhanced elite monsters were strong, they provided abundant experience and materials. They were high-quality targets, much more cost-effective than ordinary monsters outside. In the future, soloing hell-level dungeons should yield even more experience, Lin Moya thought. If anyone knew Lin Moya's thoughts, they'd probably want to spit in his face. Throughout human history, no one had ever soloed a hell-level dungeon. Some exceptional individuals who soloed nightmare dungeons were already recorded in history books. Soloing a hell-level dungeon was simply a joke. Some had tried, but they all died, never to return. Lin Moya descended the path, all monsters along the way already cleared. By the time he reached the pit's bottom, his experience was at 99%. He was just one step away from leveling up. Now, only the final boss remained in the dungeon. Defeating it should get me to level 12, right? In just over an hour in the dungeon, he had gained more than one level. The efficiency far exceeded his expectations. At this rate, with a few runs of nightmare difficulty, reaching level 16, or even 18 or 19, wouldn't be difficult. With sufficient level, entering Summer Capital University would be a certainty. Sister, we'll meet soon, Lin Moya thought of Lin Mohan, a rare smile appearing on his face. The mine dungeon's final boss sat in the center, its huge mouth constantly inhaling and exhaling. Its breathing sounded like thunder, echoing through the vast cave. Each breath stirred up a gale. Lin Moya could barely stand steady in the wind. The boss seemed oblivious to the outside world. Its state was similar to meditation, but it was merely asleep. Lin Moya cast Detection. Goblin King, boss level monster. Level, 16. Strength, 3,000. Agility, 1,500. Spirit, 1,500. Constitution, 3,000. Skills, Flame Breath, Sweep, Knockback. Its attributes weren't much higher than the Mine Wolf King's, just slightly stronger in strength and constitution. Lin Moya even thought his skeleton warriors could fight it one-on-one. The detection spell woke it. It slowly opened its eyes and looked at Lin Moya. With a roar, it leaped up. Wielding a giant sword, it brought it down towards Lin Moya's head. The sword fell with terrifying pressure, but Lin Moya didn't dodge. His gaze was incredibly calm, even carrying a hint of mockery. The seemingly terrifying blow stopped abruptly 10 centimeters from Lin Moya. It was as if an invisible force prevented the sword from advancing further. Damage transfer. All attacks on Lin Moya would be borne by his summons. Suddenly, Lin Moya frowned. He sensed that all his skeleton warriors were injured. The soul fires of all skeleton warriors flickered violently, their glow dimming. Fine cracks appeared on their bones simultaneously. How is this possible? Lin Moya was startled, confused. He rarely showed surprise. Even when the giant sword came at his face, he remained exceptionally calm, not even blinking. Last night, when he killed 3 people for the first time, he was equally calm. In his eyes, killing people was no different from killing monsters. It wasn't that he was cold-blooded. His sister Lin Mohan had told him to always remain calm, no matter what happened. In dangerous situations, only calmness could save one's life. He quickly retreated, while the skeleton warriors rushed to the Goblin King, protecting Lin Moya. Berserk Strike. The skeleton warriors used their skills, powerful attacks landing on the Goblin King, causing massive damage. The Goblin King was instantly covered in wounds. Naturally, the Goblin King shifted its target to the skeleton warriors, attacking them. Lin Moya retreated to the side, pondering what had just happened. The damage transfer effect was supposed to transfer damage he received to his summons. All summons would share the damage equally. He suddenly understood. The reason all skeleton warriors were injured simultaneously and suffered significant damage from that blow was mainly due to his own weak attributes. With only 120 constitution, his defense was feeble. Facing the Goblin King with 3000 strength, how much damage would he have taken? The transferred damage was based on his own attributes, ignoring the skeleton warrior's defense. All this damage was transferred to the skeleton warriors, causing them all to be injured. If that blow had landed directly on a skeleton warrior, the damage would likely have been much less. So I'm the only weakness, Lin Moya realized. It seems I need to stack constitution in the future. The stronger my defense, the stronger my summoned army will be. Chapter 27. Chapter 27, 27. Chapter 27, One's Own Greatest Weakness. Lin Moya fully understood now. In his skeleton army centered around him, he himself was the biggest weakness. If a powerful enemy ignored the skeleton warriors and constantly attacked him instead, he would be in danger. Damage transfer wasn't omnipotent after all. Now that he knew his weakness, Lin Moya naturally thought of ways to compensate for it. The Goblin King was covered in wounds, blood raining down like droplets. It stood 6 to 7 meters tall, with skeleton warriors clinging to its shoulders, back, chest, and even head. The Goblin King's body suddenly glowed brilliantly. It leaped up and then crashed heavily to the ground. With a thunderous sound, all the skeleton warriors on its body were sent flying. Even the skeleton warriors on the ground were pushed back. Skill, not back. Then the Goblin King's eyes glowed, and it opened its huge mouth to spew flames. The flames scorched the skeleton warriors. Lin Moya sensed 4 of his skeleton warriors rapidly losing life force, on the verge of death. With a thought, he immediately recalled these 4 skeleton warriors to his summoning space. The Goblin King continued breathing fire, preventing the skeleton warriors from approaching. I must interrupt his skill, Lin Moya thought. A flame appeared in Lin Moya's palm. Soul Fire. The flame silently landed on the Goblin King's head. The Goblin King let out an earth-shattering scream, its flame breath immediately interrupted. Soul Fire ignored defense, directly causing spirit damage. Its attack power was determined by skill level and spirit power. Although Lin Moya's spirit power was only 400 points and his skill level was only 11, after a 20-fold amplification, Soul Fire's attack power was formidable. The skeleton warriors quickly surrounded it again, attacking relentlessly. Lin Moya continued using Soul Fire on the Goblin King, preventing it from using skills normally. A minute later, the Goblin King fell to the ground, unwilling to accept defeat. Killed Goblin King, experience plus 40,000. Obtained bronze rank weapon, Goblin King's dagger. Obtained bronze rank armor, robe of knowledge. Obtained Goblin King's crystal core. As the notifications appeared, Lin Moya was enveloped in the light of leveling up. He had finally reached level 12. Solo clearing a nightmare level dungeon in just over an hour had given him more than 1 level. The efficiency was very high. Lin Moya examined his loot. Goblin King's dagger, bronze rank, strength plus 10, agility plus 10, assassin skill power increased by 3%, usable after level 12. Robe of knowledge, bronze rank armor, spirit plus 10, constitution plus 10, reduces mage skill cooldown by 5%, usable after level 12. The dagger was useless to Lin Moya, so he put it away to sell later. My career is necromancer, which should belong to the mage class. But my skills are different from other mages' skills, with no cooldown, so this seems useless. The plus 10 to spirit and constitution is still okay. After all, it was only level 12 equipment, so expectations couldn't be too high. Lin Moya immediately put on the robe of knowledge, increasing his spirit and constitution by 10 points each. Besides the equipment, there was also the Goblin King's crystal core. The Goblin King's crystal core was larger and more beautiful than low-level monster cores. It was bright red like a ruby, and holding it in his palm, he could feel waves of warmth emanating from it. Clearly, this core was extraordinary. The core could be exchanged for 100,000 gold coins at the exchange. Lin Moya felt a bit of pleasant surprise. The core was more valuable than both pieces of equipment. After leveling up, his spirit power was fully restored. Lin Moya immediately summoned 4 more skeleton warriors. The summoned skeleton warrior skill had increased to level 12, requiring 110 spirit power to summon. Although he now had 510 spirit power, he could still only summon 4 at a time. The level 12 bronze skeleton warriors all had attributes as high as 3,800 points, and their number reached 60. They could freely roam this dungeon. In a good mood, Lin Moya walked towards the dungeon exit. Lin Moya suddenly appeared at the dungeon entrance. His appearance immediately drew everyone's attention. The key point of interest was the skeleton warrior he brought with him. The skeleton warrior was too unique. Its cold, evil aura and terrifying appearance made timid people instinctively look away. He's out. I didn't expect him to come out alive. Could he really have soloed the dungeon? Those who can solo dungeons are rare. This kid looks too young. Wait, look at the robe he's wearing. Doesn't it look like the robe of knowledge? It really is the robe of knowledge. Unbelievable, a big shot who can solo dungeons is right before our eyes. Lin Moya didn't care about others' discussions. The dungeon had entered cooldown time, requiring 12 hours before it could be entered again. After one dungeon run, he was no longer interested in grinding wild monsters. The experience was too little. Killing a dozen monsters outside wasn't even equivalent to killing one inside the dungeon, and having to search for monsters everywhere was too troublesome. The 12-hour cooldown time was perfect for meditating to recover spirit power and summarizing what he had gained from this dungeon run. Lin Moya quietly walked to the side, found an empty spot, and sat down. A skeleton warrior faithfully stood beside him, guarding him. This dungeon run had extraordinary significance for him. Most importantly, it made him understand his own weakness. It also clarified the uses of his skills. Corpse Explosion, if used well, was an unparalleled area attack skill. Soulfire could interrupt enemy skills, and its defense-ignoring spirit attack was very powerful, even difficult for a nightmare-level boss to withstand. Lin Moya summarized his experiences, reviewing his gains and losses. Chapter 28. Chapter 28. Chapter 28, Dynasty Guild, Goblin King Ring. Lin Moya sat meditating, with a skeleton warrior guarding him. Over 100 people were at the dungeon entrance, but none dared approach Lin Moya, mainly because Lin Moya's skeleton warrior was too frightening. One glance was enough to make people feel terrified. This was good, as no one would disturb him. Lin Moya was waiting for the cooldown time to pass, so he could enter the dungeon again in 12 hours. His spirit power gradually recovered during meditation. By the next dungeon entry, he could summon 4 more skeleton warriors. As night fell, Lin Moya ended his meditation, his spirit power almost fully recovered. Bonfires appeared at the dungeon entrance, with many people roasting meat around them. The aroma of meat filled the air, becoming more intense with added seasonings. These people, experienced in the wilderness, were well prepared. Unlike Lin Moya, who only brought sweet potatoes when he left home. His stomach protested, and Lin Moya reached for his sweet potatoes. Realizing they were gone, he remembered giving them all to Ningyi. Thinking of Ningyi's mischievous and cute demeanor, Lin Moya's lips curled into a slight smile. He took out buns instead and started eating them one by one. "Brother, want to come over and eat with us?" Someone called out to Lin Moya. They were roasting some unknown meat that smelled delicious. It was a young man in his early 20s. Judging by his attire, he seemed to be a support class. Lin Moya shook his head slightly, politely declining the offer. The young man didn't insist and continued eating his roasted meat. "Wang Yi, why did you call him over?" "Yeah, he's just a weirdo. He hasn't spoken since he arrived here. And that undead summon beside him is a bit scary." The young man named Wang Yi had a different view. "I think he's normal, just doesn't like talking. Besides, look at him. Although he doesn't talk, he's never bothered anyone either. I think he's actually not as difficult to get along with as you think." Wang Yi cut a large piece of roasted meat onto a plate and walked to Lin Moya. "Brother, have some meat. You can't just eat buns." Lin Moya looked at him but didn't speak. Wang Yi put on a friendly smile, placed the plate in front of Lin Moya, and left. Under detection, the roasted meat showed no problems. Lin Moya slowly picked up the meat and took a bite. The roasted meat tasted good, very fragrant. Nearby, Wang Yi raised a piece of meat towards Lin Moya, his face bearing a sunny smile. At that moment, Lin Moya felt his smile somewhat resembled Gao Yang's. After filling his stomach, Lin Moya entered meditation again. With the skeleton warrior beside him, he didn't need to worry about safety. The 12-hour dungeon cooldown finally passed, and Lin Moya's spirit power was fully restored. "This time, I should be able to reach level 13, he thought. He stood up and saw the dungeon entrance crowded with people. 2 groups seemed to be in confrontation. One group stood at the dungeon entrance, completely blocking it and preventing others from approaching. They wore uniform clothing and held fine weapons, looking like an army. The other group consisted of those who were originally outside the dungeon. Although greater in number, they looked disorganized and lacked the imposing presence of their opponents. "Your dynasty guild is too overbearing. Why won't you let us enter the dungeon?" "Yeah, why? The dungeon doesn't belong to you. Our entering the dungeon won't affect you." Many people raised protests. A mage with a staff stepped out from the dynasty guild. "Our vice guild leader is completing a task in the dungeon. Until he finishes, none of you can enter." "On what grounds?" "The dynasty guild is too domineering." The career professionals protested but didn't dare to take action, mainly because the dynasty guild was too strong, and they didn't dare provoke them. Wang Yi was among the protesters, his sunny smile gone, replaced by anger. Lin Moya walked over to Wang Yi's side. "What's wrong?" Wang Yi was surprised to hear Lin Moya speak. Amidst his surprise, Wang Yi whispered, "The dynasty guild's vice leader is doing a task in the dungeon and won't let us in." Lin Moya's eyes showed confusion. What task required sealing off the dungeon? Wang Yi noticed Lin Moya's puzzlement and explained, "It's like this, they need the Goblin King's crystal core. This core has a low drop rate, only available in nightmare difficulty, and drops only once every 100 days. You must have seen this task at the exchange, right? It was actually posted by the Dynasty Guild. But no one has completed it yet. It's laughable, really. The Goblin King's crystal core is no ordinary core, worth at least 300,000 gold coins. They want to buy it for just 100,000. Who would sell to them? Today marks exactly 100 days since the last drop, so the Dynasty Guild is taking action themselves. What a coincidence. The Goblin King's crystal core in Lin Moya's storage space gleamed like a ruby. The Dynasty Guild would surely return empty-handed this time. Originally, Lin Moya had planned to sell the Goblin King's crystal core for 100,000 gold coins when he returned in a few days. Now, hearing Wang Yi's explanation, it was clear the Goblin King's crystal core was no ordinary item. "What's it for?" Lin Moya asked softly. The Goblin King's crystal core can be processed by alchemists into the Goblin King ring. The Goblin King ring adds 10 to all attributes, increases all skills by 1 level, can be used at level 15, and is called the strongest accessory below level 40. Such powerful attributes were indeed impressive, especially the all-skill increase by 1 level, which was godlike for novice career professionals. Wongi continued, it said the Dynasty Guild's vice leader wants to apply for Summer Capital University, so he's determined to get this equipment. The Dynasty Guild doesn't lack alchemists, and they've prepared all other materials. Now they just need the Goblin King's crystal core. Understanding the situation, Lin Moya smiled slightly and walked towards the dungeon entrance. He didn't care about the Dynasty Guild interfering with his leveling was unacceptable. Chapter 29. Chapter 29. Chapter 29 Move or Die. Hey, where are you going? Come back, you can't mess with the Dynasty Guild. Come back, you'll die. Wongi was very nervous and tried to pull Lin Moyo back. Lin Moyo ignored them and stubbornly walked forward. The protesters suddenly stopped, all looking at Lin Moyo. Lin Moyo approached the dungeon with a skeleton warrior, its bones creaking as it walked. What are you doing? The leading mage from the Dynasty Guild stared coldly at Lin Moyo. Behind him, over a dozen Dynasty Guild members turned to look at Lin Moyo. These people were all above level 20, each with an impressive aura. Knights, warriors, mages, archers, and support classes were all present. They formed a complete combat team. Moreover, their equipment was excellent, from weapons to armor to accessories, all bronze grade. This was why, despite the many protesters, no one dared to actually take action. They were inferior in levels, team composition, equipment, and skills. With less power, they could only protest verbally. Lin Moya stopped in front of the mage and said calmly, move aside. The Dynasty Guild mage laughed as if hearing the funniest joke. Young man, are you drunk? Go home. Lin Moya continued, don't block me from entering the dungeon, or I'll kill you. Lin Moya was serious. He wasn't joking at all. He needed to enter the dungeon to level up, which was crucial for his entry into Summer Capital University. If anyone dared to obstruct him, he would really kill them. The mage cast detection on Lin Moyo. Then he sneered, Lin Moyo, just a level 12 kid daring to talk nonsense here. Didn't your parents teach you how to speak properly? Death Necromancer, never seen this career before. Is it new? An undead summon, quite interesting. Since we're both mages, I'll let you off this time. Now scram. The opponent's level exceeded Lin Moya's by more than 10, so the blocking badge didn't work. His words revealed Lin Moya's level to everyone present. Only level 12. Able to solo the dungeon at level 12. No, he might not even have been level 12 before. Some realized that Lin Moya's career might be extremely powerful. Lin Moya also used detection in return. The mage wasn't wearing a blocking badge, so Lin Moya saw his information. Zhao Ji, level 25, mage. Unlike Xia Shui's elemental mage, he was just an ordinary mage, a mid-tier career. Although he was level 25, Lin Moya didn't take him seriously. Zhao Ji sneered, and the Dynasty Guild members behind him also showed mocking expressions. Little level 12 kid, you're not even fully grown. Go home and drink milk. This is no place for you. Be careful not to lose your little life. Just stick to killing wild monsters. The dungeon isn't for you yet. Behind Lin Moyo, the former protesters now said to him, young man, come back quickly. The Dynasty Guild is unreasonable, they'll really kill you. Wongi shouted, brother, come back. We'll enter the dungeon after they leave. Lin Moyo ignored all the voices, his tone growing colder. Last warning, move aside, or die. Zhao Ji felt a chill from Lin Moya's words, involuntarily shuddering. Lin Moya's gaze made his heart cold. What kind of look was this? It was as if in Lin Moya's eyes, he wasn't even human, but a monster. But in the next second, he reacted, you brat, you're asking for death. If you dare take another step forward, I'll kill you. Lin Moya looked at Zhao Ji, his lips twitching slightly. Kill. He casually uttered one word. The skeleton warrior charged out like lightning, appearing before the mage in an instant, raising its blade to strike. Zhao Ji looked amused, a pale blue energy shield appearing around him. A little level 12 kid, even if I stand still and let you hit me, you can't break my energy shield. The skeleton warrior's blade fell on the energy shield, causing it to deform violently, almost to the point of shattering. At this, Zhao Ji's expression changed instantly. What kind of summon was this, with such powerful attacks? His energy shield could normally withstand at least 5 attacks from a warrior of the same level. But against this skeleton warrior, it would break after the second hit at most. Skill. Lin Moya thought. The skeleton warrior's blade suddenly burst with dazzling red light. Berserk strike. Zhao Ji was terrified. Who could have imagined this summon could also use skills? He sensed the threat of death. This skill would not only break his energy shield but also kill him. Fire repulsion ring. Zhao Ji instantly cast the skill, a ring of fire exploding outward, pushing the skeleton warrior back several meters. The skeleton warrior's skill was interrupted. What are you all looking at? Attack! Zhao Ji felt like he had just escaped death, his face pale as he shouted. A knight responded, using his charge skill, raising his shield and instantly rushing forward to crash into the skeleton warrior. Boom! With a scream, the knight was sent flying. The skeleton warrior didn't move an inch. In terms of strength, the skeleton warrior was far superior. Unless faced with skills like fire repulsion ring that had forced knockback effects, it came down to who was stronger. The skeleton warrior charged again, loyally executing Lin Moya's order to kill Zhao Ji. Zhao Ji quickly retreated, reinforcing his protective shield while shouting, kill the summoner. The best way to deal with a summoner was not to kill the summons, but to kill the summoner himself. Once the summoner died, the summons would naturally disappear. Bang! 2 archers fired simultaneously. The arrow split into 3 in midair, turning into streaks of light shooting towards Lin Moyo. Watch out! Dodge quickly! People behind shouted loudly, but Lin Moyo didn't dodge or avoid, not even changing his expression. Chapter 30. Chapter 30, 30. Chapter 30, how can there be so many? A black vortex appeared in front of Lin Moyo, and 2 skeleton warriors emerged simultaneously, blocking the incoming arrows on his left and right. The arrows hit the skeleton warriors with metallic sounds, causing no damage. Then the 2 skeleton warriors charged directly at the 2 archers. He has more than one summon. Zhao Ji's face darkened considerably. He hadn't expected Lin Moyo to have multiple summons. However, some summoners having multiple summons was normal. Their guild had a summoner with 4 summons. Block it! Zhao Ji shouted. Knights and warriors immediately moved to shield him from the skeleton warriors. No longer in immediate danger, Zhao Ji raised his staff towards Lin Moyo, quickly chanting a spell. Killing the summoner was better than killing the summons. Fire snake dance. 2 seconds later, a fire snake flew from his staff, lunging at Lin Moyo. This is bad, that's a skill only level 20 mages can learn, and it's very rare. It's said to be the strongest attack skill before a mage's second job advancement. Lin Moyo is in trouble now. I heard less than a third of mages can master this skill. People behind worried for Lin Moyo. Lin Moyo remained motionless, another vortex appearing before him. This time, 20 skeleton warriors emerged simultaneously. 20 soul fires danced in the night. The fire snake dance hit them, exploding with a boom, creating a brilliant blaze. From the flames, 20 skeleton warriors charged out towards the Dynasty Guild members. Zhao Ji's face turned extremely ugly. How can there be so many? 3 skeleton warriors had been surprising enough, but now 20 appeared at once. This number exceeded their own. Form up, get in formation, prepare for battle. Zhao Ji, experienced, didn't panic. The Dynasty Guild, battle-hardened and experienced, quickly assembled. Knights at the front, warriors, archers, and mages in the center for damage output, and support at the rear. In Zhao Ji's eyes, although these summons were strong, his team was more complete. Killing the skeleton warriors would just take some time. The team of over a dozen people huddled together. Support quickly applied buffs to everyone. Strength enhancement, agility enhancement, spirit enhancement, speed boost, energy shield, berserker soul. Every possible buff was applied. In just 30 seconds, all buffs were complete. This demonstrated their excellent teamwork. Confidence returned to Zhao Ji's face. Although they were now surrounded by skeleton warriors, they had faced such situations before. He firmly believed they would have the last laugh. At this moment, Lin Moyo raised his hand and said to Wang Yi and others behind him, "You all, step back." At this point, no one dared disobey him. Who could have imagined that he alone could confront over a dozen Dynasty Guild members? Everyone immediately retreated, quickly distancing themselves by tens of meters. Zhao Ji noticed this, feeling puzzled, but didn't think much of it. Suddenly, he saw a flash of flame, followed by an archer's scream. The archer's life force plummeted, instantly nearing death. Immediately, a healing spell fell on the archer, quickly pulling him back from the brink of death. Lin Moyo had used soul fire but failed to instantly kill the archer. The opponent's healer reacted quickly, immediately healing the archer. Zhao Ji broke out in a cold sweat, remembering Lin Moyo's career. Lin Moyo wasn't just a summoner, but a necromancer. Besides being a summoner, he was also a mage. Healers be alert, heal quickly, the opponent has magical attack abilities, Zhao Ji commanded loudly, making everyone in the team more tense. Who could have imagined that over a dozen of them would be surrounded by one person? Focus attacks on one target. Lin Moyo looked at the outermost knight blocking the skeleton warriors. This knight was in a dire situation, having to withstand attacks from over 10 skeleton warriors simultaneously. The pressure was greater than facing a nightmare difficulty dungeon boss. Although healing spells constantly fell on him, he still felt immense pain, feeling he could die at any moment. Following Lin Moyo's order, more blades fell on him. Then a flame appeared above his head. Out of survival instinct, the knight immediately activated ultimate defense. His body flickered with light, and the pressure instantly lessened. However, soul fire ignored his defense, directly attacking his soul. Even with ultimate defense, he still screamed in agony. Fortunately, the healer reacted quickly, casting healing spells on him repeatedly. Under the continuous attacks of the skeleton warriors, the light of ultimate defense was rapidly fading. The ultimate defense, which should have lasted over 40 seconds, only held for 20 seconds. The moment ultimate defense disappeared, Lin Moyo issued a new command. Use skills. Simultaneously, he used soul fire again. Soul fire took effect, causing the knight to scream incessantly. Over a dozen berserk strikes fell on the knight simultaneously. Even the healer couldn't heal in time, and the knight was instantly killed. A gap opened in the formation. Zhao Ji's face changed drastically. Retreat. Lin Moyo shook his head. It was too late. A skeleton warrior threw the knight's corpse into the air. Corpse explosion. A huge boom resounded. The knight's corpse was detonated. Exploding in mid-air maximized the power. Within a 20-meter radius centered on the knight, all enemies suffered 200% of the knight's life value as damage. Among all careers, knights had one of the highest life values. Damage based on his life value, doubled, was immensely powerful. Zhao Ji only heard a boom, then nothing more. Total annihilation. Corpse explosion, like heavenly thunder, destroyed everything. Only over a dozen mangled corpses remained on the ground. Not a single Dynasty Guild member survived. A large number of items scattered on the ground. Lin Moyo collected everything without even looking. Chapter 31. Chapter 31, 31. Chapter 31, Destroying Evidence. This place might be dangerous. Boom, boom, boom. Corpses were thrown into the air one after another. Explosions sounded non-stop. Lin Moyo detonated all the corpses. He truly destroyed all evidence. After finishing this, Lin Moyo entered the dungeon. The previously protesting group of individuals finally dared to approach. When the corpses exploded, the terrifying energy felt like knives scraping their bodies. Goodness, they're all dead. Really, not a single one left. Not just no one left, not even corpses remain. True destruction of evidence. He's ruthless but doesn't talk much. This time, he's made an enemy of the Dynasty Guild. The Dynasty Guild won't let this go easily. What should we do? Wangi suddenly stepped forward and said, everyone, knowing the Dynasty Guild's character, they definitely won't let this go. If they catch us, whether we talk or not, our fate is sealed. I have a suggestion, why don't we all leave now? Leave West Sea City, leave Jiangning Province, get away from the Dynasty Guild's sphere of influence. There are many places to level up, and the Dynasty Guild isn't omniscient, they might not find us. His suggestion was immediately accepted by everyone. As he said, the Dynasty Guild wasn't known for mercy. If caught, whether they talked or not, the outcome would be the same. Wangi cupped his hands, I'll take my leave first. May we meet again if fate allows. May we meet again. Stirred by his words, everyone retreated, and in the blink of an eye, the dungeon entrance was empty. The fires went out, leaving only a slowly rotating black vortex at the West Sea Mine dungeon entrance, emitting a faint whooshing sound. Moonlight once again ruled the area. Half an hour later, several people teleported out of the dungeon. Wang Zihao's face showed slight disappointment. This dungeon run still didn't yield the Goblin King's crystal core. The next dungeon entry would be in 12 hours. But he still had a chance. With a few days left before the big exam, he could enter the dungeon at least 4 more times. Where is everyone? Where did Zhao Ji and the others go? And where did all those individuals go? Something seems off. Zhao Ji disappeared, all the individuals are gone, what exactly happened? Those who accompanied Wang Zihao into the dungeon looked panicked. They were only level 17, far less experienced than Zhao Ji and his group. Now they could only rely on Wang Zihao, after all, he was the Dynasty Guild's vice leader. But Wang Zihao was also confused, his face full of question marks. After considering for a while, he said, fire a signal flare. If Zhao Ji is nearby, he'll surely respond. A signal flare rose into the sky, exploding to form a huge ball of light. It could be clearly seen within a 10-mile radius. Until the signal flare completely faded, there was no response, indicating Zhao Ji and his group were likely not here. Wang Zihao realized that during his time in the dungeon, something must have happened to Zhao Ji and the others. Otherwise, they wouldn't have left. Could Zhao Ji have been killed? With Zhao Ji's group's strength, they were dominant in this area. He didn't want to think in that direction. Even if they were killed, there should be traces left. But there was nothing here. Not only is Zhao Ji gone, but everyone else has left too. Something must have happened here, there might be danger. Let's leave first and see if we can contact Zhao Ji when we get back. The atmosphere here was too eerie, so Wang Zihao decided to leave first. Lin Moyo was alone in the dungeon, with 64 skeleton warriors charging through. His strategy was the same as before, and his experience rose rapidly. This time, the efficiency was even higher than before. In just an hour, Lin Moyo had reached the end of the dungeon. 64 skeleton warriors surrounded the Goblin King, unleashing a barrage of attacks. The sound of striking metal filled the air. Lin Moyo had learned from his previous experience. Whenever the Goblin King was about to use a skill, he interrupted with Soul Fire. Soul Fire was almost instantaneous, faster than the Goblin King's skills. In just 30 seconds, the mighty nightmare difficulty dungeon boss fell, dying in frustration. Killed Goblin King, experience plus 40,000. Obtained bronze grade weapon, Goblin King's spellbook. Obtained low-level monster crystal core. As expected, this time the Goblin King's crystal core didn't drop, replaced by a low-level monster crystal core. The Goblin King's crystal core only dropped once every 100 days, highlighting its rarity. Lin Moyo thought that when he got to Summer Capital University, he might find an alchemist to turn the Goblin King's crystal core into the Goblin King's ring. Such a boss accessory would be very useful for any career at any level. Lin Moyo checked the attributes of the Goblin King's spellbook. Goblin King's spellbook, bronze grade, spirit plus 10, constitution plus 10, mage type skill power increased by 3%, usable after level 12. Looking at the attributes, though not ideal, it was usable. Carrying a book seemed interesting too. The 3% increase in mage type skill power was somewhat useful for soul fire and corpse explosion, but ineffective for skeleton warriors. Skeleton warriors didn't seem to be classified as mage type skills. The leveling up light hadn't completely faded. Lin Moyo reached level 13 at the same time he killed the Goblin King. The experience requirements are starting to increase. Next dungeon run probably won't get me to level 14. To reach level 15, I'll need 3 more runs. Calculating the time, I can run the dungeon at most 5 more times, reaching level 16 at best. It's a bit less than expected, but level 16 should be enough to apply for Summer Capital University. Lin Moyo exited the dungeon. Outside the dungeon was eerily quiet. Everyone's gone. Lin Moyo thought for a moment and basically understood what had happened. Leaving was perhaps the best choice for those individuals. Looking around, he didn't linger either. He quickly melted into the darkness, disappearing from sight. Chapter 32. Chapter 32, 32. Chapter 32. Has your brain been eaten by a mad dog? The warm sun rose, bringing a new day to the world. Finally, teams began arriving at the dungeon entrance again. Why is there no one here today? It used to be so lively. Strange, where did everyone go? This team was puzzled but didn't think too much about it. They chose normal difficulty and entered the dungeon. Gradually, more people arrived, and the dungeon entrance became lively again. When the dungeon cooldown ended, Lin Moya returned and entered the dungeon. What a strange person. He's so cold, doesn't say a word. His summon looks cool, a bit scary, but really impressive. What's the use of being cool if he doesn't even talk to us? I saw him go in alone, seems he's going to solo. It's Lin Moya. Xiaoxue spotted Lin Moya entering the dungeon alone from afar. Lin Moya's skeleton warrior was too conspicuous. She knew only Lin Moya in the whole world had such a summon. Necromancer was a unique career, there wouldn't be a second one. Xiaoxue's gaze was complex, he's going to solo. She bit her lip. She had just reached level 10 today and came straight to the dungeon. Despite being only level 10, with her rare elemental mage career, she easily found a team. The West Sea Mine dungeon, being only level 14, wasn't particularly difficult, especially on normal difficulty. However, soloing was still not easy. She hadn't expected Lin Moya to be able to solo already, once again surpassing her. Xiaoxue's eyes flashed with defiance. I won't lose to you, just wait and see. Soon, she also found a team and entered the dungeon. Lin Moya steamrolled through the nightmare difficulty dungeon. After yesterday's level up, he had 68 skeleton warriors. After 12 hours of meditation, his spirit power was fully restored. Upon entering the dungeon, he summoned 4 more skeleton warriors. Now, with a total of 72 skeleton warriors forming a massive army, his efficiency was even higher. Wherever the skeleton warriors went, nothing was left alive. Combined with Lin Moya's familiarity with the dungeon, his progress was even faster. Just 45 minutes later, Lin Moya met his old friend. Stop sleeping, wake up. The Goblin King awoke to the skeleton warrior's blades. By the time it stood up, it had already lost most of its life. As fire emerged from its mouth, soul fire descended, interrupting its skill. In just 30 seconds, the Goblin King fell again, frustrated. Killed Goblin King, experience plus 40,000. Obtained bronze grade weapon, Goblin King's longbow. Obtained low-level monster crystal core. Goblin King's longbow, bronze grade, strength plus 10, agility plus 10, bow type skill power increased by 3%, usable after level 12. The drops were the same as before. Lin Moya just glanced at them before storing them away. The Goblin King's eyes showed unwillingness and frustration. That look seemed as if it recognized Lin Moya. Don't be so gloomy, I'll stop coming after a few more times. You're destined to be killed by someone anyway, does it matter who? Besides, dying to me is quicker, less suffering. I don't really want to kill you, but I have no choice, I need to level up too. Lin Moya spoke softly to the Goblin King, not caring if it understood. As he had predicted, he didn't level up this time. He was still 20% short of level 14. He would level up on the next run. Lin Moya left the dungeon and quickly moved away, not lingering. In the afternoon, a group from the Dynasty Guild arrived at the dungeon. The vice leader Wang Zihao wasn't there, nor were the people who had entered the dungeon with him yesterday. The Dynasty Guild wasn't here to enter the dungeon this time, but to investigate yesterday's events. There was no news of Zhao Ji, nor of the dozen people with him. The individuals present at the time had also disappeared without a trace, as if they had vanished into thin air. This time, the Dynasty Guild members were restrained and didn't do anything excessive. Even when questioning people, they were polite. After a series of inquiries, all they got were answers of ignorance. Because everyone present had just arrived today and knew nothing about yesterday's events, they investigated for half a day without getting any results. Finally, they had to leave. Somehow, news of the Dynasty Guild blocking the dungeon spread, causing strong protests from many people. The Career Professionals Association issued a warning to the Dynasty Guild today. If they did this again, the consequences would be severe. Dungeons were a resource for all of humanity, not something a single guild could arbitrarily block. Not even for an hour, let alone a day or two. At the Dynasty Guild headquarters, Guild leader Wang Wei berated Wang Zihao harshly. Has your brain been eaten by a mad dog? How did you come up with the idea of blocking the dungeon? Do you think our Dynasty Guild can cover the sky with one hand? Do you think the Divine Summer Empire and the Career Professionals Association are just for show? If you want to die, go die alone, don't drag the Dynasty Guild down with you. Don't go anywhere these days, just stay in the guild. Your level is enough anyway, just wait for the big exam. Wang Wei scolded Wang Zihao. Wang Zihao lowered his head silently, finally asking after a while, what about Zhao Ji and the others? People have been sent to investigate, don't worry about it. Whatever could make so many people disappear at once is beyond your ability to handle. Wang Wei waved his hand, dismissing him. Wang Zihao was already level 16, more than enough to apply for Summer Capital University. Even if he couldn't level up for these few days of confinement, it wouldn't make much difference. Chapter 33. Chapter 33, 33. Chapter 33, Kiting Monsters, Mass Killing, Instant Boss Kill. At night, Lin Moya entered the dungeon for the 4th time. This time, he had 76 skeleton warriors. After clearing the dungeon 3 times, he knew it like the back of his hand. Upon entering, a new idea occurred to him. I can try this. If it works, I can use it in other dungeons too. Thinking and acting, all skeleton warriors rushed into the mine tunnels like a tide. The skeleton warriors attracted many monsters in the tunnels but didn't engage them, instead running nonstop towards the dungeon's depths. This created a peculiar scene in the dungeon. A mass of skeleton warriors ran in front, followed by a sea of goblin monsters. Behind the goblin monsters was Lin Moyo. Lin Moyo also ran, following the group, with a smile on his face. After the skeleton warriors reached bronze rank, their maximum distance from him increased to 1,000 meters. He only needed to stay within this 1,000-meter range. Bringing nearly 100 monsters from the tunnels, they ran all the way to the Mine Wolf King's location. The skeleton warriors' arrival also woke the Mine Wolf King. The Mine Wolf King began attacking the skeleton warriors, but they ignored it. After all the monsters behind caught up, under Lin Moya's command, the skeleton warriors' movement area became smaller and smaller. The monsters' area also shrank, gathering them together. By now, Lin Moyo had appeared at the tunnel entrance. The skeleton warriors suddenly attacked, instantly killing one of the goblin mine guards. Then the corpse was thrown high into the air. Corpse explosion. Lin Moyo, who had been waiting for this moment, activated the skill, detonating the corpse. A huge boom resounded. The entire mine cave shook, countless rocks falling from the walls. Goblin mine guards fell in swaths. Where Lin Moya stood, various notifications began flooding the screen. The notifications came too fast to read, and Lin Moyo had no time to look. Many new corpses were produced, and he continuously used corpse explosion, 10 times in succession. 10 massive explosions, literally shaving off a layer of the dungeon ground. This time, the Mine Wolf King didn't escape back to the tunnel, dying directly in the corpse explosions. At this point, the iron doors in the tunnel opened, and many Mine Fierce Wolves ran out. Lin Moya realized that these doors would open automatically, without needing the Mine Wolf King to run back and call them. Continue, drag them all into the mining pit. At Lin Moya's command, the skeleton warriors ran towards the mining pit again. What was in the mining pit? Besides some goblin monsters, only the Goblin King. The skeleton warriors dragged over 100 Mine Fierce Wolves forward unstoppably, with Lin Moya following behind. He was now glowing with the light of leveling up. That wave of mass monster explosions had already brought him to level 14, and now, it had only been 5 minutes since he entered the dungeon. This speed was too fast, almost unimaginable. The skeleton warriors ran down the mining pit's path, attracting all the monsters in the pit. By the time they reached the bottom, over 200 monsters were following. Goblin-type monsters and Mine Fierce Wolves were crowded together. The Goblin King gradually awoke, its eyes full of confusion. What was going on? I'm back again. Lin Moyo had also come down. The skeleton warriors stopped running and began to counterattack. Berserk Strike. Their blades glowed red as they used the skill. With a miserable cry, a Mine Fierce Wolf instantly died. The corpse flew up and exploded in mid-air. Corpse explosion. Boom, boom. Continuous explosions nearly collapsed the mine cave. Experience points skyrocketed. Notifications came too fast to read. Large amounts of materials and items entered his inventory. The Goblin King, just awakened and not even standing up yet, fell with a boom after more than 10 consecutive corpse explosion attacks. This time was even more miserable than before, but also quicker. Even if there was pain, it only lasted a few seconds. Looking at the Goblin King's unwilling face, Lin Moya sighed softly. I'll come 3 more times and then stop. Implying the Goblin King would die 3 more times. You're used to dying anyway, people come to kill you every day. Killed Goblin King, experience plus 40,000. Obtained bronze grade weapon, Goblin King's staff. Obtained low-level monster crystal core. Goblin King's staff bronze grade, spirit plus 10, constitution plus 10, mage type skill power increased by 3%, usable after level 12. Checking his experience, he was at 60% of level 14. Next time he entered, he would reach level 15. After reaching level 15, the experience requirements would increase again, at least 2 to 3 times more. Calculating the time, I can enter at most 3 more times. Barring any surprises, I should reach level 16. But it depends on the experience requirements after level 15. Outside the dungeon had returned to its usual liveliness. There were slightly fewer people than before, and it was a different group. Lin Moyo couldn't see a single familiar face. He overheard from others' conversations that the Dynasty Guild had been here. Clearly, the Dynasty Guild hadn't obtained any useful information. This time, Lin Moya didn't leave but found a quiet place to meditate. He had added 4 more skeleton warriors, bringing the total to 76. Each skeleton warrior's 4 attributes had reached 4,600, higher than the nightmare difficulty dungeon boss Goblin King. Their only weakness was that their skills weren't powerful enough. Unlike the Goblin King with its high damage fire breath skill, while meditating, Lin Moya suddenly received information from a skeleton warrior. Someone was approaching. Chapter 34. Chapter 34, 34. Chapter 34, why can you ignore the cooldown time? What level are you now? Hearing the familiar voice, Lin Moyo opened his eyes to see Xiaxue. Xiaxue's delicate face had a smudge of dust, and elemental energy still swirled around her body. She had clearly just finished battling and come out of the dungeon. She stared at Lin Moyo, her face full of defiance. Lin Moyo replied calmly, level 14. What? Xiaxue cried out, how can you level up so fast? She had teamed up with others and run the normal difficulty West Sea Mine dungeon twice, leveling from 10 to 11. 2 consecutive dungeon runs had left her exhausted. Even if Lin Moyo could solo the dungeon, he shouldn't be able to level up this quickly. Xiaxue couldn't possibly imagine that Lin Moyo was running the nightmare difficulty. Lin Moya didn't respond further to Xia Shui, believe it or not. Knowing Lin Moya, Xia Shui understood he wouldn't lie. If he said he was level 14, then he must be level 14. The defiance in Xia Shui's eyes grew stronger. The higher the level, the slower the leveling. On the first day of the novice dungeon, she was level 5, Lin Moya was level 7. A 2-level difference. Logically, the gap should have narrowed by now. Why was she only level 11 while Lin Moya was 14, widening the gap instead? Xia Shui snorted, I won't admit defeat. She turned and left. Lin Moya watched her, not knowing what to say. For years, he had always been a step ahead of Xia Shui. Before the career transition, he was always first in all subjects, with Xia Shui eternally second. After the transition, his level rose steadily, again leaving Xia Shui behind. Lin Moya understood that Xia Shui always felt unwilling to accept this and wanted to compete with him. This was true both before and after the career transition, but he had never given her a chance. Suddenly, he saw Xia Shui enter the dungeon with a few others. Strange, didn't she just come out? How can she enter again so quickly? Why isn't there a cooldown time for the dungeon? Lin Moya witnessed something incredible. He had experienced that both normal and nightmare difficulties had cooldown times, and they were shared. After clearing nightmare difficulty, he couldn't enter normal difficulty for 12 hours either. But how could Xia Shui enter again so quickly? Lin Moya was certain Xia Shui had just come out of the dungeon. The battle aura on her body was still present, not fully dissipated, and there was still the Goblin King's aura. This couldn't be faked. While meditating, Lin Moya had his skeleton warriors observe. 2 hours later, Xia Shui reappeared at the dungeon entrance. She had completed another dungeon run. Coming out of the dungeon, Xia Shui didn't forget to glance at Lin Moya. Lin Moya saw fatigue in her expression. It was the kind of exhaustion caused by continuous fighting. Then, in just over 10 minutes, Xia Shui found another team and entered the dungeon again. Lin Moya noticed she seemed to use an item before entering the dungeon. There was a faint light flowing around her body at that time. Lin Moya guessed it was this item that allowed Xia Shui to ignore the dungeon cooldown time. If there's a chance, I can ask about it, Lin Moya thought, returning to his meditation state. His spirit power gradually recovered. As his level increased, the spirit power attribute became more prominent. Now his base spirit power had reached 700, far exceeding his other attributes. This was characteristic of mage-type careers, having extremely high spirit power. The trade-off was extremely poor other attributes. There was no balance to speak of. Each career had its own characteristics, and Lin Moya chose to accept this. Hours later, he heard slightly heavy footsteps. Xia Shui, exhausted, sat down next to Lin Moya. Even without cooldown time restrictions, she couldn't continuously run dungeons. Her body couldn't take it. I'm dead tired. Xia Shui collapsed on the ground, lacking any grace. She wasn't afraid of the skeleton warrior next to Lin Moya at all. After all, Lin Moya was her classmate. There was nothing to fear or worry about. After resting for a while and catching her breath, Xia Shui regained some energy. This young lady is already level 12. I'll catch up to you soon. At level 12, if running normal difficulty dungeons in a team, it would take at least 3 to 4 runs to level up once. Catching up to him would be very difficult. Lin Moya looked at the exhausted Xia Shui. Aren't you tired? Xia Shui snorted. Tired? Of course I'm tired. This young lady doesn't even want to move a finger right now. Why? Xia Shui looked annoyed. Why? You have the nerve to ask me why? Being suppressed by you for so many years, this young lady must surpass you. Just because of that. Lin Moya hadn't realized Xia Shui's resentment was so deep. If he had known, he might have let her take first place in an exam sometime. Xia Shui looked at the sky. Of course, not just that. I want to apply for Summer Capital University. Aren't you applying too? So you should understand. To apply for Summer Capital University, one needed to be at least level 14, preferably 15, and ideally 16. With just over 2 days left, Lin Moya thought Xia Shui could reach level 14 at most. Level 15 would be very difficult. Unless, Lin Moya said softly, you should run nightmare difficulty dungeons. You'll level up faster that way. Are you joking? Elite teams aren't easy to find. Those elite teams want level 16 or 17 career professionals. I'm only level 12, no one wants me. Xia Shui rolled her eyes at Lin Moya, as if saying, don't you understand at all? Looking at the elite teams calling for members at the dungeon entrance, they had requirements not only for level and career but also for equipment. Unless you were a healer support, the requirements might be slightly lower. For damage dealers like Xia Shui, the requirements were actually the highest. Seeing Lin Moya not speaking, Xia Shui continued, so, this young lady will just run more normal difficulty dungeons. Level 14 should be no problem, and with some effort, level 15 might be possible. Listening to her words, Lin Moya finally asked, why can you ignore the cooldown time? Chapter 35. Chapter 35, 35. Chapter 35, I'll run the dungeon for you, you don't need to fight. Xia Shui looked surprised, you actually don't know. Then she suddenly giggled, you don't know, so there are things you don't know after all. Lin Moya didn't speak, just quietly looking at Xia Shui. Is it really that funny? He wasn't an encyclopedia, there were many things he didn't know. Xia Shui seemed to have found something amusing, smiling mischievously, say something nice, and I'll tell you. Lin Moya turned his head and closed his eyes. If she didn't want to say, then fine. Asking him to say something nice was impossible. Seeing Lin Moya's reaction, Xia Shui lost interest. You're such a dummy, can't even take a joke. People say mages have the most flexible and creative thinking, but you're so rigid. I really doubt you're a real mage. I'll just tell you, it's because I used to cooldown talisman. Lin Moya searched his memory for information about cooldown talismans but found no knowledge of them. He didn't even know what talismans were. They hadn't learned about this in school. Xia Shui said, cooldown talismans can cancel out the dungeon cooldown time, allowing you to enter dungeons repeatedly. She took out a palm-sized object and held it in front of Lin Moyo. This is it. The talisman looked like a gem, its surface shimmering with alluring light, covered in mysterious runes he couldn't understand. His fingertips glowed faintly. Under detection, Lin Moyo got the talisman's information. Junior cooldown talisman. Uses remaining 7/10. Description: can cancel dungeon cooldown time, effective only for dungeons below level 20. To think such a thing existed, Lin Moyo felt he was truly ignorant. Xia Shui said, I use this talisman to enter dungeons continuously. Now you understand, right? With this, he could run dungeons repeatedly, allowing his level to rise quickly. Lin Moyo asked softly, is this expensive? Xia Shui replied, I'm not sure, my dad gave it to me to use. But it should be quite expensive. Judging by my dad's expression, he seemed a bit pained giving it to me. Xia Shui came from a wealthy family with very privileged conditions. The Xia family of West Sea was renowned throughout Jiangning province. If even they considered it expensive, it must be quite valuable. After analyzing, Lin Moyo gave up the idea of getting a talisman for himself. Xia Shui said, we have 2 days left. I want to use all 7 dungeon reset chances. Plus my own cooldown time, I can run at least 9 more dungeons. This way, I'm sure to reach level 15. God, this young lady will die of exhaustion. Xia Shui looked worried, finally showing some of the youthfulness appropriate for her age. No longer appearing as the haughty young miss. Lin Moya thought for a moment, I can take you through the dungeon, guarantee you'll reach level 15, and you won't need to fight. Xia Shui's eyes lit up. How could she forget, she had someone beside her who could solo dungeons. If she ran dungeons with Lin Moyo, she wouldn't need to do anything. And with 2 people in a team, they'd get more experience than 3. No exhaustion and more experience, this was a great opportunity. The only problem was that she wouldn't be able to catch up to his level this way. But even if she didn't run with him, could she catch up anyway? Xia Shui wasn't sure. After considering, Xia Shui made her decision. If she couldn't catch up in levels for now, so be it. The priority was ensuring she could enter Summer Capital University. After all, their career paths had just begun, the future was still far off. She'd catch up eventually. Alright, I agree. You take me through the dungeon, and I'll share the talisman with you. Lin Moya knew Xia Shui would agree. Anyone not too foolish wouldn't refuse. This way, he could also run more dungeons. Although he'd get less experience each time, with more runs, he'd actually gain more overall. It was a win-win situation. Xia Shui said, then let's not waste time, let's enter the dungeon together. Lin Moya didn't move. In 2 more hours, my cooldown time will end. With just 2 hours left, using a talisman reset chance wasn't worth it. Xia Shui wasn't stupid, she could calculate this clearly. Alright, let's wait 2 hours then. This young lady will take a nap first, wake me when it's time. She lay down and quickly fell asleep. Sleeping so unguarded in the wild was very dangerous. But Xia Shui slept peacefully because Lin Moyo was beside her. No matter how much she resented Lin Moyo, she knew his character well and could trust him completely. Xia Shui curled up, sleeping soundly with a smile on her face. Lin Moyo ordered the skeleton to guard them and continued meditating to recover his spirit power. 2 hours later, Lin Moya's dungeon cooldown ended. Wake up! Lin Moyo woke Xia Shui. Xia Shui opened her sleepy eyes, so quick. She got up stretching, revealing her slender navel. At this moment, she freely displayed her beautiful figure. Xia Shui had a tall, shapely body, standing at 1.7 meters, with curves in all the right places. She looked only slightly shorter than the 1.8 meter tall Lin Moyo. Standing side by side, they looked like a perfect match. Only the skeleton warrior beside them spoiled the scene a bit. After 2 hours of sleep, Xia Shui's energy had recovered significantly, and most of her fatigue had dissipated. They formed a team with Lin Moyo as the leader and approached the dungeon entrance together. Xia Shui used the junior cooldown talisman to remove her dungeon cooldown time. A faint light flowed over her body, and Xia Shui nodded to Lin Moyo. Alright, let's go in. Lin Moyo opened the dungeon and then selected Nightmare difficulty. Xia Shui's face changed dramatically. Did you choose wrong? Before she finished speaking, they had already disappeared into the dungeon entrance. Chapter 36. Chapter 36, 36. Chapter 36, this is what you call efficiency. The heavy, oppressive atmosphere made Xia Shui feel breathless. Seeing the terrifying monsters moving back and forth behind the large iron door, her long legs felt weak. Under detection, the attributes of the enhanced elite monsters were fully revealed. Both in attributes and appearance, they were worlds apart from the monsters in normal difficulty dungeons. Xia Shui looked at Lin Moyo in horror. This is nightmare difficulty. Did you choose wrong? Lin Moya seemed unaware. No, I didn't. Didn't choose wrong. Could this guy be thinking of clearing a nightmare dungeon with just the 2 of them? Just looking at the monster's terrifying attributes made Xia Shui's teeth chatter. Are you crazy? We'll die. Xia Shui cried out. Lin Moya didn't respond to her words, nor did he care about Xia Shui's current state of mind. Follow me when we run. What? Run where? Xia Shui couldn't react for a moment. That terrifying enhanced elite monster had already set its sights on her. Xia Shui felt the fear of death. If she wasn't afraid of being laughed at by Lin Moyu, she would have fled the dungeon right then. Numerous skeleton warriors appeared in the room. While releasing the skeleton warriors, Lin Moyu was also summoning new ones. In the blink of an eye, 80 skeleton warriors filled most of the room. Then, under Xia Shui's terrified gaze, Lin Moyu opened the dungeon door. The skeleton warriors charged into the mine tunnels like an army on the march. Lin Moyu was already well practiced at this. The enhanced elite monster behind the iron door chased after the skeleton warriors, quickly disappearing from sight. Follow me, Lin Moyu started running. Xia Shui was stunned. What was this? Could dungeons be played like this? Hurry up, are you scared? Lin Moyu's voice came from the tunnel. Xia Shui stomped her foot. This young lady isn't afraid. I won't lose to you. Feeling defiant, she quickly caught up to Lin Moyu. A massive group of monsters advanced through the dungeon. Skeleton warriors ran at the front, followed by a large number of enhanced elite monsters. Lin Moyu and Xia Shui were at the very back. Xia Shui asked while running, "What exactly are you doing?" Lin Moyu calmly replied, "Clearing the dungeon." His matter-of-fact answer left Xia Shui speechless. After running through the long mine tunnel, they saw the Mine Wolf King boss. The Nightmare difficulty Mine Wolf King was more than a full size larger than its normal difficulty counterpart. Xia Shui didn't need detection to know this creature was terrifyingly powerful. The skeleton warriors ran up to it. The Mine Wolf King continuously attacked the skeleton warriors, but they just kept running without fighting back. Why aren't they fighting back? Xia Shui was surprised at the skeleton warriors' toughness and found it strange. Lin Moyu commanded the skeleton warriors, "Almost there." When all the monsters behind caught up, several skeleton warriors suddenly used their skills. They instantly killed an enhanced elite monster. Then the corpse of that enhanced elite monster was thrown into the air. At the same time, Lin Moyu raised his hand. Corpse explosion. Air burst. A huge boom resounded, startling Xia Shui with its terrifying force. Experience increased rapidly, with various notifications flooding in. Almost instantly, Xia Shui's experience increased by 30%. Xia Shui was dumbfounded. Could dungeons be cleared like this? What kind of operation was this? Boom, boom. Several more huge explosions followed. The Mine Wolf King, which had seemed so terrifying to her, fell to the ground with a mournful cry. It's dead. Killed so easily. She remembered when they faced the Mine Wolf King in normal difficulty with 3 people, each assigned specific tasks. Various tactics and strategies were meticulously planned before they dared to engage. It took over 20 minutes of intense battle to finally defeat it with great difficulty. Now, in front of Lin Moyu, it was simply an instant kill. Xia Shui's whole body went numb. She realized this wasn't normal difficulty, but nightmare difficulty. The same boss in Nightmare was several times harder than in normal. Yet in front of Lin Moyu, it was instantly killed. A tingling sensation spread from her feet to her head, making Xia Shui's entire body tremble as if electrified. Was this dungeon clearing? This was more like strolling through one's own backyard. Lin Moyu didn't notice her state and waved his hand. Let's go. The skeleton warriors had already run into the passage, heading down to the mining pit. Xia Shui finally snapped out of it and hurriedly followed. Have you been soloing Nightmare difficulty dungeons all along? She struggled to ask this question. If she hadn't seen it with her own eyes, Xia Shui would never have believed it. Who would believe that someone could solo Nightmare difficulty dungeons at just over level 10? Throughout history, no one had ever done this. Lin Moyu replied calmly, yes. Xia Shui continued, since level 10. That's right. Getting a definitive answer from Lin Moyu. Xia Shui finally understood why Lin Moyu could level up so quickly. When she had just left the novice dungeon, Lin Moyu had probably already started soloing the mine dungeon, and on Nightmare difficulty at that. If not for the dungeon cooldown time, Lin Moyu might even be level 20 by now. This efficiency was incredible. From entering the dungeon until now, it had only been about 10 minutes, and they were already about to face the final boss. When she had teamed up with others to clear normal difficulty, it took at least an hour to get this far. The massive Goblin King exuded a powerful, oppressive aura. Then the skeleton warriors, bringing a horde of monsters and fierce wolves, charged at it like a swarm of hornets. After more than 10 deafening explosions, everything returned to silence. The light of leveling up appeared around Lin Moyu. Chapter 37. Chapter 37, 37. Chapter 37. What a strange person, yet somewhat cute. Experiencing this scene for the second time, even the final boss was instantly killed. Xia Shui was completely numb. She wondered if the Goblin King was Lin Moyu's son, just handing out experience. Seeing the leveling up light on Lin Moyu, she exclaimed, "You leveled up again? Level 15. Lin Moyu nodded, confirming he was indeed level 15. Xia Shui's face fell. She was still 30% away from level 13. The gap between them had widened again. It was really frustrating. Killed Goblin King, experience plus 25,000. Obtained bronze grade weapon, Goblin King's longsword. Obtained low-level monster crystal core. Seeing the notification, Xia Shui sighed, too bad it's not a staff. You want a staff? Lin Moyu asked. Xia Shui nodded, yes, the Goblin King's staff is the best weapon for mages before level 20. I could buy one at the exchange, but I'd have to ask my dad for money, and I don't want to do that. Suddenly, a dark object flew towards her. Xia Shui instinctively caught it. Goblin King's staff. This was exactly the staff she wanted. It's yours, Lin Moyu said calmly. It was just a staff, nothing special to him. Xia Shui was stunned, taking a while to say, thank you. Then she asked, puzzled, why don't you use it yourself? Lin Moyu took out the Goblin King's spellbook. I use this. Both spellbooks and staffs were mage weapons, but most mages chose staffs. After all, staffs looked impressive and could sometimes be used for blocking or simple physical attacks. Spellbooks didn't have these functions. Comparatively, staffs were more practical. This was common knowledge, and Xia Shui didn't understand, but staffs are more practical than spellbooks. Lin Moya shook his head. I don't like staffs. This reason left Xia Shui speechless. It was actually because of this. Come to think of it, she had never seen Lin Moya take out a spellbook. Perhaps he doesn't care about the small boost from the spellbook, she thought. Lin Moya, unaware of Xia Shui's thoughts, was checking his level-up attribute changes. Name, Lin Moya. Career, Necromancer, Unique. Level, 15, 8%. Strength, 200. Agility, 200. Spirit, 800, plus 20. Constitution, 200, plus 20. Equipment, Goblin King's Spellbook, Robe of Knowledge. Summoning Space, 84/150. Skeleton Warrior, Quantity, 84. Talent, Full Enhancement, Level 2, Unique. Passive Skill, Damage Transfer. Active Skills, Soulfire, Level 15. Summon Skeleton Warrior, Level 15. Corpse Explosion, Level 1. Finally reaching level 15 greatly increased his chances of entering Summer Capital University. Level 16 would be ideal, but even if he couldn't reach it, it shouldn't be a big problem. After reaching level 15, the experience gain slowed down again. Lin Moyo had expected to gain about 12% experience, but only got 8%. Although teaming up with Xia Shui meant sharing some experience, it was indeed much slower. Lin Moyo calculated in his mind. Xia Shui's junior cooldown talisman could let them run the dungeon 3 more times together. At his speed, 3 dungeon runs would take about half an hour. Then they would have 2 more natural cooldown opportunities, so they could run the dungeon 5 more times. Of course, he would bring Xia Shui for the last 2 runs as well. Since he started with her, he wouldn't leave her behind later. Lin Moyo wouldn't do that. Running 5 times in a 2-person team should be enough for me to reach level 16. Looking at the fallen Goblin King, Lin Moya said softly, sorry, I might have to kill you 5 more times. Seeing Lin Moya talk to the Goblin King, Xia Shui found it strange. Why are you talking to the boss? It can't understand you. Lin Moya said quietly, I just want to say it. Whether it understands or not isn't important. Xia Shui was even more puzzled. Then why say it? Lin Moya didn't answer Xia Shui's question. For some reason, Xia Shui thought of Lin Moya apologizing to the boss and suddenly found him somewhat cute. Who would seriously apologize to a boss like that? Aren't dungeons meant to be farmed? Aren't bosses meant to be killed? Those high-level dungeon bosses, though killed countless times, have also killed countless career professionals. What's there to apologize for? What a strange person, yet somewhat cute. Xia Shui suddenly laughed. Lin Moya gave her an odd look. Let's go out and continue. Okay, let's continue. Chapter 38. Chapter 38, 38. Chapter 38, if possible, aim for Provincial Top Scholar. As they left the dungeon, Xia Shui immediately used the junior cooldown talisman. After just a few seconds, they entered the Nightmare Difficulty West Sea Mine dungeon again. On this second entry, Xia Shui seemed like a different person. Running alongside Lin Moyo, she was in a state of excitement. The joy radiating from her face made Lin Moyo feel a bit strange. Was it really that exciting? It was just pulling a group of monsters and blowing them up. It was only a low-level dungeon, not worth getting so worked up about. Xia Shui caught his odd look. Her youngness temperament flared up. What are you looking at? Never seen a beautiful girl before. Lin Moyo had seen her for several years. He had to admit, she was indeed quite beautiful. He compared Xia Shui to Ningyi in his mind. Both had their charms, hard to say which was better. One was petite and cute, the other was tall and proud. Each had their own appeal. But Lin Moyo felt nothing about this. Ningyi was his friend, Xia Shui was his classmate. 10 minutes later, the mighty Nightmare Difficulty boss, the Goblin King, fell before Lin Moyo again. That unwilling look, that frustrated death. Lin Moyo said softly, 4 more times. They ran the dungeon 4 consecutive times, taking less than an hour in total. Xia Shui used up all the talisman's charges. The talisman became dim and lifeless. It looked no different from an ordinary stone now. Only upon very close inspection could one faintly see some runes inside. Xia Shui put away the cooldown talisman. The talisman needs to be recharged now. The cooldown talisman wasn't a one-time item. After using up all its charges, it needed to be recharged. However, according to Xia Shui, the recharging process was very complex. It required a high-level alchemist to complete. As for how high-level, she didn't know. After 4 consecutive dungeon runs, Xia Shui had reached level 14, with 20% experience. 2 more runs would definitely get her to level 15. Lin Moyo was still at level 15, but his experience had reached 85%. After level 15, running the dungeon once as a duo only increased their experience by 26%. The efficiency had indeed slowed down several times. With a day and a half left before the big exam, they had time for 2 more dungeon runs. Xia Shui was excited. If I can reach level 15 before the big exam, my entry into Summer Capital University is almost guaranteed. Lin dummy, are you close to leveling up too? Lin Moyo nodded, almost. Xia Shui temporarily stopped comparing herself to Lin Moyo. By then, you'll be level 16, and I'll be level 15. Our West Sea City might have 2 students enter Summer Capital University this year. Principal Liu will probably be grinning in his sleep. Having students enter Summer Capital University was a great honor for any high school principal. Everyone knew how difficult it was to enter Summer Capital University. Only geniuses could enter Summer Capital University, and only by entering Summer Capital University could one be called a top genius. Summer Capital University only admitted 1,000 students each year, from the entire Divine Summer Empire. Many of these spots were taken by large families from big cities. People from small cities found it hard to compete with these family geniuses. Last year, when Lin Mohan entered Summer Capital University, Principal Lu celebrated for several days. Years ago, when Su Qianqing entered Summer Capital University and became known as a genius, Principal Lu still mentioned it frequently. In short, entering Summer Capital University was a supreme honor. The two found a place to sit on the ground. With the cooldown talisman used up, they could only wait for the dungeon cooldown to end. Xia Shui said, "Lin dummy, do you want to try for the top scholar position?" Lin Moya turned to look at her, provincial top scholar. Xia Shui said, "If you can become the provincial top scholar, you'll get a lot of points. In Summer Capital University, points are very useful. Most importantly, you'll have a chance to join the Creation God Academy." Lin Moya remembered Ning Yi saying that in Summer Capital University, points were more useful than gold coins. And Ning Yi had also mentioned the Creation God Academy. Do you know about the Creation God Academy? Lin Moya hoped to get some information about the Creation God Academy from Xia Shui. Ning Yi had only mentioned it briefly, without going into details. She had said he would naturally know when he got to Summer Capital University. Xia Shui curled her legs. "I'm not very clear on the details either, I've just heard my dad mention it. The Creation God Academy should be the most powerful academy in our Divine Summer Empire. Summer Capital University admits geniuses and elites, but the Creation God Academy is for the cream of the crop among geniuses. Dad said it's very hard to get into, and I probably don't have a chance. But I think you have a chance, you could try. I heard that Su Qianqing Sr. got into the Creation God Academy before, the only one from our West Sea city." Xia Shui looked at Lin Moyo with shining eyes, truly believing he had a chance. Lin Moyo had taken her through the Nightmare Dungeon in an unprecedented way. It completely refreshed her understanding. She could no longer use the knowledge she had learned to compare Lin Moya's career. "If there's a chance, I'll give it a try," Lin Moya said softly. He was determined to go to Summer Capital University, where his sister Lin Mohan was. If there was a chance, he would also try for the Creation God Academy. Suddenly, Xia Shui's eyes lit up, pointing at the dungeon entrance. "Isn't that Gao Yang?" Indeed it was Gao Yang, at the dungeon entrance, seemingly looking for a team. Xia Shui cast detection on him and giggled. "Who would have thought this big dummy is already level 11? Too bad he's a knight, it's not easy to find a team. Dungeon runs needed knights, and knights of a certain level. A level 11 knight couldn't tank monsters in the dungeon. Even for normal difficulty dungeons, at least a level 13 knight was needed." Sure enough, Gao Yang couldn't find a team after looking around, his face full of disappointment. Lin Moya spoke up, "Let's bring him along." Xia Shui giggled, "I'm fine with that." Chapter 39. Chapter 39. Chapter 39. Gao Yang, a combination of annoying, shameless, and deserving of a beating. Xia Shui called Gao Yang over. Gao Yang's eyes darted quickly, revealing a meaningful smile. "You too." Xia Shui said coldly, "Shut your filthy mouth, or this young lady will tear you apart." Xia Shui's arrogance was well known. Only when alone with Lin Moya would she restrain it a bit. After all, Lin Moya was even colder. If she remained arrogant, the two wouldn't speak at all. Now facing Gao Yang, her young miss temperament was fully on display. Gao Yang was startled, scratching his head. Just a joke, don't take it seriously." Xia Shui said, "Stop looking for a team. When our cooldown ends, we'll take you through the dungeon. You'll definitely reach level 12 before the big exam." Gao Yang let out an excited yell. "Really? You two are my great benefactors. You don't know, the school I want to enter requires level 12 to have a chance. You're such good people." Gao Yang's expression was extremely exaggerated. Xia Shui frowned. "If you keep this up, we won't take you." Gao Yang immediately surrendered, suddenly becoming serious. "Don't worry, Miss Xia, I'll behave. I'll do exactly as you say." "What nonsense, shut up." Xia Shui snorted, a fireball appearing in her palm. If Gao Yang dared say another word, she would definitely throw this fireball at his face. Gao Yang wisely shut up. "I obey, just wondering how long until your cooldown ends." Xia Shui calculated the time, about 10 hours. 10 hours was a bit long, but Gao Yang knew he might not find a team in 10 hours anyway. "Alright, you two rest and chat. I'll go kill some wild monsters. Good luck, Lin Moyu, I'm rooting for you. You'll win Xia Shui over sooner or later." With that, he ran off. Xia Shui angrily stomped her foot and threw a fireball. With a boom, the fireball exploded behind Gao Yang, some sparks landing on him. "Ow ow ow." Gao Yang yelped in pain, covering his backside and disappearing in the blink of an eye. Xia Shui stomped her foot angrily. "That guy, his mouth is too foul, he deserves a beating." Lin Moya deeply agreed, but he had to admit, Gao Yang was a good person. When others distanced themselves from him, only Gao Yang actively came to talk to him. Even though Lin Moya rarely responded, Gao Yang never showed disgust. Lin Moya trusted his feelings weren't wrong. Gao Yang was a sincere goofball. 10 hours later, Gao Yang joined the team. Lin Moya as the leader entered the Nightmare Difficulty Dungeon. Upon entering, Gao Yang was the first to collapse in fear. Hey, Miss Xia, Boss Lin, why did you enter Nightmare Difficulty?" Xia Shui snorted, "Stop talking nonsense, just follow behind. You don't need to fight anyway." "Ha!" Gao Yang showed confusion, panic, fear, and various other expressions. Xia Shui wondered if she had been like this her first time. She seemed to remember being quite scared too. For the sake of his life, Gao Yang stuck close to Xiaxue, not daring to stray a step. This was nightmare difficulty. One hit from a monster here would end his life. 10 minutes later, Gao Yang stared at the dead boss, still unable to close his mouth. It's dead already. Xiaxue looked at him. Can you close your mouth? You're drooling. Gao Yang wiped his mouth corner, then suddenly hugged Lin Moya's leg. Boss Lin, can you take me along when you run dungeons in the future? I'll be your accessory. Xiaxue sighed. How can you be so spineless? You're a knight, can't you have some knightly spirit? Gao Yang cried out. What use is knightly spirit? With boss here, who needs knights? Xiaxue gave up on him, choosing to ignore him. A faint white light flickered around Lin Moyo. He had completed his level up. At level 16, he was fully confident of entering Summer Capital University. One more dungeon run, and Xiaxue could reach level 15, also having a good chance of entering Summer Capital University. As for Gao Yang, his goal was the provincial Jiangning University. It was also a good higher education institution, with lower requirements than Summer Capital University. A level 12 knight was qualified enough. As the sun set, casting long shadows on everything. On the south city wall of West Sea City, several principals stood together, looking at the wild area outside the city wall. The children should be coming back now. Tomorrow is the big exam day. We told them all to return today. Wonder how the big exam results will be tomorrow. Most should be fine, it's just a matter of which school they get into. Old Lu, I heard those two geniuses from your school are both aiming for Summer Capital University. Principal Lu stared into the distance without blinking. Yes, both Moyo and Xiaxue want to enter Summer Capital University. Summer Capital University is the most competitive. By past standards, level 15 gives a good chance, level 16 is almost guaranteed. It's tough. Level 15 still has hope, level 16 is as rare as phoenix feathers and unicorn horns. In our West Sea City, besides Su Qianqing, only Lin Mohan reached level 16 last year, right? Wonder if these two youngsters have a chance this year. Principal Lu nodded. Let's believe in them. Lin Moyo and Xiaxue, one the brother of Lin Mohan, the other the daughter of the Xia family. Principal Lu felt these two might both create miracles. Finally, someone appeared in their sight. One principal said, it's one of our third high students. Under detection, the person's level was clear. Su Jin, level 12, sword fighter. That principal was satisfied. Level 12 was enough to enter a good higher education institution. Su Jin was somewhat famous in third high, considered one of their geniuses. Our second high student Wang Ming is back too. Wang Ming, level 13, Eagle Eye Archer. As students returned one by one, the principals continuously used detection on the city wall. Every year at this time, it was also a pre-exam competition among the principals. A face-saving contest. Chapter 40. Chapter 40, Chapter 40, teleporting to the provincial capital, the big exam begins. Students returned one by one, with the principals experiencing wins and losses. So far, no one had a clear advantage. The returning students were mostly between levels 10 and 13. Not even one level 14 student had appeared. Why haven't Xiaxue, Lin Moyo, and Gao Yang returned yet? As it grew darker, Principal Lu became anxious. His expression turned serious. By all accounts, those three should have returned by now. Could something have happened? Finally, just before nightfall, Principal Lu saw three figures. They're here, they're finally back. Principal Lu's face immediately broke into a smile. The result wasn't important as long as they returned safely, that was enough. Detection spells flew out like gentle breezes. Gao Yang, level 12, Sword and Shield Knight. Xiaxue, level 15, Elemental Mage. The principal's faces showed surprise. She really did it. Xiaxue really reached level 15. This gave her at least an 80% chance of entering Summer Capital University. No, as long as she performed well in the exam, she was almost certain to get in. Finally, Lin Moyo. The principals were all second transition professionals above level 40, far surpassing Lin Moyo's level. So the blocking badge was ineffective against them. Lin Moyo, level 16, Necromancer. The principals drew in sharp breaths. Lin Moyo had really reached level 16, even one level higher than Xiaxue. This speed was simply too fast. They must have been running dungeons. The sword and shield in Gao Yang's hands, and the staff Xiaxue is holding, are all Goblin King weapons. But the weapon drop rate is very low. It's not easy to collect all the corresponding weapons and equipment. Maybe they were just lucky. When Lin Moyo and the others reached the city wall, Principal Lu said, after you enter the city, wait on the bus. When everyone's here, we'll return to school together. All three heard Principal Lu's words, but only Gao Yang responded loudly, yes, Principal. Principal Lu chuckled. He was in a good mood. He had won this return competition among the principals. And this time, Lin Moyo and Xiaxue might both enter Summer Capital University, which would be very honorable for West Sea City and First High School. As the principal, he felt proud. After all the students returned, Principal Lu also got on the bus. Actually, the student's safe return is the greatest comfort for a teacher. Everyone, rest well tonight. Tomorrow morning, gather at the school, and we'll head to the exam site. The exam site wasn't at the school, nor in West Sea City. It was in the provincial capital, Jianghai City. West Sea City and Jianghai City differed by just one character. West Sea City was just an unremarkable medium-sized city in Jiangning province. Jianghai City was the provincial capital, a true large city. The big exam was held in Jianghai City every year. Examiners from the Divine Summer Empire would conduct the unified exam. That night, Lin Moyo continued his meditation. He followed his own thoughts and didn't particularly focus on the big exam. He was confident he would enter Summer Capital University. If there was a chance, he would also try for the provincial top scholar position. Previously, he didn't have much pursuit of this. He just wanted to simply enter Summer Capital University. But after hearing what Ning Yi and Xia Shui said, he became a bit interested in the Creation God Academy. Early the next morning, Lin Moyo woke up on time. His spirit power was fully recovered, and he was in peak condition. A full 100 skeleton warriors waited quietly in his summoning space, ready to be summoned at any time. Each bronze-rank skeleton warrior, after the 20-fold amplification, had attributes as high as 5,000. Along with his soul fire and corpse explosion skills, Lin Moyo felt confident and at ease. Arriving at the school playground, many classmates were already there. Gao Yang waved vigorously at Lin Moyo. "Boss Lin." Lin Moyo walked over and nodded slightly to Gao Yang, which counted as a greeting. Although Lin Moyo was always first, his personality made him unpopular among classmates. Moreover, his necromancer career made some classmates afraid of him. A moment later, Xia Shui arrived. Xia Shui was much more popular than Lin Moyo, with classmates gathering around her. However, contrary to her usual behavior, Xia Shui came to Lin Moyo's side. "Are you confident?" Lin Moyo nodded slightly in response. Xia Shui smiled brightly. "Then I'll see you at Summer Capital University." "Okay," Lin Moyo said softly. After everyone arrived, Principal Lu came over. "Here are the teleportation stones for the exam site, one for each person. In a moment, you can either crush the teleportation stone or activate it with spirit power. The teleportation stone will take you to the exam site. Let me emphasize one last time, during the exam process, your first priority is to ensure your own safety. Safety first. Alright, you can start teleporting now." The students activated their teleportation stones one by one, disappearing in flashes of light. After everyone left, Principal Lu also activated his teleportation stone to go to the exam site in Jianhai City. The exam site was extremely spacious, like a giant plaza. Examins from over a dozen cities, large and small, in Jiangning province teleported in successively. From over a dozen cities, there were thousands of people taking this exam. The teleportation lights never stopped. The examins from Westsea City were all placed in the same area. After a full half hour, the teleportation lights finally stopped. Under the gaze of thousands of eyes, a tall tower descended from the sky. "The trial tower is open." A majestic voice resounded throughout the plaza. The doors of the tower's first floor slowly opened with a rumbling sound. "All examins, please listen carefully to the exam rules. No speaking, no questions. Violators will be immediately disqualified from the exam." Chapter 41. Chapter 41. Chapter 41, First stage of the exam, instant kill. "No questions allowed, but what if we don't understand?" A few people muttered quietly. Suddenly, beams of light shot from the trial tower, hitting these few people. They instantly disappeared. The authoritative voice then said, "Rule violation, disqualified from the exam." Whoosh! Thousands of examins' faces changed, quickly covering their mouths. The rules were this strict. Even barely audible muttering wasn't allowed. At this moment, the entire place fell silent, so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Even breathing became cautious. After years of preparation, being eliminated at the last moment would be too much to bear. Lin Moyo remembered Principal Lu repeatedly telling them, during the exam, they must strictly follow the exam rules. The exam rules were very strict, absolutely no violations allowed, not even the slightest. He could naturally do this, and glanced at Gao Yang. He was worried Gao Yang might not manage it. Not letting him speak was probably worse than killing him. Sure enough, Gao Yang was forcefully covering his own mouth. He was also afraid he couldn't control his mouth. This guy at least has some self-awareness. Lin Moyo inwardly smiled, no longer needing to worry about Gao Yang. The authoritative voice spoke again. The trial tower arranges different exam scenarios for different careers. Support careers will have non-combat scenarios. Combat careers will have combat scenarios. After passing the basic exam, each career will get to choose difficulty levels. Different difficulties and performances will earn different points. Points are both your exam scores and points you can take to higher education institutions. In higher education institutions, points are more valuable than gold coins. Lastly, about exam rules, you can use your carried equipment normally. Besides that, no items can be used. If found, immediate disqualification. After entering the trial tower, your storage spaces will be sealed. The voice detailed the exam rules. With normal intelligence, there shouldn't be any misunderstanding. Those who muttered at the start were just talkative, bringing trouble on themselves. Now, all examins, line up to enter the tower. Everyone queued to enter the trial tower. The order was very good, everyone following the rules. Even those usually pampered young masters and misses at home didn't dare misbehave now. The big exam was the Divine Summer Empire's most important annual exam. It wasn't just in Jiangning province, but synchronized across all major provinces nationwide. Over 100,000 people would take the exam on this day. The Empire's top officials were watching this exam. Anyone who dared misbehave was courting death. Wang Zihao was also in the crowd. As the Dynasty Guild's vice leader, he was usually arrogant. When had he ever queued obediently? But today, he didn't dare misbehave at all. Lin Moyo followed the queue into the tower. He had removed his blocking badge before departing. Upon entering the tower, a light shone on him, then he was teleported to an independent space. As he guessed, the trial tower was like a dungeon, sending entrants to different spaces. At the tower's top stood several middle-aged people with solemn expressions and powerful auras. They wore support, warrior, and mage attire, representing various careers. None were below level 70. They were the examiners for Jiangning Province's big exam. Lin Moyo, level 16, Necromancer. Lin Moya's image appeared before them. This is the new career reported by Westsea City's first high school. It's been a while since we've seen a new career. The last one was over 30 years ago, right? Yes, over 30 years ago a new career called Elf Emissary appeared, a control-type combat career, classified as rare. Necromancer, from First High's report, should be a summoning-type mage. Let's see how strong this new career is. Hope it doesn't disappoint. It shouldn't be bad, at least not weaker than rare careers, otherwise reaching level 16 would be impossible. Let's process it according to rare grade mage rules for now, and keep records. After discussion, they determined Lin Moya's exam method. A monster appeared before Lin Moyo. This monster had a wolf's head but wore a mage's robe. It even held a staff. It was a mage-type monster, but its strength was unknown. A light barrier separated Lin Moyo from this mage monster. Detection couldn't penetrate this barrier. Lin Moyo couldn't get the mage monster's information for now. Exam task, kill the Werf Beastman mage. No more information was given. A countdown appeared on the light barrier. Lin Moyo prepared. A skeleton warrior appeared beside him. 3, 2, 1. As the barrier disappeared, the skeleton warrior charged at the Werf Beastman mage. But Lin Moya's soul fire was even faster. It landed on the Werf Beastman mage's head almost as the barrier vanished. The Werf Beastman mage fell with a scream. Dead. Lin Moyo was speechless. This strength was too low. At the tower's top, the examiners looked shocked. What skill is this? Instant kill? How can it be an instant kill? Is there a problem with the data? Was it set up wrong? The setup is correct, set for rare grade career. The monster level is 2 levels higher than the career professional. Different levels and combat careers faced different monsters. Rare career professionals faced monsters 2 levels higher than themselves. High-grade career professionals faced monsters 1 level higher. Other career professionals faced monsters of the same level. Mages faced mage monsters, warriors faced warrior monsters. The types matched. Although all could win, instant kills like Lin Moya's were unprecedented. Chapter 42. Chapter 42, 42. Chapter 42, a godly result of 0.1 seconds. The test was actually examining the combat techniques of career professionals. Although the level was a bit higher, it shouldn't be a problem for qualified professionals. This setup had been used for many years without issues. Battles usually lasted from 10 seconds to half a minute. This could show the professional's combat ability. But a problem occurred with Lin Moyo. An instant kill, how could they judge combat technique from this? What should we do? An examiner asked. Everyone looked at the middle-aged man in mage robes. He was in charge of mage class exams, but now he was unsure too. The intended effect wasn't achieved, which was troublesome. At this moment, an elder appeared in the room. Lord Ning, why are you here? The examiners immediately bowed to the newcomer. Ning Xianfeng said solemnly, I heard there's a new career professional this year, so I came to take a look. Lin Moya's image appeared on the light screen. Ning Xianfeng looked at it. He seems like a good young man. The examiners quickly explained what had just happened. After listening, Ning Xianfeng said, you all want to know how strong this new necromancer career is. The rare career professional setting can't measure its strength. So let's use the legendary career professional setting for a second test on him. An examiner objected, but that's not fair to him, and how should we calculate the points? Ning Xianfeng smiled, this situation has happened before. There have been career professionals who instantly killed monsters before. Let's make an exception this time. First, declare him the top scorer of this exam, giving him 100 points. For the second test, if he passes, give him an extra 1,000 points. I can personally provide these 1,000 points. The examiners quickly said, Lord Ning, you jest. How could we let you provide the points? That's right, we have points. Let's do as you say and add a second test. Lin Moyo waited for a moment, and another light barrier appeared before him. Another monster appeared on the other side of the barrier. It looked identical to the previous one, but its aura was much stronger. Please proceed with the second test, examinee. Defeat the monster before you. Lin Moyo wasn't surprised by a second test. He thought this might be the normal procedure. He had no idea he was being treated differently. As soon as the barrier disappeared, he activated Soul Fire. The mage monster instantly died with a scream. Just like before. Another instant kill. The examiners were shocked again. They still couldn't see anything. The legendary career level monster was 4 levels higher than the professional. The mage monster Lin Moyo just killed was set as a level 20 monster. Yet it was still instantly killed. This skill, it's too powerful for the future. Does he have some powerful equipment? He's only level 16, what powerful equipment could he have? It's just a purely strong skill. What should we do? Continue testing. Everyone looked to Ning Xianfeng. Since his arrival, he had been in charge. Ning Xianfeng shook his head. No need. Proceed to the second round of exams. By now, everyone had finished the first round of exams. The authoritative voice echoed. Combat class examines, first round of exams concluded. 632 participants, 522 qualified. Now announcing results. A ranking appeared before everyone's eyes. Lin Moyu, 0.1 seconds, points, 100. Zhuo Mei, 3.2 seconds, points, 70. Xia Shui, 5.2 seconds, points, 40. Lin Moyu was clearly ranked first, taking only 0.1 seconds. Second place was Zhuo Mei, taking 3.2 seconds. Xia Shui ranked third, taking 5.2 seconds. The Dynasty Guild's vice leader, Wang Zihao, ranked fourth, taking 5.5 seconds. The top three received 100, 70, and 40 points respectively. From fourth place on, everyone received 10 points. Seeing this ranking in time, Wang Zihao was furious. How could I not even make the top three? First place should be mine. 0.1 seconds? That's a joke. There must be a mistake. This result is godly. Not just Wang Zihao, many people found Lin Moya's result unbelievable. Xia Shui looked at the ranking. Lin Dummy is so amazing. I won't admit defeat. Gao Yang's expression was exaggerated. Boss is truly the boss. Too awesome, can't help but admire. Lin Moya unconsciously rubbed his nose. Did I go too far? He hadn't expected the seemingly easy first round to eliminate over 100 people. The authoritative voice sounded again. Combat class second round exam will begin soon. Examines may choose their difficulty. Note, injuries or deaths may occur in the second round. Please choose according to your ability. If you encounter danger during the exam, you can shout to give up. Your exam will end, and your score will be based on your progress at that point. The requirements for the second round were repeated. The second round was like a dungeon, with normal, nightmare, and hell difficulties. Different difficulties gave different points for killing monsters. Normal difficulty gave 1 point per monster, nightmare 3 points, and hell 5 points. The time limit was 30 minutes for all. The second round compared who could kill more monsters in 30 minutes. Chapter 43. Chapter 43, 43. Chapter 43, Lin Moya's side is too boring. Wang Zihao chose hell difficulty without hesitation. In his view, killing one monster on hell difficulty was equivalent to killing 5 on normal. Moreover, he had extreme confidence in his combat power. Kid who got first place, even if you won the first round, don't think you'll beat me in the second. Wang Zihao gripped a huge battle blade, his career weapon. Oh, someone chose hell difficulty. Wang Zihao, level 16, Berserker. Not bad, Berserker is considered strong among rare careers. Berserkers have good sustained combat ability, should do well in this round. Xia Shui thought for a moment and chose normal difficulty. Elemental mages aren't good at close combat or soloing high-strength monsters without a tank, so she chose normal difficulty, planning to win through quantity. As third place in the first round, Xia Shui also received attention from the examiners. They had a real-time view of her as well. When Xia Shui chose normal difficulty, they nodded approvingly. Xia Shui, level 15, Elemental Mage. A smart choice. Elemental mages have good burst damage, but it's troublesome if they can't kill before monsters get close. Especially at low levels with incomplete skills. The second place finisher from the first round, Zhuo Mei, chose hell difficulty. Zhuo Mei, level 16, Infiltrator. The examiners also paid attention to Zhuo Mei's choice. They commented after her selection. Infiltrators, as rare assassin class careers, have extremely strong close combat ability. So choosing either Nightmare or Hell is a good choice for her. Indeed, she's also a promising candidate. Wonder what difficulty Lin Moya's Necromancer will choose. All the noteworthy candidates had made their choices, leaving only Lin Moya. After hearing the exam rules, Lin Moya made his judgment. This round truly tests everyone's sustained combat ability. 30 minutes of continuous combat is quite pressuring for any career. Except for me. A slight smile appeared on his lips. Lin Moya made his choice. I choose Hell difficulty. Actually, for him, the higher the difficulty the better. All his skills were top tier in power. So higher difficulty meant higher points per unit, which benefited him more. An examiner smiled. As expected, he chose Hell difficulty. He's both a mage and summoner. With summons he's not afraid of monsters getting close. And his skills are very powerful. Combined with summons, he can definitely do well on Hell difficulty. Actually, most summoners who came to take the exam before also chose Hell difficulty, right? Let's wait and see. Outside the exam venue, principals from all over Jiangning province gathered. Old Lu, you're going to make it big this time. Tisk tisk, 0.1 seconds, how many years since we've seen such a result? You've got 2 of the top 3, Old Lu. You can't help but succeed. Your first high is going to make a big splash this time. If Lin Moya can bring back the provincial top scholar title, you'll be on cloud 9, Old Lu. Principal Lu's face was red, extremely excited. He hadn't expected Lin Moya to achieve such a good result. Too excited to speak, his whole body was trembling. All examines had made their choices. As the countdown ended, the second round began. A light orb appeared in front of Lin Moya. The orb rotated in the air, looking like a dungeon entrance. Then, an armored monster emerged from the orb, letting out an angry roar. Lin Moya thought, and the skeleton warrior beside him rushed forward. It immediately slashed at the monster. Meanwhile, Lin Moya cast detection on the monster. Worf Beastman Warrior, Elite. Level, 13. Strength, 500. Agility, 300. Spirit, 150. Constitution, 400. These attributes, very weak. Much weaker than Nightmare difficulty monsters in the West Sea Mine dungeon. Lin Moya immediately understood. After all, this was an exam, meant to accommodate most people. If monsters were too strong, it would lead to mass elimination. That would defeat the purpose of the exam. The exam's goal wasn't to eliminate candidates, but to select outstanding talents. The skeleton warrior's blade had already fallen on the Werf Beastman, flesh torn open. With just one slash, the Werf Beastman was near death. As the Werf Beastman tried to counterattack, a second slash fell. The Werf Beastman died miserably. 2 slashes. Lin Moyo observed, then summoned another skeleton warrior with a point of his finger. The 2 skeleton warriors guarded the light orb, waiting for monsters to appear. 5 seconds later, a second Werf Beastman appeared. The 2 skeleton warriors immediately attacked, killing it instantly. Too simple. After several rounds, he understood that 5 seconds after killing a monster, another would appear. This round tested each career's sustained combat ability. The examiners were stunned. How are Lin Moya's summons so strong? Stronger than any summoners we've seen before. And he has 2 of them. This career is amazing. Strong skills and powerful summons. This career was going to be incredible. Lin Moya's side was too boring. 2 skeleton warriors guarded the orb, killing monsters as they appeared, not lasting 0.5 seconds. The examiners didn't want to watch anymore and turned to observe other candidates. Xia Shui gripped her staff, casting spells. She chose normal difficulty, so the monsters weren't strong. Basically 2 skills could kill 1. She constantly adjusted her skill intensity, trying to minimize spirit power consumption. Though somewhat monotonous, it was much more interesting than Lin Moya's side. Chapter 44. Chapter 44. Chapter 44, Too Much, Eating Sweet Potatoes While Others Fight for Their Lives. Xia Shui's performance received unanimous approval from the examiners. Wang Zihao swung his huge double-blade sword, decapitating the Werf Beastman in front of him. His face showed bloodlust, his mouth revealing arrogance. Berserker, true to the name. In battle, rationality decreased while becoming extremely wild. This was without even entering berserk mode. Once berserked, he might lose all reason. Going all out from the start, efficiency will likely drop sharply later. Doesn't know how to manage stamina, needs improvement in this area. Not as good as Xia Shui in this regard. The examiners cared more about combat adaptability than kill count. First, they looked at ability to last the full 30 minutes. Second, they compared combat power at the start versus the end. Real battles often last a while. Going all out at the start leaves nothing for later. Comparing Wang Zihao to Xia Shui, the examiners already had their answer. Xia Shui was clearly superior. Zuomei, like Wang Zihao, also chose hell difficulty. Compared to Wang Zihao's all-out fighting style, Zuomei utilized the infiltrator career's agility to the extreme. She moved nimbly in all directions like a ghost, toying with the Werf Beastman. Every move was crisp, without waste, conserving energy. Her dagger strikes were fast, vicious and accurate, dealing considerable damage each time. She also used skills at appropriate times to control the Werf Beastman warrior and even interrupt its skills. She displayed a high level of mastery of her current skills. Zuomei's performance also gained the examiners' approval. After one round of observation, the examiners had a good understanding of each examinee's situation. They had formed evaluation standards in their minds. Back to Lin Moya's side. The examiners were speechless. This kid is going too far. I agree, it's really too much. This guy actually brought food in his pocket. What was he thinking? Are sweet potatoes that delicious? Watching him eat is making me hungry. Lin Moya was leisurely eating sweet potatoes one bite at a time. He had taken the sweet potatoes out and put them in his pocket before entering the exam. Storage spaces couldn't be used during the exam, so what if he got hungry? Now with his skeleton warriors instantly killing monsters, he had nothing to do, so naturally he started eating sweet potatoes. Eating during the big exam, a first in history. Note this down, let him go down in history for this. I think this exam is too easy for him, should we increase the difficulty? The examiners were annoyed. Others were struggling with the exam, while Lin Moya was so relaxed. Yet his performance was still far ahead. No need, the exam must be fair no matter what. Ning Xianfeng hadn't spoken since the exam began, but from his eyes, one could see he was very interested in Lin Moya. This little fellow is quite interesting. During the 30 minutes, people continuously gave up or withdrew due to injuries. The sustained combat was a severe test of endurance for every career professional. Unlike dungeons where you could rest when tired, only Lin Moya could even take a nap if he wanted. As time passed, finally, after 30 minutes, all monsters disappeared simultaneously. It's finally over. Any longer and I couldn't have held on. So terrifying, I've never been this tired even in dungeons. Most people collapsed on the ground, gasping for breath. The short 30 minutes had nearly exhausted their energy. Xia Shui's face was also slightly pale. For 30 minutes, she had carefully controlled her skills, conserving as much as possible. Her spirit power was almost completely depleted. With storage spaces sealed during the exam, no extra items could be used to recover spirit power. It was indeed very difficult. Finally over. I must have killed over 200, so that's over 200 points. Wang Zihao was completely collapsed on the ground. Towards the end, his efficiency was far lower than at the start. Large energy consumption and skill cooldowns had sharply reduced his combat power. I must have killed over 50. This hell difficulty is really not easy. Among everyone, only Lin Moya's condition was the best. He had passed these 30 minutes as if watching a show. This round of exams is over. 522 examines participated in this round, of which 278 were disqualified due to injuries or voluntarily giving up. The remaining 244 examines qualify for the next round of exams. Of course, you may also choose to give up. The next round will be more difficult and intense, possibly life-threatening. Please choose carefully. Everyone received a prompt simultaneously, allowing them to choose whether to give up or continue the exam. Continuing meant facing harder exams with potential life danger. Giving up now would leave regrets. Many people were suddenly caught in a dilemma. The examiners all showed mischievous smiles. How many will choose to give up this time? Based on previous years, at least a third will give up. This year's pass rate is similar to last year's. So far about 60% have been eliminated. 632 combat class professionals started the exam, now only 244 remained. Looks like they're all struggling to decide. Let's give them another push to help them decide. The authoritative voice sounded again. Even if you give up now, your scores are enough to enter higher education institutions. You have 60 seconds to consider. If no choice is made after 60 seconds, you'll be considered as continuing. This was the last straw, completely breaking many people's psychological defenses. I choose to give up. I quit. Can't continue anymore, I'll die if I do. Many students chose to give up, but even more chose to continue. Having come this far, it would be a shame not to continue. Chapter 45. Chapter 45, 45. Chapter 45. Is he even letting others play? Of the 244 examines who passed the second round, over 60 chose to withdraw. In the end, only 180 people decided to continue the exam. Although some chose to quit, passing the second round already proved their strength. Entering ordinary higher education institutions wouldn't be a problem. Those remaining were aiming for the top-ranked institutions. Now announcing the rankings after the second round. 1. Lin Moyo, total points, 1,605. 2. Zhuamei, total points, 470. 3. Xia Shui, 270 points. 4. Wang Zihao, 265 points. Wang Zihao jumped up, shouting, "This is impossible. How can he score so high?" In 30 minutes, at a rate of 1 monster every 5 seconds, that's 12 monsters per minute maximum. On hell difficulty, 5 points per monster, that's 60 points per minute at most. The absolute limit for 30 minutes would be 1,800 points, and that's not accounting for time spent fighting. Generally, 200 to 400 points was considered good. Zhuamei's 400 points for killing 80 monsters was already excellent. But Lin Moya's 1,505 points? That means he killed 301 monsters. 10 kills per minute, just short of the 12 per minute limit. Everyone had the same thought, is this guy even human? Wang Zihao even suspected Lin Moya of cheating, but he didn't dare say it, saying that would offend the entire Divine Summer Empire's upper echelons. Cheating in the big exam was unthinkable. No one had ever dared try. It would be suicidal. The entire exam was under full surveillance. Cheating was impossible. Outside the exam venue, Principal Liu jumped up. His old face was even redder than before. His excited heart, his trembling hands. The cup in his hand shook nonstop, spilling water everywhere. "Old Liu, your student is a bit abnormal." Indeed, very abnormal. Liu wanted to curse back, "You're the abnormal ones, your whole family is abnormal." He really wanted to know how Lin Moya did it. In his memory, no one had ever achieved such a score. Even the brilliant Su Qianxing only scored 700 points in the second round back then. Last year, Lin Mohan only got 650 points. Lin Moya's score was higher than both of theirs combined. Beams of light from the trial tower fell on the examiners who chose to continue. Under the light, fatigue disappeared and spirit power was restored. In the blink of an eye, their condition was fully recovered. Now beginning the third round of exams. This round also has 3 difficulty levels. You will face a boss-level monster. Normal difficulty, 100 points. Nightmare difficulty, 300 points. Hell difficulty, 500 points. The rules were similar to last time. The previous round tested sustained combat ability. This round tested individual peak combat ability. A boss-level monster to be faced one-on-one. Without support, this was a significant challenge for every career professional. Lin Moya was the first to make his choice this time. I choose hell difficulty. The examiners saw Lin Moya's choice and began discussing again. As expected, this kid chose hell difficulty again. With his skill strength and summon strength, he'll definitely be first again. Looks like he'll be Jiangning province's top scholar this time. Not necessarily, there are still 2 rounds left, especially the 5th round. They had overseen many big exams and seen many come from behind to win. Although Lin Moya's performance was very strong so far, they couldn't be certain he'd get the top scholar position yet. Wang Zihao was now over 1,300 points behind Lin Moyo. He had originally aimed for top scholar, but now couldn't even make the top 3. First place will be mine. There are still 2 rounds. I won't lose. After the exam ends, don't let me catch you, or you'll be sorry. Wang Zihao said viciously, also choosing hell difficulty. Xia Shui and Zhuamei also chose hell difficulty, only needing to deal with 1 monster. Xia Shui's elemental mage and Zhuamei's infiltrator both had strong burst damage, so they weren't worried. After everyone made their choices, the examiners announced the start of the third round. A huge monster appeared before each person. It was still a wolf-headed monster, of the Werf Beastman race. The monster wielded a sword in each hand, like a sword fighter career professional. Werf Beastman Captain, Boss. Level, 15. Strength, 1000. Agility, 800. Spirit, 500. Constitution, 1000. Skill, Wind Slash. Looking at the stats, Lin Moya felt they didn't live up to the name. Though called Hell difficulty, it was greatly weakened. Probably due to being an exam, it was far from true Hell dungeon difficulty. It was only slightly stronger than the enhanced Elite Guard in the Nightmare West Sea Mine dungeon, far from a true boss-level monster. Lin Moya understood the Empire's approach. If they used true Hell-level monsters, even a small mob would be too much for most career professionals, let alone a boss. This was an exam to select living talents, not dead ones. When the battle began, Lin Moya gave orders nonchalantly. 2 skeleton warriors quickly charged forward, simultaneously unleashing their skills. Berserk strike, 2 loud bangs. The Werf Beastman captain didn't even make a sound before falling dead. Instant kill. Another instant kill. The examiners were stunned again. Again. Another instant kill. The summons can even use skills. And the skill power isn't small. Lin Moya keeps doing this. It's too much. Is he even letting others play? Chapter 46. Chapter 46. Chapter 46. The best way is to deal with the summoner himself. Even the boss-level monster was instantly killed by Lin Moya. Lin Moya's strength was now recognized by the examiners present. Although the monsters they arranged were weakened, they still shouldn't be able to be instantly killed. Didn't they see how hard others were fighting? Xia Shui was dodging the Werf Beastman boss's attacks while constantly casting spells to counterattack. Wang Zihao was directly engaging in close combat, blade meeting flesh. The berserker's aggressive nature was on full display. Only Zhuo Mei was doing a bit better, circling the monster and applying various controls. Look at the career professionals who chose other difficulties. Was any of them like Lin Moya? Directly sending 2 skeleton warriors up, 2 strikes, and the battle was over. Lin Moya didn't even move from start to finish. I think he can solo those low-level dungeons now. More than that, he's qualified to solo nightmare difficulty dungeons below level 20. I don't think his combat power is limited to this. We haven't measured his true strength. Wait for the 5th round of tests. If he wants to be provincial or even national top scholar, he must choose the 5th round. Maybe then we'll see. The examiners discussed among themselves. The exam content was set by the Empire's higher-ups, and they had no authority to change it. The only one present with that power was Ning Xianfeng, who came later. He only spoke when he arrived, and hadn't said anything since, just watching with interest. The examiners noticed his attention was mostly on Lin Moya. He seemed very interested in Lin Moya. The 3rd round of tests ended quickly, taking only about 10 minutes. People like Xia Shui, Zhuo Mei, and Wang Zihao successfully killed their opponents, earning 500 points. Some succeeded, some failed. Another group of examines was eliminated, losing the chance to continue to the next round. They either gave up themselves or were forcibly stopped after being injured and losing combat ability. Although eliminated, their scores were quite good, enough to enter decent higher education institutions. Only 120 people successfully passed the 3rd round. Now announcing the rankings after the 3rd round. 1. Lin Moya, total points, 2,105. 2. Zhuo Mei, total points, 970. 3. Xia Shui, 770 points. 4. Wang Zihao, 765 points. 67. Gao Yang, 302 points. Lin Moya saw Gao Yang's name in the rankings. Ranking 67th was a decent result. Persisting to this point, Gao Yang was certain to enter Jiangning University. Lin Moya also understood Gao Yang. This guy was also very proud at heart. Having come this far, he definitely wouldn't give up easily. Needless to say, he would certainly participate in the 4th round. Wang Zihao was still ranked 4th. In the 3rd round, he knew he couldn't catch up. The 4th round is about to start. My chance is coming. He gripped his battle blade tightly, his eyes flashing with fighting spirit. The examiner's voice sounded again. The 4th round of exams will now begin. The difficulty of the 4th round will continue to increase, and the danger will increase accordingly. You can now choose to continue or give up. With your current scores, entering an institution ranked in the Empire's top 100 is no problem. This time, no one chose to give up. Those who persisted to this point were not cowards. White light shone down, falling on everyone. All were restored to peak condition. Fatigue gone, attributes full, all skill cooldowns reset. Since that's the case, I respect your choice. The rules for the 4th round are as follows. Each of you will face 10 waves of monster attacks. Each wave consists of 10 monsters, totaling 100 monsters. There's a 1-minute interval between each wave. Whether or not you've eliminated the previous wave, the next wave will appear after 1 minute. The last wave will be led by a boss-level monster. Killing all monsters means passing. Each monster is worth 10 points. If you clear everything, your final score for this round will be doubled, totaling 2,000 points. After explaining the rules, a light barrier rose in front of everyone. The first wave of 10 monsters had already appeared behind the barrier. They were ordinary monsters, level 13 Werf Beastmen. Of the 10 monsters, 9 were warrior type, with 1 mage type at the back. Warriors paired with a mage greatly increased the difficulty. Lin Moya calculated in his mind, this difficulty had increased by more than just a bit. If one's monster clearing ability wasn't enough, they would be surrounded by more and more monsters, eventually leading to failure. He understood that this round tested the ability to quickly clear monsters. From basic combat power, to endurance, to one-on-one ability, to rapid monster clearing ability, thus covering the strengths and weaknesses of various careers. This big exam was truly well designed. The examiners were already smiling. They all stared at Lin Moya. Let's see how you deal with this. The best way to deal with a summoner is not to eliminate the summons, but to eliminate the summoner himself. I think Lin Moyo might be flustered. But his summons are strong enough, he should be able to complete this round. Ning Xianfeng, who had been silent all along, finally spoke. I think this round of tests won't be difficult for him. Everyone looked at Ning Xianfeng with slight surprise. Ning Xuanfeng's words carried 70% certainty, seeming very confident. Although some examiners didn't quite agree, the status difference was there, so they didn't contradict him. Anyway, the truth would soon prove who was right or wrong. Chapter 47. Chapter 47, 47. Chapter 47, The Holy Swordsman exerts himself, entering berserk mode. The fourth round of testing officially began. A third skeleton warrior appeared in front of Lin Moyo. The three skeletons charged at the level 13 monsters, 1/ each. Instant kills, without a doubt. A flash of fire appeared in Lin Moyo's palm, landing on the head of the mage monster at the back. Another instant kill. Less than 3 seconds from the start of the test. Almost in the blink of an eye. 9 Dwarf Beastman warriors and 1 Dwarf Beastman mage had been killed. How does this kid have a third summon? This little brat, why didn't he bring it out from the start, only now? Damn kid, why does he like hiding so much? Yeah, the stronger you are, the happier we are. Ning Xianfeng had an as expected expression. Lin Moyo unconsciously frowned. This so-called big exam had no challenge. It wasn't even as exciting as his first time in the West Sea Mine dungeon. No surprises at all. He was even starting to feel drowsy. Unconsciously, he took out another sweet potato and started eating leisurely. I'm not watching anymore, there's no point watching this kid. Right, it's better to watch the others. On Lin Moya's side, monsters appeared and were dealt with in at most 3 seconds. Indeed, not interesting. Watching others was much more fun. Xiaoshui kept retreating, leaving a trail of fire under her feet. The Dwarf Beastman chasing her stepped on the flames, constantly taking damage. Fire Path. This was a skill mages could master at level 10. Once used, it formed fire damage wherever it passed. It was very effective here. Area attacks were a mage's forte. Although her level wasn't high enough, Xiaoshui already had 2 area attack skills. The other was Ice Rain, which had a slowing effect. Combining the two, Xiaoshui quickly cleared the Dwarf Beastman warriors. Comparatively, Zhuomei had a much harder time. Infiltrators had strong burst damage, rich combat techniques, and many control skills. They were excellent at assassination and one-on-one combat. The downside was they weren't good at group fights and lacked area attack skills. So Zhuomei was at a disadvantage here, only able to clear monsters one by one. Wang Zihao maintained his all-out fighting style. His huge two-handed sword whirled with loud whooshes. No matter which one, they were all interesting to watch. Only Lin Moya's side was extremely boring. None of the examiners wanted to watch him. He spent more time spacing out than fighting monsters. No need to watch, he'll get first place in the 4th round again. Let's see if he dares to participate in the 5th round. Although his points are far ahead now, if he doesn't participate in the 5th round, others will catch up. In the 4th round, 10 monsters appeared every batch, every minute. Those who were slow were starting to face more and more monsters. After 3 minutes, some people had already given up this test. Too many monsters had surrounded them. They were teleported outside the trial tower one by one. Being eliminated in the 4th round wasn't shameful, and was even a bit honorable. They were all geniuses, able to enter the Empire's top 100 higher education institutions without problem. Those eliminated all had happy expressions, saying the monsters were too many, too terrifying, so scary, I thought I'd be eaten. How can you kill so many monsters in time? Wonder how many can pass this round. I thought I was good enough, but there are always better people. By the way, that Lin Moyo is too amazing. I guess this round won't be hard for him either. Gao Yan reached his limit after the 5th batch of monsters appeared and had to give up. As soon as he came out, he heard people talking about Lin Moyo. Having held back for so long, he couldn't help but say, Lin Moyo was my boss, of course he's amazing. What's your name, brother? I'm Gao Yang from West Sea First High, Gao Yang said loudly. So it's brother Gao, tell us how amazing Lin Moyo is. Gao Yang smiled, sure, let me tell you. He started talking nonstop. When he mentioned Lin Moyo taking him through a nightmare dungeon in 10 minutes, everyone looked incredulous. How was that possible? No one believed him, thinking Gao Yang was boasting. Gao Yang didn't care if they believed him or not, he just kept talking. He just wanted to talk, having held back for so long. As more and more people were eliminated, fewer screens remained in the control room at the top of the trial tower. In the end, only 5 people were left. Lin Moyo, Xiaoshui, Zhuomei, Wang Zihao, and one called Feng Xiu. Feng Xiu, level 15, Holy Swordsman. The examiners were now watching Feng Xiu. Feng Xiu wielded his longsword, constantly moving within the circle of monsters. His movements were as agile as Zhuomei's. Although each attack didn't look powerful, they added up, and the Dwarf Beastmen fell one by one without notice. This Feng Xiu is finally starting to exert himself. I thought so, Holy Swordsman is a rare career. I wondered why his performance wasn't outstanding at first. Turns out he was waiting for this. He must be from the Feng family of sword cultivators, so he knows the big exam rules and knows the last 2 rounds are key for raising points. That's why he's only starting to exert himself now. The Feng family was involved in making the big exam rules, so naturally they're familiar. Oh, Wang Zihao finally decided to go berserk. He's not stupid, he's calculating the time. Now is the most suitable time to go berserk. The 7th batch of monsters appeared. Wang Zihao let out a roar, activating his berserk skill. Berserk, duration 5 minutes, strength increased by 500%, constitution increased by 500%, agility decreased by 200%. After the effect ends, enters a weakened state for 30 minutes. After going berserk, Wang Zihao's attack power would increase several times, but it only lasted 5 minutes, so he waited until the 7th batch of monsters appeared to activate it. 5 minutes was enough. There were still over 30 monsters on the field, plus the 7th batch, totaling over 40. In berserk mode, Wang Zihao started frantically clearing monsters. Each sword swing took out 2 or 3 monsters. He began rapidly clearing the field. Chapter 48. Chapter 48. Chapter 48, Conquest Space, the true battlefield. After waiting for 1 minute, the final wave of monsters finally spawned. This time the mage monster was gone, replaced by a boss-level monster. For Lin Moyu, it made no difference. The skeleton warriors charged in and attacked wildly, then everything fell silent. For Lin Moyu, the 4th round of the exam was over. Now he just had to wait for the others. After 10 minutes, the 4th round finally ended completely. The 4th round of exams is over. 120 people participated in the 4th round, with 5 ultimately passing. A commotion spread through the entire venue, both inside and outside the tower, as everyone heard the examiner's voice. Out of 120 people, only 5 remained. This meant these 5 were true geniuses, qualified to enter top higher education institutions. At the same time, the rankings of the 5 were announced. Now announcing the rankings after the 4th round. 1. Lin Moyu, total points, 3,605. 2. Zhuimei, total points, 2,470. 3. Xia Shui, 2,270 points. 4. Wang Zihao, 2,265 points. 5. Feng Xiu, 2,200 points. Lin Moyu was still far ahead. Light shone on the 5, fully restoring all their conditions. Wang Zihao, who had been in a weakened state after berserking, had his weakness removed and could use his berserk skill again under the light. Everything is as expected. The 5th round is where the real victory will be decided. Wang Zihao gripped his blade, smiling. Xia Shui let out a long breath. Top 5, I should be able to enter Summer Capital University now. Zhuimei's gaze was solemn. Summer Capital University, here I come. Without exception, all 5 were aiming for Summer Capital University. The examiner's voice sounded again. I know you all want to enter Summer Capital University. But it's not so easy to get in. Don't think you can rest easy just because you made the top 5. There's still one last round of exams. If your performance isn't excellent enough, you'll still be eliminated. If you want to enter Summer Capital University, let your points do the talking. As long as you can get 10,000 points, I guarantee you can get in. Now listen carefully to the rules for the 5th round. All 5 people listened intently. The 5th round of tests had its own name. It was called the Conquest Space. They would each be sent into a special space. Various monsters would continuously spawn there. There would be warrior types, mage types, archer types, knight types, and more. Every type of monster imaginable would appear there one by one, and in large numbers, with over 100 in the first wave. Later there would be enhanced types, enhanced elite types, bosses, and even super bosses. The faster they killed, the more monsters would spawn and the faster they would strengthen. This required everyone to adjust their own pace of attack. It wasn't necessarily better to kill faster. The key was the point changes. The conquest space could be divided into 5 stages, with different points for each stage. In the first stage, monsters were level 15, worth 50 points each. In the second stage, monsters reached level 16, worth 100 points each. For each level the monsters increased, the points doubled. By the 5th stage, when monsters reached level 19, killing one would earn 800 points. This was just for ordinary monsters. Enhanced monsters, elite monsters, bosses and super bosses were worth even more points. Looking at it this way, if Lin Moyu failed in this round of tests, his previous lead would no longer exist. It seemed a bit unfair. Previous efforts would be wasted. But Lin Moyu understood that for true strong ones, the 5th round was where they could really shine. The purpose of the big exam was to select geniuses who could be pillars for humanity. As the countdown ended, the 5th round officially began. The remaining 5 were simultaneously transported into the conquest space. In the control room at the top of the tower, the images of the 5 people disappeared. The examiners looked disappointed. Sigh, these damn rules, even we can't watch. That's right, the 5th round is the most exciting part, but we're not allowed to see it. Our authority only allows us to see the point changes and make judgments based on that. Lord Ning, can you see it? The examiners all looked at Ning Xianfeng expectantly. They were really itching to see, especially Lin Moya's performance in the 5th round. Ning Xianfeng swept his gaze over them and said flatly, "No, I can't see either." The examiners were shocked. Even you can't see it? Then who has the authority to view it? Ning Xianfeng nodded. In the Empire, less than 10 people have the authority to view the 5th round exam videos. The examiners were even more astonished. Less than 10 people, what kind of big shots were they? They didn't dare even imagine. Ning Xianfeng continued, "Anyway, remember this is not something you should inquire about. I'm in a good mood today, so I said a bit more." We understand. Don't worry, we definitely won't inquire further." The examiners weren't fools. They realized this matter was certainly not simple. But even if they had the courage now, they wouldn't dare to inquire further. In the entire Divine Summer Empire, less than 10 people had this authority. Just hearing about it was scary enough. The conquest space was very vast, a huge plain. The ground was black, emanating a bloody smell. Countless rocks were scattered about, some several meters tall. This environment gave career professionals room to maneuver. Lin Moya's nose twitched slightly. The smell of blood is strong, and it's full of death energy. Unimaginable battles must have taken place here. As a necromancer, Lin Moya was especially sensitive to death energy. Whether in the West Sea Mine dungeon or the previous rounds of exams, there was no death energy present. This place was different. It was truly permeated with death energy. Real life and death battles had occurred here on a large scale. Blood had soaked into the ground, dyeing it dark brown. The smell of blood lingered for years. Is this to let us experience the battlefield in advance? Footsteps sounded as a group of monsters appeared in view. Chapter 49. Chapter 49. Chapter 49. What exactly did Lin Moya do? They were still at least 50 to 60 meters away. This group of monsters had already discovered Lin Moya. The monsters roared simultaneously and charged towards Lin Moya. 10 monsters, not many in number. Lin Moya observed this and cast detection. Feline Beastman Warrior. Level 15. There was no more information. No attributes, no skills. This was the first time detection had returned so little information. Lin Moya saw that each feline beastman warrior had a long tail trailing behind it. Each feline beastman warrior was over 2 meters tall, and with their appearance, they looked like giant lizards. Giant lizards that could walk upright. Their roars echoed through the conquest space, attracting the attention of other feline beastmen. Suddenly several more groups of feline beastmen appeared in Lin Moya's view. If it were other career professionals, they would probably engage the nearest feline beastman. They would use all their skills to kill a few, then retreat when surrounded, using hit and run tactics. Once surrounded, the outcome would be predictable. But while this strategy suited others, it didn't suit Lin Moya. 3 skeleton warriors standing beside him sprang into action, charging towards the feline beastmen. With blades rising and falling, the frontmost feline beastmen were immediately heavily wounded. Taking one hit, the feline beastmen were near death, but didn't die completely. They still had a bit of life force left. Oh, couldn't kill them instantly. These attributes. The skeleton warriors failing to instantly kill the feline beastmen surprised Lin Moya a little. The feline beastman's constitution attribute wasn't low. Their attacks landing on the skeleton warriors didn't cause much damage. This indicated their strength wasn't high. This was a monster type with high constitution but low strength. Lin Moya made his judgment. If one strike wasn't enough, then 2. A feline beastman fell with a miserable cry, dead. Lin Moya's points instantly changed. From 3605 to 3655 points. Although the control room couldn't see the scenes from the 5th round of tests, they could see the point changes. Lin Moya has made his move. Killed the first one, very quickly. Then the points jumped again, directly from 3655 to 4105. This change startled the examiners. They looked at each other, not knowing what had happened. How did it suddenly increase so much? The skeleton warriors killed a feline beastman warrior, and Lin Moya immediately used corpse explosion. With a huge boom, this group of feline beastmen was completely wiped out. 10 feline beastmen increased Lin Moya's points by 500. Then Lin Moya didn't move again, but waited for the remaining feline beastmen to arrive. Since they would charge over anyway, why bother going to them? There were still 9 corpses here. When they came over, he could just use corpse explosion again. But in the next second, Lin Moya was surprised to find the corpses had disappeared. The corpses seemed to sink into the black ground, vanishing. The corpses existed for a very short time, only about 10 seconds. So that's how it is. Looks like the plan needs to be slightly modified. Seeing feline beastman teams running over from all directions, Lin Moya released several more skeleton warriors. He released a total of 9 skeleton warriors, assigning one to each team. The skeleton warriors advanced with crackling sounds, then led the feline beastman teams in a chase. Like kiting monsters, gradually gathering them together. 2 minutes later, the kiting was complete. Nearly 100 feline beastmen had gathered together. The skeleton warriors attacked simultaneously, instantly killing one feline beastman. A thunderous roar instantly erupted. Lin Moya used corpse explosion 7 or 8 times in just 3 short seconds. The black ground shook non-stop. All the feline beastman warriors were slaughtered. Lin Moya's points instantly reached 8,605. The control room of the trial tower became lively again. What exactly did Lin Moya do? Why did his points suddenly increase so much? Heaven knows, we can't see what's happening in the conquest space. But Lin Moya had 3,605 points before, now he has 8,605, exactly 5,000 points more. All we can say is, he's wiped out the first batch of 100 monsters. As for how he did it, I don't know either. The examiners looked at each other. You look at me, I look at you. Looking at the others' scores again, they really couldn't figure it out. After all, Lin Moya was just a level 16 kid, how strong could his skills be? Wiping out 100 monsters at once seemed unbelievable. Even Xia Shui, an elemental mage good at dealing with groups, saw her points increasing by 50 or 100 at a time. How could Lin Moya increase by 5,000 in just a few minutes? Who would believe that? Ning Xianfeng was much calmer than the examiners, but his eyelids were twitching. Even with his experience, he found it hard to imagine how Lin Moya had done this. What exactly did this kid do? What kind of career is necromancer really? Where is his limit? Ning Xuanfeng's mind was filled with questions. At this moment, he was also very curious about what was happening in the conquest space. Unfortunately, he didn't have the authority to view it. He could only analyze and judge based on the point changes. In the conquest space, corpses only existed for 10 seconds before disappearing without a trace. Lin Moyo quietly waited for the second batch of monsters to appear. This time, it shouldn't be like the fourth round of tests, waiting for a minute, right? Just as this thought crossed his mind, a sense of crisis arose. The sky turned red, and dozens of fireballs a meter in diameter fell like meteors from above. Chapter 50. Chapter 50, 50. Chapter 50, Stage 2, Increased Difficulty. Lin Moya's heart shook. The skeleton warriors stacked up to form a shield-like defensive line, firmly protecting him. The meteor-like fireballs crashed onto the skeleton warriors, exploding into a dazzling shower of sparks. Lin Moya was very clear about his own weakness. His constitution was too poor. If he took powerful attacks directly, massive damage would transfer to the skeleton warriors. This would cause the skeleton warriors to take extreme damage. If the skeleton warriors blocked for him instead, the result would be completely different. With the skeleton warriors' powerful constitution and ultra-high defense, they could almost ignore this level of damage. Lin Moya stood behind the skeleton warriors, looking at the beastmen troops appearing ahead. A group of feline beastmen mages waved their wands, launching a rain of fire attack. Large numbers of feline beastmen warriors charged forward wielding weapons. These monsters appeared silently, without any warning. Lin Moya's lips curved into a smile. No matter how they appeared, it was good they didn't need to wait for respawns. The mage monsters in the back kept casting spells, the rain of fire never stopping. To ensure his own safety, Lin Moyo had 10 skeletons form a shield to block the mage attacks. At the same time, he sent out 10 more skeletons to engage the beastmen warriors. Skill. At his mental command, the skeleton warriors' hands lit up red. Berserk Strike. With the skeleton warriors' strength attribute of 5,000, using this skill doubled their attack power. The feline beastmen warriors were instantly killed. Lin Moya's palm glowed. A thunderous roar erupted. Corpse explosions spread wildly. The feline beastmen warriors fell like cut wheat. In just a few seconds, over 100 charging feline beastmen warriors were dead. 10 skeleton warriors charged like lightning towards the feline beastmen mages. Their 5,000 agility gave them incredible speed. With such a huge attribute gap, the skeleton warriors left after images in Lin Moya's eyes. In the blink of an eye, the skeleton warriors crossed dozens of meters to appear before the feline beastmen mages. Blades rose and fell, killing with one strike each. The feline beastmen mage's constitution was lower than the warriors, allowing the skeleton warriors to kill them in one hit. The fire rain disappeared, and everything returned to calm once more. While things were peaceful for Lin Moyo, the examiners in the trial tower's control room were still wide-eyed. After pausing for just over 10 seconds, Lin Moya's score rocketed up again. 14,605 points. In less than 10 seconds, his score increased by 6,000 points. This meant another 120 monsters had been killed by Lin Moyo. These two instances were enough to explain the situation. This guy has an area attack skill. This career is going to be overpowered. The single target skills were already abnormal, and the area attack is just as crazy. It's not just the skills that are powerful, the summons are equally strong. I think this career has surpassed legendary grade. It can be compared to those few careers. We can't say that yet. After all, he's still low level. We need to see how it develops later. Being strong at low levels doesn't necessarily mean being strong at high levels. Similarly, being weak at low levels doesn't mean being weak at high levels. Some careers are mediocre until they obtain a certain godly skill, then become irreplaceable. There's one type of career that's usually not very useful, but once war breaks out, they become godlike existences. All their skills are group skills that affect entire armies. Having one such career professional in an army can double the entire army's combat power. Lin Moya didn't know what the examiners were thinking. At this moment, he heard a rumbling sound. The entire ground shook several times, as if in an earthquake. The corpses disappeared in the shaking, as if swallowed by the earth. An invisible gas arose from the ground, making the air even more bloody, even carrying a stench of corpses. It was nauseating. The sky became even more gloomy and dark. The oppressive atmosphere made it hard to breathe. Stage 2 has begun. Lin Moyo looked at the sky. He seemed well adapted to this atmosphere, showing no aversion. Perhaps it was related to his career. The aura of death didn't make him uncomfortable. Only the increasingly strong stench was unpleasant to him. As the ground shaking gradually stopped, Lin Moyo had his skeleton warriors surround him, staying alert to all directions. A few seconds later, footsteps sounded. "They're coming," Lin Moya said to himself. Large numbers of monsters suddenly appeared all around. The monsters came from all directions, in groups of 5 forming small teams. Feline Beastman Fighter. Level 16. Feline Beastman Archer. Level 16. Each small team had a 3-to-2 ratio, 3 fighters with 2 archers. Both fighters and archers were level 16. At least 40 teams were scattered around. From afar, Lin Moya looked like he was surrounded. After entering the second stage, not only did the monsters' level increase by 1, but their numbers also doubled. Lin Moya wasn't worried about this. To him, they were just level 16 monsters. Even without using corpse explosion, just 20 skeleton warriors could kill them all given some time. He was currently pondering another question. At this difficulty, other careers would struggle to pass the second stage. Even if they could pass, it would take a lot of time. The difficulty of the first stage wasn't high in Lin Moya's eyes. With some effort, most career professionals could pass it. The second stage was much harder. Just increasing one level and doubling the monsters was enough to increase the difficulty several times over. Add to that the appearance of archers, known as mages' natural enemies. This change would deter most mage-type career professionals. Guys, this novel is uploaded by Audiobook Novels. Please support me via Patreon or consider buying a novel from our collection.
Every novel listed in the description comes with permanent access to the audiobook on Telegram. You pay once, and if the novel is still ongoing, you'll receive all future updates automatically. No extra cost. Choose your novel from the description, then DM me on Telegram, WhatsApp, or Discord. After payment via PayPal, Ko-Fi, or Patreon, you'll get instant access. Simple, secure, lifetime listening. Guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. Your support means a lot.